2 months prior, as graduation approached, Lin Xian found himself inebriated. By an unforeseen twist of fate, he spent a night in the company of the pure and enchanting campus Belle of Jinghai University. Fast forward 2 months to the Jinghai City People's Hospital, where Li Mengyao wept profusely. "You have wronged me. This child is undeniably yours." Lin Xian was utterly astonished. "Am I unexpectedly a father now?" Ding! The Super Dad system is now linking. Congratulations, host. You have activated the Super Dad system. There is no need for doubt. The child before you is indeed your creation. Furthermore, they are twins, a boy and a girl. 2 years later, Lin Xian embraced Li Mengyao tightly, leaned down to kiss her, and gazed at her lovingly, saying, "Shall we have a few more?" Li Mengyao replied, "Huh." Chapter 1. Unexpected Fatherhood? What is this weighty object? It feels a bit suffocating. Suddenly, Lin Xian sensed something was amiss and hastily opened his eyes. To his astonishment, a stunningly beautiful woman with an elegant figure, exquisite features, fair skin, and lustrous black hair cascading freely was sprawled atop him. Her delicate lips, reminiscent of dewy rose petals, evoked an irresistible urge to kiss them fervently. What on earth is happening? How'd I end up sharing a bed with a woman? Is that Li Mengyao, the pure campus Belle of Jinghai University? Lin Xian recalled the dormitory gathering from the previous night. He couldn't fathom which scoundrel had suggested they indulge at a bar, with him footing the entire bill. Consequently, Lin Xian, overwhelmed by the alcohol, quickly succumbed to inebriation, vaguely remembering a woman falling into his embrace. "Ah, a drunken misadventure," Lin Xian couldn't help but exclaim. At that moment, the enchanting woman in his arms subtly fluttered her long eyelashes, her elegantly adorned large eyes slowly opening. Their gazes locked, creating a rather awkward atmosphere. This was soon followed by the woman's shrill scream, as Li Mengyao hurriedly sat up, glaring at Lin Xian. Realizing Lin Xian was still staring at her, Li Mengyao, in a fit of rage and embarrassment, seized a pillow and hurled it at him. "If you continue to look, turn around immediately. You are not permitted to gaze." It was only then that Lin Xian snapped back to reality from the earlier indescribable scene, nearly causing a nosebleed. "All right, I shall refrain from viewing it. I will take responsibility for you." Li Mengyao swiftly retrieved her garments, hurriedly dressing herself before exiting the room without a backward glance. Not a single word was left for Lin Xian. Is she really leaving just like that? Oh well, we are all adults. Lin Xian wished to offer an explanation, but unfortunately, the other party afforded him no opportunity. Resigned, he rose to tidy up, only to discover a conspicuous crimson stain on the bedsheet. 2 months later, June 2024, at the People's Hospital of Jinghai City. Patient number 66, Lin Xian, please proceed to consultation room 6. The relentless hospital intercom echoed. A man, standing an impressive height of 182 centimeters, with a statuesque build and handsome visage, rose slowly and walked forward. A nearby nurse seemed to widen her eyes, gently nudging another nurse with her arm. Look, there's a handsome guy. Quickly, take a discreet photo." "Wow, he is indeed strikingly handsome. You cover for me while I snap a shot. Shall we ask for his contact information? Such a fair and youthful gentleman. Let's go together." With that, the two nurses approached Lin Xian. Although the whispers of the two nurses were hushed, Lin Xian still caught their words. However, he had grown accustomed to such attention, having faced public confessions during his university days, which left him feeling quite embarrassed. "Hello, may I have your contact information?" Lin Xian inquired, gazing at the two nurses with his bright and profound eyes, smiling as he spoke. "I'm sorry, but I prefer men." Having said that, Lin Xian circumvented the two nurses and swiftly entered consultation room 6. "Hello, young man. Do you have any discomfort in your body?" A middle-aged man in a white coat, sporting a receding hairline, looked at Lin Xian. "Hello, doctor. I've been experiencing some pain in my liver lately. Let me check your pulse." "All right." Lin Xian obediently extended his arm, but the doctor furrowed his brow and sighed softly. Lin Xian's heart sank. Could he possibly be afflicted with a grave illness? Had he known, he would have refrained from staying up late playing games recently. "Doctor, why the sigh? Is there a significant issue?" The doctor rubbed his eyes and replied, No. I am merely fatigued from work. Young man, you have certainly been burning the midnight oil, neglecting your rest, which has led to your liver pain. Indeed, I've been going to bed quite late, feeling rather weak lately. I will prescribe you some traditional Chinese medicine. Please pay attention to your rest and take your medication on time. Young people should avoid staying up late, as it is detrimental to their health. Thank you, doctor. After bidding farewell to the doctor, Lin Xian proceeded to the pharmacy window with the prescription in hand. He pondered whether he had taken on too many projects recently, coding and writing programs during the day, while at night, his 3 obedient sons in the dormitory incessantly called out, "Daddy, take me flying in the canyon tonight. Daddy, I want to be a superstar today. Daddy, I want to score big." Winning made him a good father, while losing rendered him a mere fool. As the mightiest king, Lin Xian naturally had to indulge his obedient sons. Thus, he spent his nights galloping through the Summoner's Canyon, leading the charge. It seemed he would need to take on fewer projects in the future, for after all, the well-being of his sons was paramount. Passing by the obstetrics and gynecology department, Lin Xian inadvertently glanced inside. Suddenly, a familiar yet unfamiliar figure appeared before his eyes. Li Mengyao, clad in a creamy white dress paired with white canvas shoes, stood at a golden height of 168 centimeters, her lustrous black hair cascading like a waterfall over her shoulders, her face slightly flushed while she stared in astonishment at the medical report in her hands. Is it truly her? What is she doing in the obstetrics department? Lin Xian recalled that fateful night 2 months prior and felt an ominous sense of foreboding as he quickly approached her. The ultrasound report glaringly indicated 8 weeks pregnant. Li Mengyao covered her delicate lips, murmuring, How? How could this happen? Pregnant after just one time. Clearly dazed, she failed to notice Lin Xian's presence. "Excuse me, is this child mine?" Lin Xian asked, shock evident on his face. It's you." Li Mengyao initially jumped in fright, instinctively leaning back. Even after 2 months, that face remained unforgettable. Immediately, a wave of grievance surged within her, tears welling in her eyes as she quietly wept. Lin Xian could hardly bear to see a girl cry in front of him. Meanwhile, many in the hospital turned their gazes toward them, lamenting the emergence of yet another scoundrel. Lin Xian sensed the scrutinizing stares of those around him, akin to observing a spectacle. Please don't cry, or everyone will think I am bullying you," he said in a flurry. Li Mengyao's tears flowed freely, her eyes reddened, her hands tightly clenched together. "You are indeed bullying me. This child is yours. I am to be a father? A sudden twist of fate?" Lin Xian's expression was one of utter disbelief. As Li Mengyao continued to sob softly, a peculiar voice reverberated in Lin Xian's mind. "Ding! The Supreme Daddy system is now linking. Linking successful. Congratulations, host, on activating the Supreme Daddy system. There is no doubt, the child before you is your masterpiece. Moreover, they are twins, a boy and a girl. Congratulations, host, on your inaugural activation of the Supreme Daddy system, and welcome your newcomer gift package. You have received a parenting startup fund of 100,000 yuan. Please accept it. You have also been awarded a comprehensive guide on pregnancy knowledge. Please receive it. Additionally, a reward enhancing your physical attributes by 100 has been granted. Please accept." Chapter 2. Paternity Test. System? What is a system? Having never perused a novel on tomato, Lin Xian was blissfully unaware of what a system entailed. Ding dong. Upon glancing at his phone, Lin Xian discovered a deposit of 100,000 yuan in his Alipay account. Immediately thereafter, a wealth of knowledge regarding pregnancy surged into Lin Xian's mind, transforming him into a veritable expert in the field. Wait a moment, something feels amiss within my body. An invisible force coursed through him, akin to unblocking the meridians. He felt invigorated. At this moment, he could undoubtedly fell a cow with a single punch. This seems remarkably real. While the windfall of 100,000 yuan might be a ruse orchestrated by someone else, the sudden influx of pregnancy knowledge and enhanced vitality could not be deceived. How could such an extraordinary system grace my presence? Am I truly the chosen one? In the midst of his self-satisfaction, Li Mengyao noticed Lin Xian's furrowed brow and silence. With a quivering voice, she implored, Do you not believe me? If you doubt it, we can conduct a paternity test." Lin Xian snapped back to reality, gazing at the tearful beauty before him, and retrieved a pack of tissues from his pocket, offering it to her. "Please, do not cry. Wipe your tears first. I will take full responsibility if the child is mine. Although astounded by this miraculous system, Lin Xian could not ascertain with absolute certainty that the child in question was indeed his. After all, there were many potential suitors in this day and age. His resolute answer momentarily stunned Li Mengyao. Raising her delicate hand, she accepted the tissues and gently dabbed her eyes. All right, let us go now. After an excruciating 3-hour wait, the doctor leisurely announced, Mr. Lin, the compatibility results between you and Ms. Li's baby are an astonishing 99. 99. The paternity is confirmed. Such a young couple preparing for parenthood. Today's youth are indeed quite open-minded. The doctor remarked, his curiosity piqued. But why conduct a paternity test, I wonder? He cast Lin Xian a peculiar glance. Feigning calmness while clutching the paternity report, Lin Xian began to sweat profusely. This is it. I've landed myself in a predicament. I'm truly going to be a father. Turning to the now red-eyed Li Mengyao, he felt a surge of guilt. Thank you, doctor. By the time Lin Xian and Li Mengyao exited the hospital, it was nearly noon. Mengyao, what do you plan to do next? Gurgle Li Mengyao's stomach audibly protested. Having gone without breakfast due to the morning hospital visit, her hands clasped together, her face flushed with embarrassment. Mengyao, let us find somewhere to eat. Li Mengyao nodded in agreement. Lin Xian summoned a ride-hailing service, and within 5 minutes, a car arrived at the hospital entrance. Displaying gallant courtesy, Lin Xian opened the car door for Li Mengyao. Once she was settled, he carefully closed the door before making his way to the other side and entering the vehicle. Driver, to the Peace Hotel, please. Hey there, did you have a quarrel with your girlfriend? The driver inquired through the rearview mirror, having caught sight of Lin Xian and Li Mengyao in the back seat. Indeed, that is precisely why we're off to dinner, Lin Xian replied, a hint of embarrassment coloring his cheeks. Take it from me, as someone who has been there, you should pamper your girlfriend more. Lin Xian chuckled awkwardly. You're right. That is exactly why we're going out to eat. He glanced at Li Mengyao, who had elegantly turned her gaze to the window, her stunning face adorned with a rosy hue. Upon arrival, the driver reminded, don't forget to leave me a good review. Of course, no problem. Lin Xian readily assured him. Once they stepped out of the car, the pair hastily entered the Peace Hotel. This establishment was renowned for its delectable cuisine, reasonable prices, and impeccable hygiene, a favored dining spot for Lin Xian throughout his university years. He chose a window seat and gestured for Li Mengyao to take a seat first. Oh, thank you. Lin Xian handed her the menu with a smile. You must be starving. Order whatever you like, but avoid raw food. With a slight flutter of her lovely eyes, Li Mengyao delicately marked a few items on the menu. I'm done ordering. Take a look and see if we need anything else. Lin Xian glanced at the menu, marveling at how Li Mengyao maintained her enviable figure even after skipping breakfast and ordering so sparingly. Hello, we would like 1 serving of tomato beef brisket, shrimp tofu, stir-fried beef with bell peppers, steamed base, and 1 egg custard, please. The server took the menu and smiled. Certainly, please hold on a moment. Turning to the enchanting Li Mengyao, Lin Xian inquired, Mengyao, I will take responsibility. Do you wish to carry the child to term? Li Mengyao brushed her silky hair aside, pondering, how do you intend to take responsibility? We are still students, without jobs or a stable income. Lin Xian, a distinguished figure in the computer science department at Jinghai University, had earned accolades such as the gold medal in the ACM International Collegiate Programming Contest. And he possessed striking good looks. Li Mengyao, a major in Chinese language and literature, was universally recognized as the campus beauty. Both were in their final year, nearing graduation. I have worked part-time from my freshman to junior years and have received numerous scholarships, accumulating a fair sum of savings. I will double my efforts to earn money and provide a warm home for you and the baby. Lin Xian spoke with unwavering determination, fearful of Li Mengyao's potential rejection. Seeing his earnestness, Li Mengyao couldn't help but chuckle, her eyes sparkling with warmth. This is what you promised. I plan to carry the baby to term. Gently caressing her abdomen, she smiled radiantly. Unbeknownst to Lin Xian, Li Mengyao had harbored feelings for him since their freshman year. Captivated not only by his handsome appearance, but also by his remarkable abilities. It was no wonder her roommates had once coaxed her into a drinking bout, leading to a drunken tumble into Lin Xian's arms, culminating in an indescribable series of events. Here comes the food. The server appeared, albeit rather tardily. Throughout the meal, Lin Xian continuously served Li Mengyao, ensuring her bowl remained filled to the brim. After lunch, the pair took a ride-hailing service back to Jinghai University. Lin Xian escorted Li Mengyao to her dormitory, softly saying, You've worked hard today, go rest now. I'll take you for a comprehensive checkup at the hospital tomorrow. A flicker of happiness crossed Li Mengyao's face. All right. Lin Xian smiled as he hummed a tune on his way back to the dormitory. Upon entering room 622, he was greeted by 3 eager faces. Lin Xian, where have you been? Were you on a date with some junior? And you didn't even invite us. Gently patting the heads of his curious friends, Lin Xian replied, "Mind your own business. Hey, are you looking down on us?" Thus began a playful exchange among the dorm mates. In the afternoon, Lin Xian resumed his previous project, completing it ahead of schedule and earning an additional 10,000 yuan. With the previous 100,000 yuan from the system, his little treasure trove now exceeded 200,000 yuan. I should find time to rent a place outside. With Li Mingyao's pregnancy, staying in the dormitory is ultimately inconvenient. That evening, Lin Xian once again led his friends in the Summoner's Canyon, dominating the battlefield with their prowess, albeit suffering 5 consecutive losses. With a heart filled with reluctance, Lin Xian was just about to lie down to rest when a crisp notification from the system resounded. Ding dong. It has been detected that the host needs to take the baby for a comprehensive examination. To facilitate the host's travel, a top-tier Xiaomi SU7 has been parked at the parking lot of Zone C at Jinghai University. Please collect it. Chapter 3. Are we living together now? This system is surprisingly considerate, as it seems to understand the host's current needs. The Xiaomi SU7? Is it the trendy Mi sports car that has been gaining popularity lately? I shall check the parking lot tomorrow. The following day, upon rising, Lin Xian discovered an exquisite car key on the table. Without further thought, he grabbed the key and headed straight to the school parking lot. Soon, in an inconspicuous corner, he spotted a strikingly beautiful Xiaomi SU7 in a shade of purple. One must admit, its appearance was undeniably captivating. The sleek lines of the body and the minimalist design exuded a sense of fashion and technological sophistication. The radiant purple hue added a unique charm, truly deserving of its title as the king of cost-effectiveness. With excitement, Lin Xian opened the car door and settled into the driver's seat, casually taking out his phone and pressing the call button. "Hello, Lin Xian." Li Mingyao's voice was soft and gentle, indicative of her being still half asleep. "Mingyao, have you woken up?" "Just did." "Then let's go to the hospital for a prenatal checkup together. The first 3 months are crucial. I'll pick you up downstairs." "All right. Give me about 10 minutes to get ready." Li Mingyao felt a warmth in her heart, delighted that Lin Xian was so considerate of her and their unborn child. Lin Xian drove the Xiaomi SU7 directly to the entrance of Li Mingyao's dormitory. Along the way, several students pulled out their phones to snap pictures of the Xiaomi SU7. Although the top-tier version only cost 300,000, its striking looks captured the attention of many. Before long, Li Mingyao came rushing down from the dormitory, dressed in a light blue dress, cinched at the waist with a pure-colored belt adorned with a few crystals, elegant yet charming. Lin Xian quickly stepped forward to catch her, cautioning, "Slow down, be careful not to fall." With a gentle smile, Li Mingyao replied, "It's fine, I'm being careful. Sorry to keep you waiting." Lin Xian gazed intently at Li Mingyao, smiling as he remarked, "You look stunning today." Li Mingyao's cheeks flushed slightly as she softly inquired, "What about yesterday? You're more beautiful each day." "Humph, smooth talker. Let's get going." "Sure." Lin Xian led Li Mingyao to the Xiaomi SU7, opened the door, and gently said, "My dear, please get in." Instantly, Li Mingyao's face turned crimson, and she mumbled, "Who is your dear?" Yet, she obediently took her seat in the passenger side. At that moment, a delicate blush adorned her exquisite face, akin to a blooming peach blossom. Once Lin Xian settled into the driver's seat, Li Mingyao couldn't help but ask, "Lin Xian, did you just buy this car?" "Yes, Mingyao, you should have a driver's license, right?" "I do." She nodded affirmatively. "Then this car will be for you to drive. It will make travel convenient for both you and the baby." "What? No, that's unnecessary. I'm not familiar with driving. Besides, if I take it, you won't have a car to drive. You should drive it yourself." Li Mingyao gently shook her head. "I have other vehicles," Lin Xian insisted. "It's settled then. I'll teach you later." With that, Lin Xian started the car and headed toward Jinghai City People's Hospital. The other vehicles he mentioned were, in fact, his little electric scooter that had accompanied him for over 3 years. Upon arriving at the hospital, Lin Xian accompanied Li Mingyao for her prenatal checkup. At around 8 weeks pregnant, special examinations were not necessary. They began with an ultrasound to check the size of the gestational sac and to see if there was any development of the embryo and heartbeat. Following that, they underwent routine blood and urine tests, as well as checks for hepatitis B, blood sugar, and liver function. Before long, the examination reports emerged indicating that the embryo was developing normally. Just as Lin Xian and Li Mingyao were preparing to leave, a figure unexpectedly appeared before them. "Xiange, what are you doing here?" Zhou Quan inquired, his curious gaze sweeping over the pair. Zhou Quan was Lin Xian's roommate, who happened to be at the hospital for a checkup and didn't expect to run into Lin Xian, especially in the obstetrics and gynecology department. "I'll be over in a moment." Lin Xian smiled at Li Mingyao. "All right," she responded softly. "Quan, what brings you here?" Lin Xian approached Zhou Quan. Well, look at you, secretly involved with the campus beauty? No wonder you've been out and about lately." and now you're in the obstetrics ward. Spill it. Zhou Quan teased with a mischievous grin. Tonight, you two should find a place to celebrate. I'll treat. And you better call her sister-in-law. You better remember that. Or we'll make sure to treat you to a feast for keeping such big news under wraps. Now, go on with your business. I'll fill you in later. Before leaving, Zhou Quan shouted to Li Mingyao from a distance, "Goodbye, sister-in-law," and then swiftly disappeared. Returning to Li Mingyao's side, Lin Xian noticed her cheeks were tinged with pink. He's my roommate. It's getting late. We should head back. Okay. Li Mingyao blinked her beautiful eyes. Ding dong. The system detected that the host is taking the baby for the first prenatal checkup. Reward: a premium apartment in Building A, 1601, Jinwan Mansion. With all procedures already handled by the system, you may move in directly. Ding dong. The system detected that the host has gifted the Xiaomi SU7 to Li Mingyao, unlocking a hidden reward. Reward: a Maybach S680, which has been parked at the Jinwan Mansion parking lot. Please collect it. Host: as long as you ensure that Li Mingyao and the baby receive happiness, the system will continue to provide generous rewards. The system's melodious voice echoed in Lin Xian's mind. This system is truly remarkable. Not only was he rewarded with a luxurious Maybach S680 worth over 3 million, but the Jinwan Mansion is also a high-end community in Jinghai City, with the apartment valued at over 8 million. Lin Xian's net worth was approaching 10 million, propelling him into the ranks of the affluent. His heart raced with excitement. This was all thanks to Li Mingyao. Had she not agreed to bear the child, Lin Xian would not have received the system's favor. Mingyao, let us go, Lin Xian said, returning to reality and addressing the somewhat drowsy Li Mingyao. She must not have had enough sleep this morning. It is common for pregnant women to feel sleepy. Lin Xian gently took her delicate hand, smiling warmly at her. As he held Li Mingyao's hand for the first time, it felt soft and tender. Startled by the sudden gesture, Li Mingyao blushed and displayed a hint of joy. All right. Let us go, she agreed. The two returned to the Xiaomi SU7, and as Lin Xian started the car, Li Mingyao promptly fell asleep. Had she been awake, she would have noticed that Lin Xian had driven past Jinghai University and was speeding along the streets of Jinghai City, without exceeding the speed limit. Esteemed resident of Jinwan Mansion, welcome home. The clear voice startled Li Mingyao awake. Huh, where's this? Aren't we at school? Li Mingyao rubbed her eyes gently and, upon seeing the towering buildings before her, was momentarily taken aback. This is not school. We are at Jinwan Mansion, our future home. Lin Xian smiled gently. Our future home? Did you buy a house? Li Mingyao exclaimed in shock, her mouth slightly agape. Indeed, with you being pregnant, living in the dormitory is certainly not feasible, especially since we are nearing graduation. So, I bought a place. This way, it will be easier for me to take care of both you and the baby. Lin Xian said with a tender gaze directed at her. That must have cost quite a fortune. Where did you acquire such wealth? Li Mingyao pressed her lips together. I forgot to mention that I've been investing since my freshman year. All of this is the fruit of my investments, Lin Xian replied confidently. So, let's find a time to move in together, he continued. Li Mingyao's charming face flushed crimson. Are we really going to cohabit already? Chapter 4. A call from Li's mother. Isn't this a bit too soon? This is only our second meeting, and we're already talking about living together. Just as Li Mingyao was lost in her thoughts, Lin Xian had already parked the car steadily in the community parking lot. Noticing her worried demeanor, Lin Xian couldn't help but gently pinch her soft, fair cheek. Wifey, what has you so captivated in thought? He asked tenderly. Who is your wifey? Not yet. Li Mingyao's face turned a deeper shade of red as she swatted away his playful hand, raising the other to pinch his side. Ouch! Be gentle, wifey, Lin Xian exclaimed. You still dare to cry out? Li Mingyao threatened, feigning to increase her grip. Not wishing to grant her that opportunity, Lin Xian seized her delicate hand and smiled. Let us stop the teasing and go check out the house. Li Mingyao pursed her lips in mild protest, but eventually relented. As they stepped out of the car, she quickly noticed a long, sleek Maybach S680 parked not far away, a testament to the upscale nature of the community. Lin Xian, having observed it as well, took her hand and led her towards the elevator. Soon, they arrived at their residence in Jinwanfu, a spacious flat encompassing 200 square meters, adorned in a modern minimalist style with a palette of gray and white. It featured 5 bedrooms and 2 living areas, all furnished impeccably. Li Mingyao wandered to the expansive balcony, where she beheld the river reflecting the golden hues of the setting sun, enveloping the water in a shimmering veil. The gentle June breeze caressed her youthful face, rendering the scene warm and romantic. Unable to resist the beauty before him, Lin Xian stepped closer and gently embraced Li Mingyao. She was initially startled but made no move to escape. Instead, her exquisite features flushed anew as she softly inquired. This house must have cost a pretty penny. Hasn't he it? Indeed, over 8 million. Lin Xian savored the sweet scent of her presence. You're buying cars and homes, while I feel utterly useless, unable to contribute anything. Li Mingyao murmured, her gaze cast downwards. Lin Xian gently turned her to face him, his deep, bright eyes locking onto hers as he asserted. Who says you're useless? You and our baby are my greatest gifts. My dear, you have given me a home, and I will do everything in my power to protect it. In a moment of deep emotion, Lin Xian gazed at Li Mingyao, whose eyes glistened with affection, slowly lowering his head to approach her enticing lips. Overwhelmed, Li Mingyao felt her heart race, closing her eyes and surrendering to his advance. Suddenly, a ringtone shattered the intimacy. Li Mingyao regained her composure, gently pushing Lin Xian away. I need to take this call. Flustered, she opened her phone to find it was her mother, Huang Shifeng, calling. Hello? Yao Yao, what have you been busy with lately? Her mother inquired. Mom, I haven't been busy with much, Li Mingyao replied, her voice betraying her anxiety. Why do you sound so flustered? Are you hiding something from your mother? I know my precious daughter well. I can tell something's off. Is someone bullying you? No. Lin Xian, standing nearby, could clearly hear the conversation and chuckled at Li Mingyao's nervousness. She shot him a glare and instinctively pinched him again. Ouch! Is Yao Yao dating someone? Li's mother, having heard a male voice, was already piecing things together. Yes, Li Mingyao admitted, her face aflame with shyness. That's wonderful. It's about time you had a boyfriend in college. What is he like? He is really great. Then, if you're free next week, bring him home so I can meet him. Being a mother, she couldn't help but worry when her daughter, studying far away, suddenly had a boyfriend. I'll ask him. All right, I want to keep you. I'll talk to you later. After hanging up, Li Mingyao shot Lin Xian a fierce look. This is all your fault. My mom found out. It was bound to happen. I'm ready for the consequences, Lin Xian said with shameless bravado. Will you come back with me next week? Li Mingyao clasped her hands tightly. Of course, if we've stolen someone's precious daughter, we must pay a visit to her family. Let us prepare to move in tomorrow, Lin Xian replied gently. Okay, Li Mingyao beamed with a sweet smile. They then decided to head to a nearby mall for dinner. Upon reaching the parking lot, Li Mingyao began to retrieve her car keys, but Lin Xian stopped her. Let us leave your Xiaomi SU7 here and take my car. You have another car? She asked, puzzled. Indeed, just look over there. Lin Xian gestured toward the nearby Maybach S680, extracting the keys to unlock it. The headlights illuminated in a dazzling display, reminiscent of a meteor shower. This Maybach is yours, Li Mingyao exclaimed, her mouth agape and her large almond-shaped eyes sparkling. Lin Xian took her hand and guided her to the passenger seat, ensuring she was comfortably settled before taking his place at the wheel and driving them to the mall. Once they arrived, Li Mingyao could no longer contain her curiosity. Is there anything else you're keeping from me? Of course not. Didn't I mention I have other cars? Lin Xian replied gently. But this one looks brand new. I just washed it yesterday, he asserted firmly, knowing he couldn't mention the system. Humph, I'll take your word for it. I dislike being deceived, especially by those close to me, she said softly, looking down. My dear, I promise to consult you on important matters from now on, all right? Since Li Mingyao enjoyed fish, they proceeded to a grilled fish restaurant in the mall. After their lunch, Li Mingyao felt drowsy, and Lin Xian drove her back to her university dormitory before returning to his own familiar abode. Kids, Daddy's home, Lin Xian exclaimed, kicking the door open with a grin. It's him. He.s the one who made off with the campus belle. Zhou Quan feigned anger, pointing at Lin Xian. You little rascal, how dare you pull something like this behind your dad's back? Zhong Zixing chimed in. Come clean, and we might go easy on you, Chen Jinming said with a mischievous grin. Thus, Lin Xian found himself surrounded by his three friends. Chapter 5, A Five-Star Chef. Lin Xian recounted the entire story, revealing every detail to his brothers with whom he had shared nearly 4 years of camaraderie, leaving nothing hidden. Naturally, he omitted the part about the system, knowing it would be met with skepticism. Wait, did I hear you correctly? Zhong Zixing asked, astonished. That's why I saw you with the campus belle at the maternity ward in the People's Hospital, Zhou Quan added, equally taken aback. Goodness, are you launching a rocket? Your speed is astonishing. I've been dating my girlfriend for 2 years and haven't reached that stage yet. Chen Jingming placed a hand on Lin Xian's shoulder, laughing heartily. First, keep it a secret. I do not wish to become the enemy of every male student in the school. Tomorrow, Mingyao and I plan to move out, and tonight, I'll cover the bill. Lin Xian smiled. Less talking, let us get started. I'll feast on you tonight. It was quite common for fourth-year students to move out, so no one questioned Lin Xian's new residence, assuming he was merely seeking a rental nearby. Quaner, save your ultimate move for the new year. You wouldn't understand. I am waiting for the right moment. That evening, the group from room 622 set out. Just as Zhou Quan was about to book a ride, Lin Xian stopped him. We'll drive there. Where did we get a car from? Zhou Quan asked, puzzled. I just bought one. Stay put. I'll be back shortly. While the trio was still curious about the type of car Lin Xian had purchased, A sleek Maybach slowly approached, the window rolling down to reveal a handsome face. Get in. Isn't this a Maybach? A luxury car worth over 3 million. Xiange, you're so wealthy? The three were utterly bewildered. It's a recent purchase by my family. It'll be convenient for future family outings, Lin Xian explained with a smile. Soon, Lin Xian drove them to the restaurant they frequently visited for gatherings. You're here. Please, take a seat. I reserved a private room for you. The proprietress greeted them warmly. Are you all nearing graduation? Yes, we'll still be able to visit often after graduation, Zhou Quan replied with a smile. Just don't forget, I'll give you a discount, the proprietress said with a smile. This restaurant had a unique flavor, and the proprietress often offered discounts to Lin Xian and his friends, making it a popular spot for their gatherings. Once the proprietress left, Lin Xian turned to the trio. With graduation approaching, what are your plans for the future? I've signed up for the civil service exam, joining the ranks of aspiring civil servants. I aim to become a small government worker, Zhou Quan declared resolutely. My girlfriend and I have both secured our spots for graduate studies. So we'll be staying at Jinghai University, Chen Jingming added with a smile. I'm considering starting my own business, but alas, without a platform or funding. I suppose I'll first work in a company, Zhong Zixing said helplessly. And you, Xinge? What are your plans after graduation? Zhou Quan inquired, looking at Lin Xian. For now, I intend to be a full-time caregiver, Lin Xian replied with a smile. You're truly outrageous, Zhou Quan retorted, rolling his eyes. Initially, Lin Xian had aspired to launch a business alongside Zhong Zixing, given that they were both top talents from the computer science department at Jinghai University. However, plans changed. And now Lin Xian wished to devote himself entirely to caring for Li Mengyao and their unborn child, hoping for opportunities in the future. As dishes were served, the four indulged heartily. The next day, Lin Xian and Li Mengyao had arranged to move their belongings to Jinwan Mansion at 10 a.m. Lin Xian drove the Maybach slowly toward the female dormitory and soon spotted a familiar figure below. Today, Li Mengyao wore a plain shirt paired with a denim skirt, looking fresh and pleasant, like a cool morning breeze, invigorating to behold. My wife looks stunning in anything she wears, doesn't she? But who is that girl beside her? The girl was tall with exquisite features, exuding a cold beauty, and her sharp gaze hinted at a hint of hostility. Lin Xian stepped out of the car and quickly approached Li Mengyao, gently taking her hand with tenderness. Didn't I say to wait until I arrived to call you down? Have you been waiting long? Li Mengyao's cheeks flushed slightly. No, we just came down ourselves. By the way, this is my roommate, Lu Yusin. She insisted on coming along. Hello, I'm Lin Xian, Li Mengyao's husband. Lin Xian smiled. So, you're the one who stole my Yao Yao? Lu Yusin remarked with a hint of annoyance upon seeing their entwined fingers. While Lu Yusin found Lin Xian undeniably handsome and assumed he came from a well-off family given the Maybach, she remained cautious, knowing many wealthy second-generation individuals were often untrustworthy. Yes, I will take good care of Yao Yao from now on, Lin Xian stated resolutely. Dream on. To win Yao Yao's heart, you must first get past me. Aren't you the one who wants her to move in? I'll personally see if you can take good care of her, Lu Yusin declared. Grabbing Li Mengyao's suitcase and heading towards the car, Lin Xian followed behind helplessly, holding Li Mengyao's hand. This time, Li Mengyao did not sit in the front passenger seat, but instead joined Lu Yusin in the back. The car slowly pulled away. Soon arriving at the entrance of Jinwan Mansion, Lu Yusin gazed in astonishment at the grand entrance. Jinwan Mansion was renowned in Jinghai City for its upscale living environment. Situated in a bustling area with a beautiful river view. While Lin Xian's capabilities were indeed impressive, Lu Yusin remained uncertain about how he would treat Mengyao and whether he could maintain her interest over time. Before long, Lin Xian parked the car and moved all the luggage into the house. Ding dong. The host has been detected to be moving for the first time with the baby. To assist the host in taking better care of the baby, a 5-star culinary skill set has been awarded. Please check. Instantaneously, a wealth of culinary knowledge flooded Lin Xian's mind, transforming him into an incredibly versatile 5-star chef. Lin Xian had always wished to prevent Li Mengyao from consuming outside food, especially during her pregnancy, as any unsanitary food could potentially harm the baby. The arrival of this 5-star culinary knowledge was indeed timely. It was nearly mealtime, and he planned to showcase his skills at lunch. Dear, you and your friend rest at home for a bit. I'll go to the market and buy some groceries. Also, what would you like to eat? Lin Xian smiled. You can cook? Lu Yusin raised a skeptical eyebrow. Men who could cook were indeed rare. I can cook anything. I like everything you make, Li Mengyao said, her face lighting up with delight. Yao Yao, I'm still here. Lu Yusin shot a disapproving glance at Li Mengyao before continuing. I want sweet and sour ribs, boiled meat slices, braised beef with potatoes, and braised fish. These were all dishes that Li Mengyao loved. All right, I'll be back shortly, Lin Xian said, putting on his shoes and preparing to leave. Suddenly, a petite figure dashed into Lin Xian's embrace, accompanied by a faint fragrance. Come back soon, Li Mingyao murmured. Her head lowered, her hands tightly hugging Lin Xian. Okay, my dear, Lin Xian gently stroked her hair. After Li Mingyao released her grip, her face flushed as she hurried back into the room. Chapter 6, Li Mingyao's family. What is that foul smell? Oh, it's the sourness of love. Lu Yusin looked disdainfully at the scene that had just unfolded. Yusin, don't say that. Li Mingyao's face turned a deep shade of red. I mean, Yao Yao. How could you be so reckless? Moving in with Lin Xian so soon. You are the Belle of Jinghai University. Sharing a room with a boy, what if he treats you poorly? He won tea. He treats me wonderfully and has always taken care of me. I've liked Lin Xian for a long time, Li Mingyao murmured. Sigh, you're so infatuated. But it's too soon for that. Yao Yao, are you hiding something from me? Lu Yusin scrutinized Li Mingyao. And no, I'm not, Li Mingyao stammered, her hands tightly clasped together. Her face flushed as she struggled to maintain eye contact. You're lying. Speak up, or I'll have to resort to mischief, Lu Yusin said with a mischievous grin. Having known each other for nearly 4 years, Lu Yusin, as a close confidant, could easily discern when Li Mingyao was being dishonest. Ha ha ha, stop, that tickles. Li Yusin exclaimed as she lunged at Li Mingyao, her hands playfully tickling her sides. Are you going to tell me or not? I say, ha ha ha. Li Mingyao, in a moment of playful surrender, succumbed to her greatest fear, tickling. As she dabbed at the tears of laughter at the corners of her eyes, she shyly confessed. Actually, I'm pregnant. What? I must have misheard. Lu Yusin exclaimed, her face a portrait of shock, her mouth agape. It's been over 2 months. Subsequently, Li Mingyao recounted the events to Lu Yusin. It seems Lin Xian is quite responsible. However, let me remind you, you two are cohabitating. You must maintain control. Lin Xian wouldn't he do that, Li Mingyao replied, her cheeks flushing a deep crimson. Just then, the sound of the door opening announced Lin Xian's arrival, burdened with packages. You're back. Li Mingyao hurried to him, reaching out to take the bags. I can manage, he replied. What were you two discussing that has your face so flushed? Gently pinching her cheek, Lin Xian teased. I want to tell you, Li Mingyao pouted, feigning pride. Then I'll head to the kitchen to prepare dinner. It will be ready shortly. Lin Xian, unable to resist her charm, retreated into the kitchen, true to the system's rewards, as he surveyed the ingredients. Culinary methods danced in his mind, be it frying, grilling, boiling, or steaming. He was adept in all. The abode furnished by the system was no less impressive, adorned with exquisite, high-end pieces. Before long, the kitchen was enveloped in a tantalizing aroma, an invisible hand beckoning Li Mingyao and Lu Yusin to draw near. Dinner is served. The dining table was laden with an array of visually stunning and appetizing dishes. Wow, this is absolutely delicious. You're practically a 5-star chef, Lu Yusin exclaimed, shoving a piece of beef brisket into her mouth, her eyes wide with wonder. Li Mingyao joined her, savoring each bite. Yao Yao, your future is truly blissful. Having a chef by your side every day. Indeed, Li Mingyao marveled at Lin Xian's culinary prowess, her face aglow with happiness. Lin Xian tasted his creation, the rich flavors and aromatic essence enchanting him with every bite. Ding dong. Congratulations, host. You have successfully prepared a delicious meal for Li Mingyao and the baby. Reward, 500,000 cash, with a triggered 6x critical hit probability, totaling 3,000,000 cash, which has been transferred to your bank account through legal means. Please check. The system's voice echoed in Lin Xian's mind. As always, the system was impressive, delivering a reward of 3 million at a stroke. After lunch, Lin Xian drove Lu Yusin back to school in serene silence, glancing at her through the rearview mirror. What's with the staring? He asked, exasperated. When are you two planning to get married? Now that Yao Yao is pregnant with your child, you must provide her with a proper title. You know already? Lin Xian asked, surprised. Of course. Yao Yao and I share everything as best friends, Lu Yusin replied, her pride evident. We plan to return to Mingyao's hometown next week. Once we have her mother's approval, we will marry, Lin Xian stated resolutely. All right, I'll leave Yao Yao in your care. Her family has endured hardships. Her father passed away in a car accident years ago, leaving just her and her mother. Therefore, Yao Yao lacks a sense of security, Lu Yusin expressed, concern etched on her face. She hasn't mentioned this to me, Lin Xian said, his heart aching. Though she appears delicate, she possesses an inner strength and a stubbornness at times. If she has chosen you, treat her well. If you dare to hurt her, I will not let you off easily, Lu Yusin warned, shaking her tiny fist. I understand that words are meaningless without actions. I will not disappoint Mingyao. You can keep an eye on me. After safely dropping Lu Yusin off, Lin Xian returned to Jinwan Mansion. I'm back, he called out, but received no reply. Entering the living room, he found Li Mingyao asleep on the sofa, likely waiting for him before drifting off. She had changed into a white nightgown, revealing her enchanting long legs. Cautiously, Lin Xian approached the slumbering beauty, crouching to observe her. She lay curled slightly, her eyes shut tight, her eyelashes fluttering like butterfly wings, the corners of her lips curving upwards as if she were lost in a sweet dream. Reflecting on Li Mengyao's tragic childhood and the hardships endured by her and her mother, Lin Xian felt a pang in his heart. I will be a good husband. Mengyao, he vowed softly. She murmured, as if hearing him in her dreams. Lin Xian gently lifted her, cradling her in his arms as he made his way to the master bedroom. Li Mengyao dreamt of a beautiful vision, walking down the aisle with Lin Xian, the two embracing in a passionate kiss. She awoke around 5 in the afternoon, feeling the weight of her pregnancy-induced fatigue, remembering she had fallen asleep on the sofa. She blushed upon realizing she was in bed and hurriedly opened the door. At that moment, Lin Xian was in the study, seated at the computer, fingers flying over the keyboard, engrossed in his task. Lin Xian, what are you doing? Li Mengyao's voice, slightly hoarse, suggested she was still waking from her sweet slumber. Wife, you're awake? I'm working on a part-time job, he said, hastening to her side with warmth in his expression. Did I disturb you? Li Mengyao blinked her beautiful eyes. You could never disturb me. Are you hungry? What would you like for dinner? Lin Xian's eyes sparkled with affection. Anything is fine. I'm not picky, she replied, extending her arms in a playful manner. Lin Xian gently pulled her into his embrace, her unique fragrance enveloping him, subtle yet lasting, reminiscent of a tranquil valley. Shall we go shopping at the mall tonight? Lin Xian inquired. Why the sudden urge to shop? Li Mengyao asked, puzzled. It was unusual for a man to suggest shopping. Typically, it was the women who initiated such outings. I want to take you to buy something. I don't really need anything, she replied. You'll understand once we're there. It's something important. Okay, Li Mengyao beamed, her radiant smile causing hearts to flutter. Chapter 7. Shopping at the mall. That evening, Lin Xian simmered free-range chicken, shiitake mushrooms, and ginger slices, allowing the flavors to meld into a rich and savory chicken soup. Wife, come taste the chicken soup I made. Lin Xian placed a small bowl in front of Li Mengyao. During her pregnancy, Li Mengyao often struggled with her appetite, finding little joy in food. Thus, Lin Xian crafted a delicious chicken soup, enhanced by the expertise of a 5-star chef, awakening her taste buds. Lin Xian, how did you become so skilled at cooking? Li Mengyao asked, her eyes sparkling as she sipped cautiously. That's all thanks to my mother. She loves experimenting with new recipes. For instance, kiwi mixed rice, dragon fruit stir-fried meat. Her culinary skills leave much to be desired. Eventually, I had to learn to cook for myself during holidays, Lin Xian recalled painfully, his mother Zhang Shulan's cooking not being the best. That's no fair to your mother. Li Mengyao giggled. Later, the two arrived at a nearby shopping center, Jinwan Plaza, in a luxurious Maybach. Jinwan Plaza served as the commercial hub of Jinhai City's Jinwan district, illuminated by dazzling neon lights, bustling with shops, and vibrant with life. Li Mengyao intertwined her arm with Lin Xian as they entered Jinhai Plaza. What are we buying? She gently squeezed Lin Xian's hand. You'll find out soon enough. Just ahead, he replied as they stepped into a specialty store for maternity products. Welcome. How may I assist you today? The enthusiastic shop attendant greeted them. Hello. Do you have any moisturizing lotion to prevent stretch marks? Lin Xian inquired. Yes, this particular product is quite popular lately. It works wonders on stretch marks and offers great value for money, the attendant said, perceiving that the couple was young and not immediately recommending the most expensive options, lest they scare them away. Lin Xian glanced at the product details, his brow furrowing. Although its effectiveness was decent, it was not the best available. There are also these alternatives. While they might not be as effective in preventing stretch marks, they are significantly more affordable, the attendant suggested, noticing Lin Xian's frown. Assuming they likely had a limited budget. Could you please show us your most expensive and effective option? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Of course, please hold on. The attendant replied, quickly presenting the premium product. This one guarantees no stretch marks after use. With the knowledge acquired from a comprehensive pregnancy guide, Lin Xian examined the product information, fragrance-free, alcohol-free, and devoid of harmful chemicals. Indeed, it was the best choice. Li Mengyao glanced at the price and gasped. This small bottle cost a staggering 1,000 yuan. She gently tugged at Lin Xian's shirt and whispered, let us go with the earlier option. This one is too expensive. Don't worry, your husband has the means. You wouldn't want to have stretch marks after giving birth, would you? If we're going to buy it, let us opt for the finest. Lin Xian reassured her, tenderly squeezing her small hand. Hello, I'd like to purchase 5 of this product, please. Thank you. Certainly. Please wait a moment while I package it. The attendant beamed, pleased with the sudden sale of 5,000 yuan. After paying, the couple exited the maternity goods store, with Lin Xian guiding Li Mengyao further along. Is there anything else you wish to buy? Li Mengyao attempted to halt Lin Xian. not wanting him to spend more than necessary. We still need to get this. Lin Xian pointed ahead, grinning. Li Mingyao followed his gaze to a maternity clothing store. Why do we need these? She asked. After 3 months of pregnancy, your belly will begin to show, and your current clothes won't fit anymore. Thus, we need to purchase some maternity wear. Lin Xian continued to enlighten her about pregnancy. How do you know all this? Li Mingyao's cheeks flushed with a rosy hue. I've done my homework, all for you and our little ones. Lin Xian smiled. Lower your head. I have something to whisper to you. Li Mingyao's eyes sparkled with delight as she leaned closer. What is so secretive? Lin Xian obediently bent down, and she gently rose on her toes to plant a soft kiss on his cheek before quickly retreating, her steps light as she hurried toward the store. A gentle smile graced Lin Xian's face, as if the entire world had transformed into a more beautiful place. After Li Mingyao selected a few pieces of maternity clothing, she entered the fitting room to try them on. Lin Xian noticed a jewelry store across the way, quickly making his way inside. Welcome, greeted a tall, reasonably attractive attendant. Hello, do you have any diamond rings to recommend? Lin Xian inquired with a smile. This one is a 1-carat G-grade engagement ring. Its innovative design is quite favored by young people, priced at just 20,000 yuan. The attendant assessed Lin Xian, who appeared to be a student and likely had a limited budget. While this design is appealing, the diamond grade is somewhat low. Do you have anything of higher quality? Lin Xian continued to smile, maintaining his composure. Sir, may I ask what your budget is? Approximately around 500,000 yuan, Lin Xian replied. The attendant was taken aback. 500,000. Does a student really have that much money? He must be a rich heir. My monthly salary is only a few thousand. Life can be quite unfair. Soon, the attendant presented a new diamond ring, exquisitely designed with impeccable cutting, sparkling like morning dew, emphasizing its rarity. This is a 2-carat D-grade rare diamond, a testament to eternal love. The D-grade diamond is completely colorless, representing the highest quality, rare and precious. And the price is exactly 500,000. Lin Xian was momentarily dazzled. Indeed, you get what you pay for, and this was worth every penny, nearly the cost of a small house in a county. All right, I'll take this one, Lin Xian said, relaying the size he had measured while Li Mingyao was asleep. Certainly, please proceed to this side for payment, and I will wrap it up for you. The attendant was thrilled. Completing such a significant sale would earn her a substantial commission. After settling the payment, Lin Xian returned to the maternity clothing store, feigning nonchalance. Lin Xian, how does this look? Li Mingyao emerged, twirling in her new outfit. It looks wonderful. My wife looks good in anything, Lin Xian praised earnestly. Although Li Mingyao's belly had yet to show, she still exuded an air of innocent beauty. That is no compliment, Li Mingyao remarked, admiring herself in the mirror. Feeling satisfied enough to make the purchase. After acquiring the clothing, the couple drove back to Jinhai Mansion. By the time they arrived home, it was already 10 p.m., and Li Mingyao was utterly exhausted. I'm going to wash up and head to bed. Good night, she yawned. What about a good night kiss? Lin Xian leaned forward, his voice exceptionally gentle. No way, we've already kissed today. Li Mingyao's face turned crimson as she quickly turned and hurried back to her room. So tomorrow then? Lin Xian called after her. We'll see, Li Mingyao replied, softly closing the door behind her. Chapter 8. Could you come here for a moment? Ding dong. Congratulations, host. You have successfully accompanied Li Mingyao in purchasing maternity products. As a reward, you have received a luxury store at Jinhai Plaza. Please check your rewards. The system's voice echoed in Lin Xian's mind. Simultaneously, a call came from the staff at Jinhai Plaza. Mr. Lin, hello? This is the marketing manager of Jinhai Plaza. The paperwork for the luxury store you purchased is ready. When would you like to come and collect it? All right, I'll come by in a few days. Lin Xian replied, hanging up the phone, pondering how late it was and how the staff at Jinhai Plaza were still working late. The current society was indeed quite competitive. In the following days, Lin Xian continued to care for Li Mingyao's meals as usual. The weather forecast predicted a severe thunderstorm in the Jinhai area late at night. After dinner, Lin Xian brought out a plate of cherries. Li Mingyao lounged comfortably in a recliner, gazing at the shimmering river while accepting Lin Xian's offerings. Are they tasty? Delicious, she replied. Hey, let us watch a movie together tonight. Sure, what do you want to watch? I'd like to see a horror film. Li Mingyao hesitated slightly. A horror film? Lin Xian was momentarily taken aback. Li Mingyao, who usually seemed so gentle, had a taste for horror. I never used to watch horror films. But after starting university, Yusin often played them in our dorm, and I gradually came to enjoy the thrilling suspense, Li Mingyao explained softly. That girl. Lin Xian thought. No, the emotional and psychological state during pregnancy can significantly affect the baby's development. Watching horror films can evoke intense feelings of anxiety and fear, which may inadvertently transfer to the baby. Therefore, let us opt for a heartwarming movie, shall we? Lin Xian gently suggested. Fine, replied Li Mingyao, pouting her lips slightly. Ultimately, the two settled on the film Hachi, A Dog's Tale. In truth, there was another significant reason for avoiding horror films. Lin Xian had harbored a fear of ghosts since childhood. Once, he had been coerced by the elder sister of a neighbor into watching a horror film, an experience that left an indelible mark on his young psyche. The living room boasted a high-definition projector paired with a 200-inch screen, complemented by a comfortable sofa, stunning sound effects, and crystal-clear visuals, all of which created an unparalleled viewing experience. After setting up the projector, Li Mingyao, with fruits and snacks in hand, nestled quietly beside Lin Xian, feeding him while they watched the film. Hachi, A Dog's Tale tells a poignant story of the profound bond between humans and dogs, reminding us to cherish the individuals and animals in our lives, along with the love and companionship they provide. As expected, upon finishing the film, tears blurred Li Mingyao's vision, as she became completely immersed in the emotional landscape of the narrative. Occasional tears can aid pregnant women in releasing inner pressures, alleviating psychological burdens, and easing emotional tensions. Meanwhile, Lin Xian sat beside her, gently holding Li Mingyao while continuously offering her tissues. Although the film was deeply moving, he remained emotionally stoic. Crying was out of the question. It simply would not be proper for a man to weep during a movie. After the film concluded, it was already past 10 o'clock at night. Li Mingyao stifled a yawn, raised her delicate hand to gently wrap around Lin Xian's neck, and tilted her head to plant a kiss on his cheek. I'm off to bed now. Good night, kiss, she said before dashing back to her room. Lin Xian had no means to counter this playful retreat. After turning off the projector, he too returned to his room, ready for slumber. Thunderous roars filled the night as fierce winds howled, lightning flashed across the sky, and torrential rain pounded the earth. Li Mingyao, fast asleep, was jolted awake by a deafening clap of thunder. The sound was overwhelming, leaving her pale and trembling. Although she had outgrown her fear of ordinary thunder, it felt as if the storm was directly above Jinwan Mansion, echoing loudly. Coupled with her pregnancy, her fears intensified. In contrast, Lin Xian, who also woke from the first thunderclap, actually relished stormy weather, believing it made his sleep even more restful. Just as he was about to drift back into slumber, his phone chimed unexpectedly. Who could be messaging at this hour? Reluctantly, he succumbed to curiosity and checked his phone. It was Li Mingyao. Lin Xian, could you come here for a moment? She had texted. After sending the message, she continued to curl up in her bed. In the past, she would have braved the fear alone, but now thoughts of Lin Xian filled her mind. Concerned about disturbing his sleep, she deliberated before sending the message. Dear, I'm coming in. Lin Xian softly knocked on the door before entering. Upon hearing his voice, Li Mingyao sprang out of bed like a startled bird and dove into Lin Xian's embrace, clinging tightly to his neck. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were afraid of thunder, he murmured, gently stroking her hair. Shall I stay and watch over you as you sleep? Lin Xian gazed at her, noticing her slight shivers. Let us sleep together, she suggested, a faint blush blossoming on her cheeks. Is this really happening? Lin Xian thought, feeling grateful for the stormy weather. He lifted Li Mingyao back to bed and lay down beside her, wrapping her in his arms to provide her with a sense of safety. With Lin Xian holding her, Li Mingyao felt her fear dissipate, replaced by warmth. However, her face grew increasingly warm with shyness. Observing her rosy cheeks, Lin Xian chuckled. Are you not afraid anymore? It's not as if this is our first time sleeping like this. Why be so bashful? The last time was when you were pregnant. Mischievous Lin Xian dared to tease her at this moment. Li Mingyao, feeling increasingly flustered, pinched Lin Xian's waist lightly. All right, I concede. I merely wished to alleviate your fears. You've cried enough today. Shedding more tears wouldn't be good for the baby. Are you still scared? Lin Xian gently reassured her. No more fear, Li Mingyao murmured. Before long, she drifted into slumber, while Lin Xian found himself less fortunate. The little minx was restless in her sleep, wrapping her arms and legs tightly around him, leaving him in a state of torment. Chapter 9. You're going to be a grandmother the following morning. The shrill ring of a phone pierced through Li Mingyao's sleepy haze. Groggy and half awake, she picked up her phone and pressed the answer button. Hello? Li Mingyao's voice was soft and drowsy. On the other end, Lin Xian's mother appeared stunned, her face frozen in shock. What is happening? Calling my son, and a woman's voice answers. Who are you? Where's my son, Lin Xian? Lin's mother inquired urgently. Lin Xian? He is sleeping right next to me, Li Mingyao replied. With that, she moved the phone closer to Lin Xian's side and returned to snuggling with him. Drifting back into a deep sleep, Lin Xian, having stayed up late the previous night, was sleeping soundly, resembling a slumbering pig. Meanwhile, on the other end of the line. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? 2 hours passed. Lin Xian slowly opened his eyes, stretched lazily, and finally emerged from his slumber. Gazing at Li Mingyao, who was tightly wrapped around him. He was struck by the allure of her cherry lips and felt an overwhelming desire to kiss her. At that moment, an angel and a devil appeared in his mind. The angel said, "She trusts you so much, Lin Xian. You must not take advantage of her." The devil countered, "You're having a child together. What is wrong with a kiss, Lin Xian? Go for it." Caught in contemplation, both arguments seemed compelling. He decided to compromise. Surely, a discreet peck on Li Mengyao's cheek wouldn't be too much to ask. After all, she had stolen kisses from him on multiple occasions. It was merely a matter of reciprocity. Lin Xian leaned down, inching closer to Li Mengyao's delicate face. Just as he was a few centimeters away, his breath caused her brows to flutter, and she gradually opened her eyes, revealing a fresh innocence that comes only from waking up. "What do you want?" Li Mengyao asked, her voice soft and timid. "I just wanted to see you up close," Lin Xian replied, feeling a bit guilty. Upon meeting his gaze, Li Mengyao glanced down at her neckline, and her face turned crimson. "Pervert. Lecher." She quickly distanced herself, burying her head under the covers, too shy to emerge. Lin Xian looked on with fondness. Even when scolding, his wife remained gentle. "Ahem, I'm not teasing you anymore," he declared after a moment of daze, preparing to rise from bed. Just then, Lin's mother called again, and without much thought, Lin Xian pressed the answer button. "Hello, Mom. What is the matter calling so early? You little rascal, where are you right now?" I'm in my dormitory," Lin Xian responded, glancing at the current scene. Realizing it was not the best time for explanations, so he opted to tell a little white lie to placate his mother. "In your dormitory? Then why did a girl answer the phone when I just called? You wouldn't have dared to sneak into the girls' dorm, would you?" Zhang Shulan exclaimed in indignation. Lin Xian hurriedly glanced at his phone, noticing several missed calls from Zhang Shulan. The first one was connected. It couldn't have been Li Mengyao who answered, could it? At that moment, Li Mengyao had fallen asleep again. Pregnancy truly makes one drowsy. "Mom, I'll explain later," Lin Xian whispered before hanging up. "This little rascal dares to hang up on me. It's infuriating." Zhang Shulan glared at Lin Zhenghua, who was distractedly playing with his phone. "Old Lin, if you're free, go wash the vegetables." Lin Zhenghua looked innocently at her, wondering why her son's troubles were his concern. Reluctantly, he retreated to the kitchen due to his familial standing. Meanwhile, Lin Xian stealthily slipped out of his room, opened his phone, and clicked on the call log to replay the first call. "Hello, Lin Xian? He's sleeping right beside me," came Li Mengyao's soft, melodious voice. "Oh no, my mother must have misunderstood. It was time to come clean with the family. After all, it was merely a matter of shared responsibility, something he had often engaged in during childhood." Lin Xian promptly dialed his mother's number again. "You little brat. Have you grown wings or a thick skin to hang up on your mother?" "Mom, please don't be angry. I'm calling back now." Lin Xian replied with a cheeky grin. "Quickly explain what happened this morning." "Mom, you should brace yourself." "Brace myself? You can't possibly mean." "Mom, don't let your imagination run wild. How could I do such a thing?" After a moment of contemplation, Zhang Shulan reassured herself that her son was unlikely to engage in such behavior. "Then hurry up and tell me. I heard everything clearly." "Mom, it's nothing much. You're going to be a grandmother." Thank goodness. Thank goodness. It's really nothing serious?" Zhang Shulan gasped in shock. "The one who answered the phone was your daughter-in-law. You little rascal. How did your father and I raise you? Have you made that girl pregnant before marriage? What do you think you're doing? If I hadn't caught wind of this, would you have hidden it for life?" Zhang Shulan's fists clenched tightly, wishing she could fly over and give Lin Xian a good thrashing right then and there. "Mom, please don't be angry. It's not like we're prepared for this yet. Besides, I plan to marry her and have a grand wedding later." Lin Xian hurriedly clarified. "Where are you living now? Surely not in the girls' dorm?" "Of course not. I'm currently residing at Jinhai City, Jinwan Mansion." "You little rascal, wait for me. Your father and I will come over this afternoon. Send me the address. Also, do you have a photo of your daughter-in-law? Send that too." Zhang Shulan fumed. Although she was retired and indeed wanted to become a grandmother, the suddenness of it all was overwhelming. Who could handle such a shock? She needed to see it for herself. "Old Lin, come out." Zhang Shulan called into the kitchen. "What is the matter? Why the tension?" Lin Zhenghua looked bewildered. "You need to take a leave from work for the next couple of days. We're heading to Jinhai City this afternoon." "Why the sudden request for leave?" "I'm a mid-level manager at a state-owned enterprise. It's not easy to approve. Your son has made a girl pregnant. You're going to be a grandfather. Should you take leave or not?" Zhang Shulan shot Lin Zhenghua a glare. What on earth is going on?" After Zhang Shulan explained, Lin Zhenghua's forehead bulged with anger. "That little rascal. Just wait until I deal with you. I have plenty of belts." At that moment, Zhang Shulan contacted her good friend from the countryside who was in the business, asking her to bring over some free-range chickens. Meanwhile, the two began rummaging through drawers, packing items. On the other side, Lin Xian was in a state of disarray, pacing back and forth in the living room, realizing he was in for a rough afternoon. Just then, Li Mingyao pushed open the door and walked out, noticing Lin Xian's anxious demeanor. Lin Xian, what are you doing? Wife, you're awake. Are you hungry? I'll make breakfast right away. Upon seeing Li Mingyao, Lin Xian's worries dissipated instantly. Yes, Li Mingyao replied, a hint of joy flickering across her face. Soon, a fragrant bowl of mushroom and lean meat porridge was served. As Lin Xian watched Li Mingyao sip delicately, a sense of happiness enveloped him. After all, the rice was already cooked. He would just have to endure a couple of beatings, one from his family and another from hers. By the way, did you receive a call this morning? Did I? Let me think. There was someone asking for Lin Xian, and then I. That was my mom. Lin Xian said helplessly. At that moment, Li Mingyao's eyes widened in shock. Her cherry lips slightly parted, unable to close for a while. Chapter 10. Don't tug on my ears. Li Mingyao could no longer drink her porridge, her gaze filled with astonishment as she struggled to comprehend what to do. Lin Xian gently embraced her, whispering soothingly, "Don't be afraid, my dear. This was bound to happen. I initially meant to visit your mother first before breaking the news to mine. My parents are quite amiable. They'll be thrilled to see such a beautiful daughter-in-law." Li Mingyao furrowed her brow. "I'm still a bit nervous. Do you think your parents will see me as someone frivolous?" Lin Xian tenderly played with her hair, which emitted a faint fragrance. "No, they'll think I've let you down. They're likely busily packing things right now, preparing to come over this afternoon to give me a good talking to." Upon hearing this, the corners of Li Mingyao's mouth curled up slightly, revealing a crescent-like smile as her tension eased a bit. "So, how do your parents typically discipline you?" "My dad has an ancestral belt, and my mom has an old clothes hanger. They take turns, in a round-robin style. After my dad is done, my mom comforts me. Next time, it'll be the other way around. They take turns like a duet." Lin Xian recalled with a pained expression. Li Mingyao burst into laughter, her elegant eyes twinkling as she playfully blinked. "That must mean you were quite the troublemaker. Just moments ago, you were trying to act all mischievous with me. Kissing your own wife can hardly be considered mischief," Lin Xian boldly retorted. "Well, not yet, since we aren't married." Li Mingyao's cheeks flushed crimson as she lightly punched Lin Xian's chest. "That's bound to happen." Li Mingyao shot him a playful glare, then fell into contemplation. "I once had a happy family, but when I was 8, my father passed away in a tragic car accident. At that time, I was too young and naively believed he was just on a long trip. The next time I saw him was in a black and white photo on his tombstone. Afterward, my mother worked tirelessly to support our family, leaving early and returning late every day. During my childhood, I was often teased at school for being the child without a father." With tears streaming down her face and her eyes reddening, Li Mingyao clung tightly to Lin Xian as she recounted her painful childhood memories. Lin Xian gently wiped her tears with a tissue, then pulled her into a tight embrace. "Don't cry. I'll always be here for you. I promise to provide you and our future children with a wonderful home." Lin Xian spoke with unwavering conviction. "Yes, I believe in you. Are you still going to drink your porridge?" "No, I'm a bit sleepy. Carry me back to bed," Li Mingyao said with a sweet smile. "You little lazy bug." Subsequently, Lin Xian effortlessly lifted her, cradling her as if she were a princess. "Ouch, don't bite, I was wrong." Lin Xian carried Li Mingyao back to the room, and upon emerging, he glanced at the delightful bite marks adorning his arm, a smile of happiness spreading across his face. Ding dong, a message from that little rascal arrived. Zhang Shulan opened it, and was instantly captivated. In the photograph, Li Mingyao donned a white nightgown, her features exquisitely delicate, exuding a fresh and enchanting charm. Her cherry lips were playfully nibbling on a cherry, evoking a sense of comfort and tranquility. Indeed, this was a candid shot taken by Lin Xian. Even without beauty filters or makeup, she remained a vision of natural beauty. "This daughter-in-law is truly stunning," Zhang Shulan exclaimed, unable to contain her excitement as she handed the phone to Lin Zhenghua. "I'm driving. Let me see it when we arrive," he replied. "And I must warn you, when you meet your daughter-in-law, do not wear that sour face of yours. If you want to vent your frustration on your son, at least don't frighten your daughter-in-law." "Understood. Understood. I shall heed your advice," Lin Zhenghua conceded, realizing his familial status was about to diminish once again. Lin Xian's hometown was in Yunhai City, a 3-hour drive from Jinghai City. Thus, for the time being, Lin Xian could manage to endure for 3 more hours. However, what was inevitable was soon to unfold. In the afternoon, Zhang Shulan and Lin Zhenghua arrived at the entrance of Jinwan Mansion, enchanted by the community's picturesque scenery. "This neighborhood is rather charming," Zhang Shulan mused as she compared it to her own. Although her residence in Yunhai City was commendable, it paled in comparison to the splendor of Jinwan Mansion. "This rascal has rented such an expensive place. Does he not realize that marriage and raising children entail considerable expenses?" Another reason to scold Lin Xian emerged. In a fit of frustration, she dialed his number. "Hello, you little rascal, we've arrived. Hurry down to greet us." I'm on my way, Lin Xian replied helplessly. That was fast. It's only been 2.5 hours. Quickly donning his shoes, Lin Xian rushed to the community entrance to welcome his parents. Soon enough, he spotted two familiar figures, their faces marked by a mixture of familiarity and anger. Mom and Dad, you're here. Hey, don't pull my ear. You little rascal, have you forgotten how I raised you? Is my advice merely background noise to you? Zhang Shulan tugged at Lin Xian's ear, forcibly pulling him down due to his height. Bystanders stared with amusement, leaving Lin Xian feeling quite embarrassed. Mom, please let me explain. Have some mercy on your son in public. Lin Xian lamented, casting a desperate glance at Lin Zhenghua, who seemed to be silently mouthing, I am powerless in this situation. And soon I will have to reprimand you as well. Lin Xian's expression was one of utter despair. Zhang Shulan surveyed the surroundings before finally releasing him. Let us go inside and talk. The trio made their way to Lin Xian's residence, where he recounted the entire sequence of events to his parents. Strangely, his mother did not display much anger. Instead, it was his father who wore a wry smile. Where's my daughter-in-law? Zhang Shulan inquired eagerly. She's sleeping in the room. She should be awake by now. Let her continue to sleep. I'll go make some chicken soup to nourish her. With that, Zhang Shulan stood up, heading towards the kitchen. Both Lin Xian and his father were taken aback. Mom, let me handle it. You two should relax, Lin Xian quickly interjected. Can you even make chicken soup? Of course. Right now, your daughter-in-law only eats the meals I prepare. She might not be accustomed to yours. Zhang Shulan found herself at a loss for words against Lin Xian's cunning retort. Without further ado, Lin Xian dived into the kitchen, attending to the unfortunate chicken. Before long, the enticing aroma of chicken soup wafted through the house. At that moment, Li Mingyao awoke, drawn by the delicious scent to the living area. Lin Xian, are you making chicken soup again? It smells amazing. As she spoke, she caught sight of Zhang Shulan and Lin Zhenghua, who were gazing at her with tender expressions. Her joy swiftly morphed into shyness, prompting her to hurriedly retreat to her room. Chapter 11. Uncle, please don't hit Lin Xian. Upon witnessing her daughter-in-law's retreat, Zhang Shulan playfully punched Lin Zhenghua, though not with much force. Look at you, grinning like a fool. You scared our daughter-in-law away, didn't you? She scolded, shooting him a disapproving look as she entered the kitchen. Lin Zhenghua felt somewhat aggrieved, pondering, didn't you just tell me not to wear a sour face? And you were grinning too. Naturally, he kept these thoughts to himself, silently enduring, knowing he could always take it out on their son later. Son, go check on your daughter-in-law. She seemed frightened by your father just now, Zhang Shulan urged Lin Xian. Huh, is Mingyao awake? I'll go see her right away. The chicken soup should be nearly ready. Mom, please don't meddle with it anymore, Lin Xian cautioned as he walked away, glancing back to emphasize his point. Understood. Just hurry, Zhang Shulan replied, aware that her son was not fond of her culinary skills. As Lin Xian entered the room, he shut the door behind him. There stood Li Mingyao, adorned in a light purple ruffled dress, resembling a fairy emerging from a sea of flowers, radiating a captivating and fresh aura. The subtle makeup on her face only enhanced her natural beauty. Do I look good? Li Mingyao shyly asked, noticing Lin Xian's unwavering gaze upon her. You look stunning. Like a little fairy, Lin Xian replied, moving closer to her and gently taking her delicate hand. I was a bit groggy earlier and forgot that your parents were coming. Do you think they will like my outfit? Li Mingyao bit her lip, still feeling a bit anxious. There is no parent in the world who wouldn't adore their daughter-in-law looking like you, Lin Xian reassured her, squeezing her soft hand gently. You're quite the charmer. Li Mingyao responded, her beautiful eyes sparkling. Let us go out together. Rest assured, I'll be right by your side. All right. Hand in hand, they exited the room. Lin Xian leading the way with Li Mingyao closely following behind. Mom and Dad, allow me to introduce you. This is Li Mingyao, the mother of our child. Mingyao, these are my parents, Lin Xian introduced them. Hello, Uncle and Auntie, Li Mingyao greeted nervously. Zhang Shulan and Lin Zhenghua gazed at their daughter-in-law, who was even more beautiful in person than in the photograph. They marveled at their son's excellent taste. Mingyao, please have a seat. I'd love to have a good chat with you, Zhang Shulan warmly invited, ushering Lin Xian aside and pulling Li Mingyao to sit down. Mingyao, where are you from? Jingshui City. Noticing Li Mengyao's lingering shyness, Zhang Shulan shot a glance at Lin Zhenghua, who seemed to be lingering nearby. Old Lin, don't you have something to discuss with your precious son? Why don't you two step outside for a moment? Reluctantly, Lin Zhenghua and Lin Xian departed. We are aware of what transpired. It was my son who wronged you, and I have already given him a stern talking to. On behalf of our Lin family, I sincerely apologize to you. With that, Zhang Shulan produced a delicate bracelet from her pocket, its gems intricately set, gleaming with brilliant light. The unique design resembling a piece of art. We don't have any heirloom bracelets or the like. This bracelet is one I purchased during a trip a few years ago, intended for my future daughter-in-law. Please accept it as a token of our first meeting. Auntie, this is far too precious. I cannot accept this, Li Mingyao quickly protested. Take it. It's a debt that rascal owes you. Rest assured, if he dares mistreat you, just let me know, and I will certainly teach him a lesson. Li Mingyao, upon receiving the admonition, suddenly contemplated. Could it be that Lin Xian and his father had gone out? Her countenance shifted dramatically, and she promptly dashed outside. Just in time to witness Lin Zhenghua brandishing a belt, poised to strike Lin Xian, who stood motionless, bracing himself for the impending punishment. Without hesitation, Li Mingyao lunged towards Lin Xian, enveloping him tightly in her embrace, while locking her gaze onto Lin Zhenghua. Uncle, please do not harm Lin Xian. He is not at fault. It was our carelessness that led to this situation. Lin Xian has been nothing but considerate towards me and has taken on his share of the responsibility. I truly like Lin Xian. Lin Xian was taken aback. He had never anticipated that the typically gentle Li Mingyao would display such courage, especially in defense of him. With a sigh, Lin Zhenghua uttered, Well, Lin Xian, it is up to you to decide what to do. I will bear the responsibility and dedicate my life to accompany and care for you. Lin Xian declared with unwavering resolve. I believe in you, Li Mingyao said, her head bowing shyly. All right, enough standing around outside. Mingyao must be hungry. Come in and have a bowl of chicken soup to nourish yourself, Zhang Shulan interjected, guiding Li Mingyao back into the dining room. With Lin Xian and Lin Zhenghua following closely behind, Lin Xian returned to the kitchen to prepare a few homestyle dishes, and at last, the family gathered for dinner. You little rascal, when did your culinary skills improve so remarkably? Both Zhang Shulan and Lin Zhenghua were astonished. The flavors were exquisite. Yet, Zhang Shulan made sure to keep Li Mingyao's bowl filled with food. After dinner, Lin Xian, as was his custom, took Li Mingyao for a stroll around the neighborhood. Zhang Shulan and Lin Zhenghua remained at home. Dear, were you frightened just now? Lin Xian asked while holding Li Mingyao's hand. A bit, yes. Actually, my parents are quite nice. They have always taught me to be upright and avoid trouble and bad habits. They must have been both angry and pleased. Angry because I was bullied, but pleased to have such a lovely daughter-in-law, soon to be grandparents. So, it's only natural they would want to give me a good thrashing. Had I known earlier, I wouldn't have protected you and would have let you take the beating, Li Mingyao said, a smile playing at the corners of her mouth. Meanwhile, back at home, Zhang Shulan turned to Lin Zhenghua. Old Lin, we are about to become grandparents. Shouldn't we do something to celebrate? Yes. Perhaps we should have Lin Xian look at some properties, Lin Zhenghua replied. There's not much we can do beyond that. This spendthrift, renting such a large house. Doesn't he realize how expensive it is to raise a child? Zhang Shulan lamented, her thoughts turning to reprimanding Lin Xian. But the thought of her daughter-in-law's disapproval held her back. Later that night, after Lin Xian and Li Mingyao returned, she was already feeling drowsy and retired early to her room. After Lin Xian tidied up the space for his parents, Zhang Shulan pulled him aside. Son, in a few days, you should go look at houses in Jinghai City. Now that Mingyao is pregnant, we need to secure a home for the wedding. Here's $1,000,000, which your father and I have saved to help you marry her. Take it. She then produced a bank card and handed it to Lin Xian. Mom, there's no need to buy one. I already have a house, Lin Xian replied, stepping back. Where did you get a house? Isn't that a rental? This apartment is mine, Lin Xian declared proudly. Zhang Shulan paused in surprise, then playfully slapped the back of Lin Xian's head. You little rascal, where did you find so much money? I've been investing since university. And I've been working part-time in design for the past few years, so I've saved some money. This should be left for Cici, Lin Xian explained, covering his head. Zhang Shulan had always acknowledged her son's intelligence. Upon reflection, she realized that aside from this matter, he was quite reliable, and thus she believed him. All right. If you need more money, just tell your mother, she said, reclaiming the bank card. By the way, does Cici know about this? Lin Xian's younger sister was currently attending high school at Yuhai City's first middle school. Not yet. She's at school. Well, it's getting late. Your father and I are going to our room to rest, she said, noting that it was already past 10 p.m. Lin Xian prepared to return to his room, only to find a stunning figure lying on the bed. Chapter 12. The luxurious dining room. Lin Xian stepped out to confirm he hadn't entered the wrong room. Indeed, he hadn't. Could it be that this girl? Lin Xian dismissed any further thoughts. He gently climbed onto the bed, lying beside Li Mingyao. As he gazed at her peacefully sleeping, he pondered what delectable dish he might prepare for his wife the next day. Perhaps a nourishing red date and snow fungus soup, rich in nutrients for beauty. He could also whip up a shrimp and broccoli stir-fry, packed with protein, vitamins, and folic acid. And perhaps, suddenly, Li Mingyao turned over, her delicate hands softly encircling Lin Xian, her lovely lashes fluttering, and a slight smile gracing her lips. Observing her feigned slumber, Lin Xian chuckled softly. Wife, are you asleep? He gently pinched her cheek. Ignoring him, Li Mingyao slightly furrowed her brows. Ah, That hurts. You big rascal. She rolled over, leaving Lin Xian with a beautiful view of her back. Lin Xian chuckled and leaned closer, wrapping his arms around Li Mengyao, speaking tenderly. Dearest, what brings you to my room today? Li Mengyao's cheeks flushed crimson as she haughtily replied, This is my room. You must have wandered in by mistake. Lin Xian, aware of her shyness, responded with affectionate indulgence. All right. It was indeed my mistake. From now on, I shall always be lost. Is that agreeable? My wife is always right. Li Mengyao could not bear to listen any longer and, in playful annoyance, turned back to lightly punch Lin Xian with her delicate fist. Stop saying that. All right. I want to say another word, Lin Xian replied, pulling her into his embrace. In 2 days, we'll visit your home to meet your mother. Shall we? Yes, Li Mengyao agreed, realizing it had been a while since she last saw her mother. By the way, what is your mother like? I need to prepare some gifts for our meeting, Lin Xian inquired. No need. Just buy some fruit, and she will be very pleased. Li Mengyao gently shook her head. That won't do. Let us make a trip to the mall tomorrow, he insisted. Okay. Li Mengyao yawned, clearly feeling tired. Seizing the opportunity while Lin Xian was distracted, she stealthily pecked him on the cheek. Silly Lin Xian, good night. She then turned over and began to drift off to sleep. Once again, she had flirted and then retreated, leaving Lin Xian at a loss. I'll deal with you later, he murmured softly before gradually succumbing to slumber himself. The following day, after lunch, Zhang Shulan and Lin Zheng were prepared to return to Yuhai City. Before departing, Zhang Shulan pulled Li Mengyao over to whisper something, both of them chuckling. Lin Xian was curious. Surely she wasn't recounting any embarrassing childhood tales? Just as he was about to eavesdrop, they fell silent. Son, take good care of Mengyao. If anything arises, call home. Make sure to visit her family and apologize as soon as you can, Zhang Shulan advised, growing increasingly fond of her daughter-in-law. Understood, Mom. We'll go tomorrow. Safe travels. Lin Xian replied. After sending off his parents, Lin Xian and Li Mengyao returned home. Lin Xian, intrigued, asked, What did my mom say to you? You've been smiling the whole time. Li Mengyao's lips curled into a smile, and she let out a playful hum. I want to tell you. Lin Xian feigned a stern expression, lifting her chin to meet his gaze. If you don't tell me, I'll have to resort to measures. Mengyao narrowed her beautiful eyes defiantly. I want to say a word. Let us see what you can do. Suddenly, Lin Xian swept her into a princess carry, holding her securely as he walked slowly toward the room. Ah, what are you doing? Put me down. Mengyao exclaimed, panic evident as she wrapped her arms tightly around him, her little legs offering a gentle protest. He brought her into the room and gently set her down on the bed, gazing at her delicate features. Lin Xian leaned down to kiss her forehead, whispering softly, Take a nap. When you wake up, we'll head to the mall. Mengyao, feeling shy from the kiss, lowered her head like an embarrassed ostrich. After they awoke, the couple drove a Maybach to Golden Bay Plaza. Lin Xian first purchased numerous health supplements for Mengyao's mother, followed by several handbags suitable for middle-aged women and a selection of jewelry. As Mengyao observed Lin Xian's growing pile of purchases, she could no longer contain herself and grasped his hand firmly. Lin Xian, stop buying. This is already too much. Lin Xian suddenly had a mischievous idea and pretended to argue. No way, I still need to buy more. This isn't enough. Mengyao puffed up her cheeks like a pufferfish. If you buy more, I'll be angry. You can avoid my purchases if you give me a kiss. Lin Xian shamelessly proposed. After all, you ran off right after teasing me yesterday. We can discuss that when we're back. There are too many people here. Mengyao blushed and turned her head away coyly. Lin Xian took her small hand, cheerfully stating, Let me take you to see something. He picked up his phone and dialed the manager of Golden Bay Plaza. Hello, manager. I previously purchased a luxury store in Golden Bay Plaza. May I come by to collect it now? Is this Mr. Lin? The other party responded. Yes, I'm currently on the first floor of Golden Bay Plaza. All right. Please hold on. I'll come down to meet you shortly. Moments later, a well-dressed man approached briskly. Hello, Mr. Lin. I'm the market manager of Golden Bay Plaza. My surname is Chun. Hello, Manager Chun. Can you show us the store now? Lin Xian inquired. Of course. This way, please, Manager Chun gestured. Mengyao was momentarily taken aback. When had Lin Xian purchased a store, especially in such a prime location? They ascended to the 5th floor, where various restaurants resided. Manager Chun led them to the largest store on that floor. Truly, a reward from the system. Each item is exquisite, Lin Xian thought. The store spanned an impressive 150 square meters, and at the local rate of 30,000 per square meter, it totaled 4.5 million. Mr. Lin, please sign here. Manager Chen handed him a document. Lin Xian reviewed it carefully before affixing his signature. Thank you, Mr. Lin. Should there be any issues in the future, feel free to contact me. Thank you, Manager Chen. After he departed, Lin Xian turned to the still-dazed Mengyao. Wife, what do you think we should do with this store? It should definitely be a restaurant, especially with such space, Mengyao suggested. illustrating the size with her small hands. Then let us make it a fish cuisine restaurant. Why fish cuisine? Meng Yao asked, her small face puzzled. Lin Xian squeezed her delicate hand, saying, because my wife loves fish the most. Chapter 13. Wife, do you still bite? Meng Yao felt enveloped by a warm wave of emotion, rendering her speechless. She gently wrapped her arms around Lin Xian's waist, resting her head on his chest to savor his warmth. After a tender moment, they drove back to Golden Bay Mansion. Lin Xian entered the kitchen to prepare dinner, while Meng Yao wished to assist but was gently shooed away, as he insisted that a pregnant woman should not inhale cooking fumes. Reluctantly, Meng Yao settled on the sofa to watch a drama. Ding dong, a message from Lu Yusin arrived. My dear Yao Yao, how have you been these past few days? Has Lin Xian bullied you? I haven't seen you in ages. Meng Yao beamed, picking up her phone to snap a photo of the busy Lin Xian in the kitchen, followed by a shot of herself lounging on the sofa, and sent it to Lu Yusin. Seriously? Am I being fed dog food now? Yao Yao. Does love really fade away? I still love you, dear Xin. That's good. Just don't add dear before my name. Ha ha ha. You can come directly to see me anytime. Really? Your husband won't mind, right? I wouldn't want to intrude on your couple-s world. He is not really my husband yet, Meng Yao replied, though she felt a blush at the word, having grown accustomed to calling Lin Xian husband. Still shy? You've already been completely taken. All right, enough of that. I'm about to eat. As Lin Xian emerged with 2 bowls of mushroom chicken clay pot rice, a plate of steamed mandarin fish, and a bowl of tomato egg soup, he announced, Wife, dinner is ready. Meng Yao rushed forward, leaping into Lin Xian's embrace, murmuring, You've worked hard. Feeling grateful for such a considerate husband. Her heart swelled with warmth. After a cozy moment, they began their dinner. Lin Xian, Yusin mentioned she might come here to find me. Is that okay? Meng Yao asked, taking small bites of her food. Of course, you don't need to ask me about that. You are the lady of this house, Lin Xian replied gently. Okay. Meng Yao smiled sweetly. Seeing Meng Yao enjoying her meal, Lin Xian felt immeasurable happiness. To this day, he remained puzzled as to why she had such a fondness for fish. Yet, since she hadn't brought it up herself, he wouldn't pry. As long as she was happy now, that was enough. As for the luxurious store meant for a fish cuisine restaurant, Lin Xian still had no clear plan. First, it needed renovation, followed by finding a reliable store manager and hiring a chef. He could serve as the chef with the system's 5-star capabilities, but currently, his pregnant wife needed him by her side. Well, one step at a time. After all, it was a gift from the system. Let us tackle my mother-in-law's approval first tomorrow, he mused. After they finished dinner, Lin Xian washed the dishes and then joined his roommates for a gaming session, while Meng Yao continued watching her drama in the living room. At around 10 p.m., Lin Xian prepared a cup of warm milk and placed it by the bed, then gently pulled Meng Yao away from her phone. Wife, drink some milk. After finishing the milk, they washed up and lay down together. Lin Xian played with Meng Yao's beautiful hair. Wife, do you think we should buy some bird's nest or something tomorrow? That's unnecessary. We've already bought enough. My mother doesn't really care about these things. Meng Yao nestled into Lin Xian's embrace, a smile gracing her lips. Are you feeling nervous? Of course I am. I genuinely fear being chased away by your mother, Lin Xian admitted, his face a shade of worry. Now reflecting, if his own daughter were to suddenly announce her pregnancy and point to a young college student, claiming he was great, Lin Xian imagined he would likely break the boy's legs. The current situation felt quite similar. Seeing Lin Xian's anxious demeanor, Meng Yao couldn't help but burst into laughter. Haha. Rest assured, my mother has always been exceptionally gentle, and besides, I will assist you as well. My dear, this afternoon at Golden Bay Square. You promised to plant a kiss on my lips. Meng Yao was taken aback. The transition was rather swift. Suddenly, Lin Xian felt a warmth on his face, accompanied by a delicate fragrance, tinged with a hint of pain. Darling, do you still bite? Lin Xian remarked, gently touching the cheek that had just been kissed. A subtle smile gracing his lips. Humph, I'm going to sleep now. Good night. Meng Yao turned her head, concealing her already flushed face from Lin Xian. He had grown accustomed to her playful nature, teasing him before retreating. He then gently embraced Meng Yao from behind, and together they drifted into slumber. The following morning, after breakfast, Lin Xian and Meng Yao prepared to set off for Jingshui City. Jingshui City is a small 4th-tier city in Hai Province, a 4-hour drive from the provincial capital, Jinghai City. Lin Xian's hometown, Yunhai City, is a 3rd-tier city, so the journey to Jinghai City takes less than 3 hours. Lin Xian, why don't we take the Xiaomi SU7 instead? Meng Yao grasped Lin Xian's hand. Huh? Why? Lin Xian asked, puzzled, as he had a fondness for the Maybach. He often encountered a saying on social media. It's not that the in-laws are unwelcoming. It's just that you didn't drive a Maybach. The Maybach represents not just luxury, but also the dignity that one must uphold. Coughing lightly, he veered off topic. I feel that driving a Maybach might be a bit ostentatious, Li Mingyao murmured. What is wrong with being ostentatious? I'm going to seek your mother's approval. Otherwise, I would appear too petty. Moreover, with a 4-hour drive, that's 8 hours round trip, taking the Xiaomi electric car would mean charging it, which is a bit cumbersome. I need to rely on the stature of this Maybach, Lin Xian said, pinching Li Mengyao's petite face. All right then, she acquiesced, glancing at the purple Xiaomi SU7 parked nearby, which she had yet to drive even once. Lin Xian, perceiving his wife's thoughts, gently assured her, once we return, you can take the Xiaomi SU7 out for a spin with your friends. Li Mengyao's face brightened with a sweet smile. Upon reaching the parking lot, Lin Xian opened the back door of the Maybach and said, since we'll be on the highway, for safety reasons, darling, you should sit in the back. Pregnant women are advised not to sit in the front seat, especially during high-speed travel. Once Li Mengyao settled comfortably in the back, Lin Xian moved to the driver's seat, starting the engine. The Maybach glided forward like a radiant jewel, heading toward Jingshui City. Chapter 14. In fact, I'm pregnant. As the Maybach cruised along, Lin Xian glanced at Li Mengyao through the rearview mirror. At that moment, she rested her chin on one hand, gazing serenely out the window, occasionally humming a soft tune, her face illuminated with a blissful smile. Darling, it's going to be a 4-hour journey. Aren't you going to sleep? Lin Xian inquired gently. I just woke up this morning, and now I'm not sleepy. Besides, I can't wait to see my mother. Li Mengyao replied, her eyes sparkling with joy. Then, please tell me about life in Jingshui City. Lin Xian expressed his desire to learn more about the city where Li Mengyao had spent her childhood, for when one loves another, they yearn to understand their past. Let me tell you, although Jingshui City is merely a small 4th-tier city with a slow pace of life and lacks glamour, it is brimming with warmth and humanity, characterized by harmony among neighbors. Furthermore, the nights in Jingshui City are softly illuminated, radiating a tranquil warmth. My home is in the old town, right beneath which lies a quaint little park where I often played hide-and-seek as a child. There was a time when my mother couldn't find me and grew anxious, but I ended up receiving a scolding afterward. Oh, and there was a particularly adorable tabby cat in that little park. I wonder if it still remembers me. As Li Mengyao spoke about her hometown, her eyes sparkled with delight as she shared her memories with Lin Xian, who listened intently while driving, perhaps fatigued from her storytelling. Li Mengyao quietly dozed off in her seat. The 4 hours passed swiftly, and Lin Xian exited the Jingshui City toll station, pulling over to a stop. Darling, we've arrived. He gently squeezed Li Mengyao's soft cheek. Are we there? She murmured, rubbing her sleepy eyes, her expression adorably dazed. The familiar city came into view. Have you called your mother? Lin Xian asked softly. Not yet. I'll call her now, Li Mengyao replied, promptly taking out her phone. Hello, Mom, we're almost there. That is wonderful. I've prepared your favorite braised fish, came the gentle voice on the other end. They had set off at 8 in the morning. And now it was already noon. We've just exited the highway. We're heading back now, Li Mengyao responded. After ending the call, Lin Xian restarted the car. And they soon arrived at Li Mengyao's home. Though the houses in the old town were somewhat aged, they were bustling with life. Li Mengyao's home was a standard 140 square meter apartment, neither too large nor too small, located on the 8th floor, which made the climb a bit tiring. Lin Xian carried 2 large bags of gifts as they ascended to the 8th floor together. Upon reaching the familiar door, Li Mengyao retrieved her keys and opened it. Mom, I'm back. A warm, kind-faced woman with elegantly arched brows and striking beauty approached. Her bright eyes sparkled like stars, though time had left its mark on her skin. It had not dulled her beauty, but rather lent her a unique, mature charm. In an instant, Li Mengyao leaped into Huang Shifang's embrace, the two of them sharing a tight hug. It's good to have you back, Yao. Have you gained a bit of weight recently? Huang Shifang inquired, affectionately stroking Li Mengyao's head. No, Li Mengyao stammered, her cheeks flushing. At this moment, Huang Shifang began to regard Lin Xian with a soft gaze. Hello, Auntie. I'm Li Mengyao's boyfriend, Lin Xian. It's a pleasure to meet you. I brought some gifts for you. He presented the 2 large bags with a warm smile. Hello, what are you bringing? You shouldn't have done that. Come in, please. Huang Shifang said with a smile as she accepted the gifts. Once inside Li Mengyao's home, although it was somewhat old, everything was tidy and in order, exuding a sense of comfort and tranquility. You must be hungry. Come, wash your hands, and let us eat, Huang Shifang said with a smile. The dining table was laden with stir-fried pork with green peppers, oil-braised prawns, boiled fish slices, braised fish, and scrambled eggs with tomatoes, all of Li Mengyao's favorite dishes. Xian, don't be polite. Make yourself at home and enjoy Annie's cooking, Huang Shifang said gently. Li Mengyao promptly plopped down beside Lin Xian and began to eat. Yao, you've started eating before Lin Xian even had a chance to dig in? How uncouth. Huang Shifang feigned anger, though her eyes sparkled with amusement. Mom, I'm really hungry. Li Mingyao pouted, her expression adorably proud. Lin Xian, witnessing the strong bond between mother and daughter, smiled happily. After peeling a few prawns for Li Mingyao, he finally began to eat. "Auntie, your cooking is truly delicious," Lin Xian complimented. Although Huang Shifeng's home-cooked meals may not rival those of a five-star chef, they were warm and imbued with the essence of home. "If it's good, eat as much as you like," Huang Shifeng encouraged warmly. Li Mingyao also served Lin Xian some pork belly, cheerfully stating, "Lin Xian, this is delicious. You should give it a try." "Thank you, dear." Li Mingyao shot a glance, forming the words with her lips, "My mother is still here." Lin Xian had no choice but to swallow the term wife. Huang Shifeng, observing the tender interaction between Lin Xian and Li Mingyao, smiled gently. "How did you two meet?" Both Lin Xian and Li Mingyao were momentarily taken aback, exchanging glances. "We met at a school gathering," Li Mingyao replied, a hint of nervousness in her voice. "Yes, that's right. I was smitten with Mingyao at first sight," Lin Xian chimed in. Huang Shifeng gazed at the pair with warmth, noticing her daughter's unease, yet chose not to comment. After lunch, Huang Shifeng tidied up the dishes and began washing them in the kitchen. Lin Xian offered to help, but was politely declined. Thus, he and Li Mingyao returned to the living room, sitting quietly together. Li Mingyao took Lin Xian's hand and asked, "Lin Xian, are you nervous?" "Of course I am. But we must face it eventually. To be able to marry such a beautiful wife, even if it means enduring a beating, is worth it," Lin Xian replied, holding her delicate hand in his, their fingers intertwined. "Even at this moment, you still can't be serious," Li Mingyao teased, rolling her eyes and giving him a gentle punch with her other hand. "My mother is gentle and magnanimous. She wouldn't resort to violence." Once Huang Shifeng finished in the kitchen, she returned to the living room, sitting across from the two with a smile. "What are you two whispering about?" "Xiaoxian, why did you buy so many valuable items?" "Auntie cannot afford this." Huang Shifeng looked at the health products and jewelry, all branded and costly, likely amounting to several thousand yuan. "Auntie, these are merely tokens of goodwill for our first meeting. Please accept them," Lin Xian replied with firm conviction. Noticing her daughter's anxious demeanor, Huang Shifeng realized something was amiss. "Yao Yao, is there something you're hiding from me?" Huang Shifeng inquired, still maintaining her gentle demeanor. Li Mingyao hesitated for a moment, but finally made up her mind. "Mom, there is something I want to tell you." "Go ahead. I'm listening, Mom." "Actually, I'm pregnant." Chapter 15. Is this who you are as a mother? Huang Shifeng had suspected her daughter was concealing something. Perhaps she wanted to cohabit with Lin Xian. Or maybe even marry him. Those were her guesses. However, she never anticipated that her daughter would be pregnant. Huang Shifeng's eyes widened, filled with shock and confusion. "Yao Yao, are you joking with me?" Li Mingyao lowered her head, filled with remorse. "Mom, I'm sorry." At that moment, Lin Xian stepped forward, his tone resolute. "Auntie, it's my fault. I'm the one who got Mingyao pregnant. Rest assured, I will take good care of her. If you're still angry, feel free to hit me. I'll accept whatever punishment you deem fit." Huang Shifeng closed her eyes, her brows furrowed. She knew her daughter wouldn't lie about being pregnant, but she still struggled to accept the reality that the daughter she had raised with such care was now in this predicament. Lin Xian and Li Mingyao held each other's hands tightly, as if this gesture could provide some unspoken strength. After a moment, Huang Shifeng opened her eyes. A trace of anger still present, yet her tone remained gentle. "Yao Yao, let us go inside and talk." Li Mingyao cast a panicked glance at Lin Xian, who returned a reassuring look. Once mother and daughter entered the room and closed the door, Huang Shifeng trembled as she asked, "What on earth happened?" "I couldn't help it with Lin Xian," Li Mingyao said, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Seeing her daughter on the verge of tears, Huang Shifeng softened her tone. "Mom, isn't against you having a boyfriend, but this is all happening too quickly. Let me ask you, do you like Lin Xian?" "I do," Li Mingyao declared with determination. Huang Shifeng sighed, rubbing her forehead. "I trust my daughter's judgment. He is handsome and polite, a fine young man. However, I am still very upset about the fact that you were pregnant before marriage." Li Mingyao clasped her hands tightly together, speaking softly. "In truth, I bear a significant part of the responsibility. I was the one who approached him first." Huang Shifeng slumped onto the bed, overwhelmed. "Mom, as soon as Lin Xian found out I was pregnant, he immediately said he would take responsibility. He has been taking good care of me during this time. I truly like him," Li Mingyao said, sitting beside her mother and gripping her hands tightly. "Has he proposed to you?" Huang Shifeng asked. "He said he wants to get your blessing before we marry," Li Mingyao replied, her cheeks slightly flushed. It seems Lin Xian respects the opinions of elders, and thus, Huang Shifeng's impression of him improved slightly. Meanwhile, Lin Xian in the living room was sweating nervously, pondering why the two had been inside for so long and whether Auntie would ultimately disapprove. Just as he was lost in thought, mother and daughter emerged from the room. taking seats across from Lin Xian. Unlike before, where Lin Xian and Li Mingyao sat closely together, now it was the mother and daughter who sat side by side. Huang Shifeng looked at Lin Xian, still speaking in a gentle tone. Lin Xian, I have a few questions for you. Rest assured, I won't hit you. Besides, at my age, I can hardly manage that. Auntie, please ask, Lin Xian replied, sitting up straight, his tone resolute. I'm already aware of what transpired. You claim you will take responsibility for Yao Yao. How do you intend to do so? I plan to marry Meng Yao as soon as I receive your consent. And I will also give her a grand wedding. And where do you plan to live? You can't keep renting after the baby arrives, can you? Huang Shifeng thought that while renting was acceptable during a dating phase, now that Li Mingyao was pregnant, they couldn't possibly continue living in a rented space after the child was born. Auntie, I have already purchased a house. The one Mingyao and I are currently living in is it. Here, these are the photos and the property deed, Lin Xian said, handing his phone to Huang Shifeng. Huang Shifeng examined it. Although she had seldom visited large cities, she could tell at a glance that the property was not inexpensive. What surprised her even more was that the deed was in both Lin Xian and Li Mengyao's names. This significantly enhanced Huang Shifeng's regard for Lin Xian, especially since many men today are reluctant to include their partner's name on property deeds prior to marriage. What do you plan to do after graduation? Huang Shifeng continued her inquiry. I haven't planned to work just yet. During this time, I intend to take care of Meng Yao. After the baby is born and Meng Yao has recuperated, we will discuss future plans. Of course, I won't be idle. I will engage in some investments, Lin Xian replied. With such a powerful system, who needs to work? Being a good father sounds much more appealing. What do your parents think? Huang Shifeng asked curiously. My parents visited me and Meng Yao a few days ago, and they took a liking to her. After reprimanding me, they urged me to come and apologize to you, Auntie. At this moment, Lin Xian suddenly stood up, his gaze and tone resolute. Auntie, please rest assured that I will take good care of your daughter. You can trust her with me. Li Mingyao stood up and rushed to Lin Xian's side, gripping his hand tightly and looking at Huang Shifeng with determination. Huang Shifeng looked at the two, shaking her head helplessly. Lin Xian observed Annie shaking her head, and his heart sank. Could it be that she disapproved? Upon seeing her mother's reaction, Li Mengyao's eyes began to glisten with tears. The rice had already been cooked, and their mutual affection was evident. Could Auntie truly still oppose their union? I just didn't expect to become a grandmother so soon. Huang Shifeng looked at the two of them and couldn't help but shake her head, followed by a gentle smile. Mom, Li Mingyao exclaimed, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Thank you, Auntie. Lin Xian expressed his gratitude while cheerfully handing a tissue to Meng Yao to wipe her tears. Lin Xian, remember your promise. My daughter and I have relied on each other since childhood, enduring many hardships. Therefore, I do not wish for my daughter to continue suffering in the future. If I discover that Yao Yao is not living well, I will certainly hold you accountable. Huang Shifeng's tone shifted from gentle to resolute. All right, Auntie. You can come and live with us. Our place is spacious enough. This way, you and Meng Yao can continue being together, Lin Xian said with a smile. As an elderly person, I wouldn't want to intrude on your youthful lives. Besides, I have spent most of my life in Jingshui City. Adjusting to a big city would be quite challenging for me. Just come and visit often, and I will be very happy, Huang Shifeng chuckled. Okay, it's getting late. Lin Xian, you must be tired from driving. Hurry back and rest, Huang Shifeng urged. Li Mingyao glanced into the guest room and asked Mom, didn't you tidy up the guest room for Lin Xian? Huang Shifeng looked at her foolish daughter and smiled. Lin Xian will be sleeping with you, in your room. Li Mingyao was taken aback. Is this how you are, Mom? Chapter 16, Old Husband. As Lin Xian entered Li Mingyao's room, he was greeted by a cozy and elegant ambience. The pink walls and soft bedding, coupled with a bookshelf filled with various books, exuded a feminine charm. Li Mingyao smiled gently. Lin Xian, let us get some sleep. Without hesitation, Lin Xian changed into his sleepwear and lay down on the bed, while Li Mingyao shyly turned her head away. Wife, now that Auntie has given her approval, shouldn't you address me as husband? We're not married yet. I need to change clothes. You should turn around. Li Mingyao blushed and said. If you call me husband, I will turn around, Lin Xian teased. Husband. Li Mingyao's voice was tinged with annoyance as she shot him a glare. Only then did Lin Xian happily turn away, presenting his back to Li Mingyao. Once dressed, Li Mingyao quietly climbed onto the bed and embraced Lin Xian. Suddenly, a melodious chime echoed in Lin Xian's mind. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for passing the mother-in-law's test. Reward. A suite in the Era Garden of Jingshui City. Please check. The system has appeared again. Another house. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for triggering the lottery mechanism. You have one chance to draw. The prize pool includes 1. A threefold cash bonus card. 2. An exclusive fish dish recipe book. 3. A shop renovation voucher. 4. Thank you for your patronage. Would the host like to draw? There's a lottery mode. It seems that as long as I don't draw the thank you for your patronage, it's a sure win. I would willingly exchange my friend's conditions for a good draw. Drawl ding dong. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a shop renovation voucher, which has been placed on the desk in Jinwan Mansion. Please check. The system is indeed thoughtful. The renovation of that luxurious shop in Jinwan Square is now secured. Ding dong. A warm reminder. The hostess lottery results should be thank you for your patronage. However, the host successfully utilized the conditions for a guaranteed win. So it has been changed to a shop renovation voucher. It can be played like this. Sorry, Quaner, for the laughter. Lin Xian came back to his senses, realizing that Li Mengyao had already fallen into a peaceful slumber. Subsequently, the two of them drifted into a sweet dream together. Meanwhile, far away in the dormitory of Jinghai University, Zhou Quan was clicking in disbelief. I've trusted your nonsense. Ah, how is it another guaranteed win? I've hit the guaranteed win 4 times in a row. Mihaha, come out. Zhou Quan yelled in furious exasperation. Chen Jingming glanced at him disdainfully before pulling out his laptop for a tenfold draw right in front of Zhou Quan. Whoosh. Golden Legend. Double yoke. You should give up on this game. It's cursed for you. Chen Jingming patted Zhou Quan. I'll fight you. Zhou Quan roared in fury within the dorm. The two began to tussle. 2 hours later, as Li Mengyao continued to sleep soundly, Lin Xian woke up first, tiptoeing out of the room. At that moment, his phone rang, displaying an unfamiliar number. Lin Xian pressed the answer button. Hello, is this Mr. Lin? Yes. I am the sales manager of the Era Garden. The unit you purchased, Building A, 1201, is ready. When would you be available to come and collect it? Can I come tomorrow? Certainly. I will be expecting you. After hanging up, Lin Xian marveled at the system's efficiency. Lin Xian, you're awake? Come over and chat with Andy. As Lin Xian entered the living room, he saw Huang Shifeng sitting on the sofa, looking kindly at him. Yes, I just woke up. Mengyao is still sleeping. What do you think of this girl, Mengyao? Huang Shifeng suddenly inquired. She is gentle and kind, refined yet strong-willed, never shying away from difficulties, and always brings warmth to my home, Lin Xian replied with a smile. Since she lost her father at a young age, she has become very independent and proud, yet also somewhat sensitive. So, Annie would like to ask you to be a bit more accommodating. I entrust my only daughter to you. Please take good care of her. Huang Shifeng gazed at Lin Xian with gentle eyes. Rest assured, Auntie, I will take good care of Mengyao, Lin Xian assured her firmly. Then Auntie can rest easy. By the way, what would you like for dinner tonight? I will prepare something for you, Huang Shifeng asked. Auntie, can I help you with cooking tonight? I would like to learn how to recreate the flavors of Mengyao's home, Lin Xian replied, though he possessed the skills of a 5-star chef. He could only maximize the ingredients' flavors and could not replicate the tastes from Li Mengyao's home. Do you really want to learn? Huang Shifeng was taken aback yet pleased. Men who can cook for their wives are quite rare these days. Yes. I want to be able to make the tastes of home for Mengyao whenever she longs for it, Lin Xian stated. All right, Annie will teach you. Huang Shifeng smiled and headed into the kitchen. That evening, after a hearty dinner, Lin Xian and Li Mengyao decided to take a stroll. Hand in hand, they arrived at a nearby small park. Though modest in size, the park was beautifully arranged, with lush trees and vibrant flowers. Under the gentle illumination of the night, it created a tranquil and harmonious atmosphere. Lin Xian, this is the little park I often visited as a child. What do you think? A flicker of joy crossed Li Mengyao's face. This park is lovely. It feels very warm, but what? Li Mengyao asked, puzzled. You just called me incorrectly. You should call me husband. Lin Xian pulled Li Mengyao into his embrace. I'm not used to it. Li Mengyao lowered her head, her cheeks flushed. You'll get used to it after a few tries. Lin Xian lifted Li Mengyao's chin, making her look at him. Old husband, Li Mengyao murmured shyly. Chapter 17. Is it not a kiss on the cheek? Gazing into Li Mengyao's enchanting eyes, her slightly parted lips exude an indescribable allure. Were it not for the throngs of people surrounding the small park, one might have succumbed to temptation. A crisp and melodious meow emanated from beneath Li Mengyao's feet. Oh, little Li, she exclaimed, I didn't realize you were still here. Emerging from Lin Xian's embrace, Li Mengyao crouched down, gently caressing the soft fur of the tabby cat at her feet. This cat, with its vibrant coat and distinct features, boasted a plush, glossy coat adorned with unique patterns, and eyes as clear as amber, plump and utterly uncharacteristic of a stray. This is the little kitten I used to feed regularly. Back then, it was just a tiny ball of fluff, so adorable. I can't believe it remembers me, she said, looking back at Lin Xian with a beaming smile as she continued to pet the cat. At that moment, little Li squinted its eyes, thoroughly enjoying the affection from Li Mengyao. Indeed, it was quite charming, showing no signs of being a stray. Lin Xian crouched down, extending his hand in an attempt to pet little Li, but the cat deftly dodged him, letting out a soft meow. You're not familiar with it yet. so of course it won't let you touch it. But I have a plan. Li Mingyao then retrieved a small bag of treats from her bag and handed it to Lin Xian. If you hold the treats in your hand, little Li will come over. With a tranquil smile, she tucked her hair behind her ear. Let me try? Lin Xian said as he placed the treats in his palm and extended his hand towards little Li. Sure enough, the cat approached with light-footed grace, delicately licking the treats from his hand. In no time, the treats were gone, and little Li even took a moment to lick Lin Xian's palm. Ha ha ha, that tickles. He chuckled, gently stroking the cat's soft fur. After feeding little Li, the two strolled around aimlessly before heading back. That evening, Lin Xian and Li Mingyao lay in bed, engrossed in their phones. They had grown quite accustomed to sharing a bed. Wife, I'm taking you somewhere tomorrow. Lin Xian spoke first. Where are you taking me? Li Mingyao blinked in confusion. After all, this was her hometown, and it was she who should be taking him. After a moment's thought, she turned and wrapped her arms around Lin Xian's waist, puffing out her cheeks adorably and tilting her head with a hint of pride. Are you hiding something from me again? There is something, but it's good news, Lin Xian said, unable to mask his affection. Tell me. Reveal it. Li Mingyao pouted and playfully rubbed her delicate face against his. If you don't tell me, I'll ignore you, she teased again, lifting her head and pouting defiantly. All right, I can tell you, but you must give me a kiss first. Lin Xian seized the opportunity to negotiate. Then you kiss me. Li Mingyao hesitated slightly before whispering. She thought to herself, it's just a kiss on the cheek. I'm not that shy anymore. Lin Xian gently lifted her chin, slowly leaning in towards her alluring cherry lips, and then pressed his mouth against hers. Wasn't that a kiss on the cheek? Li Mingyao exclaimed. After a long moment, their lips parted. You asked me to kiss you. Lin Xian grinned, his audacity unmatched. Li Mingyao, feeling a rush of indignation, raised her hand to pinch him playfully. Ouch. Wife, I was wrong. Lin Xian quickly pleaded for mercy. After a few playful twists on his waist, Li Mingyao gradually calmed down. Lin Xian, sensing her mood had lightened, drew her back into his embrace, speaking softly. All right, it's getting late. We should sleep. MHM, Li Mingyao murmured sweetly, and soon they drifted into slumber. The next morning, they awoke at 9 o'clock, with Huang Shifeng having left breakfast behind before heading to work. At the dining table, as Li Mingyao quietly enjoyed her meal, memories of the previous day flooded back, causing her cheeks to bloom with embarrassment once more. Suddenly, she realized something crucial. Lin Xian hadn't revealed where they were going. Moreover, why was he so adept at kissing? Lin Xian noticed his wife's flushed face and inquired, Wife, what's wrong? Li Mingyao shook her head lightly and shot him an annoyed glance, retorting, Nothing. Seeing her irritation, Lin Xian deduced it must be about the previous day. However, considering they were preparing for marriage, it shouldn't be a significant issue. Li Mingyao, unable to resist, raised her gaze, her lowered lashes fluttering as she asked, Why are you so skilled? Lin Xian was momentarily taken aback. He hadn't expected her to ask that. Boys have a knack for these things. You just pick it up as you go, he replied. Li Mingyao pondered an important thought. Her first kiss had been given to Lin Xian. But was it his first as well? Had he kissed many girls before? If not, who had received his first kiss? Feeling a wave of frustration, Li Mingyao nibbled on her lip, pressing on with her inquiries. So, was it your first kiss? Be honest. Lin Xian suddenly felt a wave of urgency and swiftly enveloped her in his arms. Hey, what are you doing? Just tell me. Li Mingyao exclaimed, playfully hitting his arm. Lin Xian gently tapped her nose and smiled. Of course, it was my first kiss. Last night was special. A rush of shyness washed over Li Mingyao, and she instinctively pulled her hair to cover her slightly flushed cheeks, murmuring, Oh. After breakfast, the couple made their way downstairs to the parked Maybach. Lin Xian assisted Li Mingyao into the passenger seat before circling back to the driver's side. You still haven't told me where we're going, she said, her doe-like eyes fixed on him. To the Times Garden, he replied, starting the car and slowly driving away. Chapter 18, This is my husband. The Maybach, with its distinctive silhouette, shone brilliantly as it glided through the streets of Jingshui City, capturing the attention of passers-by. In a small, fourth-tier city like Jingshui, a Maybach S680, valued at over 3 million, was indeed a rarity. Soon, they arrived at the Times Garden, where Lin Xian parked the car and took Li Mingyao's hand as they approached the grand entrance. The entrance to Times Garden resembled a magnificent archway, imposing and solemn, exuding an aura of elegance and prestige. While it may not compare to the riverside properties in larger cities, it was still considered a high-end community here, with exquisite renovations costing around 10,000 per square meter. Honey, are you buying things recklessly again? Li Mingyao hesitated slightly, still unaccustomed to calling him that. Not at all. These are necessary purchases, not frivolous ones, Lin Xian replied with a smile. Are you dissatisfied with my old house? Li Mingyao asked softly, her head lowered. Yes, Lin Xian admitted. Given his family's affluence, he surely found it hard to adjust to that old place. Now, as he brought her to see Times Garden, it was evident he had already made arrangements. Sensing her thoughts, Lin Xian gently squeezed her hand and reassured her, "Not at all. I was quite comfortable there yesterday. But it's not a long-term solution. I wouldn't want my future mother-in-law climbing 8 flights of stairs every day. And this location is closer to where your mother works, eliminating the need for her to take the bus every morning. Plus, we'll be visiting often. So it makes sense to buy here." Huang Shifeng had not yet reached retirement age and was still employed at a nearby mall. Li Mingyao tightly embraced Lin Xian with both hands, lifting her gaze to him, her eyes sparkling with admiration. "Thank you, darling." Lin Xian gently supported Mingyao's waist, leaning in to plant a kiss on her cheek, his smile radiating warmth. "We ought to express our gratitude to my husband through tangible actions," she added. A blush crept onto her cheeks as she whispered, "But we are still outside." "All right, enough teasing. Let us head inside and take a look," Lin Xian replied. He then retrieved his phone and dialed the manager of the Times Garden from the previous day. "Hello, manager. I am Mr. Lin, the purchaser of Unit 1201 in Building A of Times Garden yesterday. May I inquire if it is possible to receive the keys now?" "Greetings, Mr. Lin. Certainly. Where are you currently?" "I will come to you immediately. I am at the entrance. Please hold on. I'll be there shortly." Before long, a young man clad in a neat suit, exuding confidence, jogged toward them. "Hello, Mr. Lin. I am the manager of Times Garden. My surname is Huang." "Hello, Manager Huang. Could you show us the property now?" "Of course. Please follow me," Manager Huang responded, mindful not to appear negligent, as Mr. Lin had purchased the most prestigious unit in Times Garden, a mid-level apartment that ranked among the most expensive in the entire community, paid for in full. "Is this your first visit to Times Garden?" Manager Huang inquired with a smile. "Yes, it is our first time," Lin Xian and Li Mingyao replied, surveying the community's environment. "To purchase a property worth over 2 million on your first visit, what wealth you possess? Allow me to provide you with a brief overview." Times Garden is aptly named for its impressive greenery, boasting a lush green coverage of 50. Upon entering through the main gate, one is greeted by verdant foliage and vibrant blossoms, resembling a splendid tapestry. The garden paths wind gracefully, flanked by well-arranged plants and a riot of blooming flowers, with pavilions and towers embellishing the scenery, creating a breathtaking vista that invigorates the spirit. In simpler terms, our community's environment is second to none in Jingshui City. No other complex dares to claim the top spot. As Manager Huang elaborated, Lin Xian and Li Mingyao nodded in satisfaction. Soon, they arrived at the foot of Building A, where the grandeur of the kingly unit was evident, standing out distinctly from the other buildings. They then ascended in the elevator to the door of 1201. Manager Huang produced a key to unlock the door, and Lin Xian and Li Mingyao stepped inside. The apartment spanned 200 square meters, featuring 4 bedrooms and 2 living rooms, impeccably adorned with quality finishes. It was evident that one receives what one pays for. However, the space lacked furniture and would require some renovations. "It seems we will be busy for a while before moving in," Lin Xian remarked, taking Mingyao's hand and leading her to the grand balcony, which offered a panoramic view of the entire Times Garden, an exquisite sight indeed. "What do you think, my love?" Lin Xian inquired gently, gazing at Li Mingyao. "It's beautiful. Entirely different from the Jinwan mansion in Jinghai City," she replied, her face lighting up with joy. Seeing their evident satisfaction, Manager Huang felt pleased, having closed a significant deal that would yield a handsome commission. "If you have no further questions, please sign here," he said, handing Lin Xian a sales contract. After Lin Xian meticulously reviewed the document, he affixed his signature. "Congratulations on becoming esteemed owners of Times Garden. Should you have any inquiries, feel free to reach out. I shall take my leave now," Manager Huang concluded before exiting. After Lin Xian and Li Mingyao thoroughly explored their new abode, they took the elevator down, preparing to pick up Mingyao's aunt from a nearby shopping mall. Just as they stepped out of Building A, a melodic voice called out to them. "Mingyao, is that really you? You're back home?" The voice belonged to a fresh-faced girl whose beauty, while not stunning, was charmingly captivating. "Ting, what a surprise to see you here," Li Mingyao exclaimed, her face beaming with happiness. "Mingyao, it's been ages since we last met. Come here and give me a hug." The two friends embraced joyfully. At that moment, Chun Tingting noticed the strikingly handsome man standing behind Mingyao. "Mingyao, won't you introduce us?" Tingting asked, squinting at Mingyao. "Mingyao, after just a few months apart, you've not only become more beautiful, but also found such a handsome boyfriend." Li Mingyao linked her arm with Lin Xian's and, with a playful wink and a radiant smile, said, "Tingting, allow me to introduce my husband, Lin Xian." Although they were not yet married, they had a child together, and having shared so much, Mingyao felt comfortable referring to him as her husband. Chun Tingting's eyes widened in disbelief. "You're married?" "Not yet. But it should be soon," Li Mingyao replied, her cheeks flushing as she stole a glance at Lin Xian, who was watching her intently, prompting her to quickly turn away. Judging by your affectionate exchanges, it seems you've truly captured his heart, Ting remarked, her tone teasing. Yes, he treats me wonderfully, Li Mingyao affirmed with a gentle nod. All right then, as your good friend, I shall certainly wish you all the best. However, if Li Jie and the others find out you're preparing to marry, I can only imagine the uproar tonight. Ting laughed. Don't say such things. I've always considered them mere acquaintances, Li Mingyao insisted. I know you've never given them a chance. By the way, what brings you to Times Garden? Ting inquired. Ting had only recently moved to Times Garden, with her parents contributing a significant amount of money to secure a modest unit of under 100 square meters. We came to look at the property. We're about to head back, Li Mingyao explained. All right, next time you're free, do come over to my place. You should see the view. It's absolutely stunning. Recalling that Li Mingyao's family situation was not particularly affluent, Ting presumed they were merely browsing. Certainly, we will have plenty of opportunities to hang out together. Li Mingyao replied with a slight smile, hurrying back to Lin Xian's side and linking her arm with his. Thank you for waiting. Lin Xian playfully pinched her cheek and smiled. What were you two chatting about? Li Mingyao shook her head, a joyful grin spreading across her face. Oh, just reminiscing about old times. All right then, let us head back, Lin Xian said, leading her toward the parking lot. Suddenly, a voice called out from behind them. Mr. Lin, please wait a moment. It was Manager Huang, who had hurried to catch up with them. Manager Huang, is there something else I can assist you with? Lin Xian asked, puzzled. I forgot to give you the access key for the community gate. I sincerely apologize, Huang said, catching his breath as he handed the key to Lin Xian. I nearly overlooked it as well. Thank you, Lin Xian replied, accepting the key before departing with Li Mingyao. Not far away, Chen Ting, who had yet to leave, gazed in perplexity at Manager Huang. Isn't he the sales manager I dealt with when purchasing my home? Could it be that Li Mingyao and her husband have already made a purchase? With that, Chen Ting approached and inquired. Hello, Manager Huang. Do you remember me? Manager Huang turned to Chen Ting and, with a hint of embarrassment, replied, I don't quite remember. May I ask what you need? I am Miss Chen, the one who bought Building 3201 a few months ago, she said, a touch of indignation in her voice. You used to call me every day to ask if I was buying a house, informing me of the latest discounts, and now you don't recognize me? Oh, I remember now. You purchased the penthouse, right? My apologies. I've had quite a few clients lately, and it's hard to keep track, he responded. What can I assist you with today? Chen Ting asked. I wanted to know if those two individuals just now also purchased at Times Garden. Manager Huang confirmed, indeed. They are esteemed clients of Times Garden, having acquired the penthouse on the 12th floor of Building A, and they paid in full. Chen Ting's eyes widened in shock. The penthouses are all around 200 square meters, situated on mid-level floors, with prices exceeding 2 million. Reflecting on her own situation, she lamented that due to insufficient funds, she had no choice but to settle for the top floor. Just moments ago, she had proudly invited Li Mingyao over for a visit. How embarrassing. Yet, she genuinely felt happiness for Mingyao, as it appeared she had found the right partner. Subsequently, Chen Ting pulled out her phone and messaged a group chat. I just ran into your goddess, but it seems she's about to get married. So you guys are out of luck. With a laughing emoji. This can't be true. You must tell me this isn't real. Who has taken my goddess? I shall certainly give him a thrashing. Isn't she about to get married? I still have a chance. With a dog emoji. Meanwhile, Lin Xian drove Li Mingyao to the supermarket to buy some groceries before heading to Heping Mall. Huang Shifeng happened to be finishing work at the mall. As the crowd left, they noticed a sleek black Maybach parked at the entrance. Though some were unaware of the specific price, it was evident that this was a luxury vehicle, undoubtedly expensive. At that moment, Huang Shifeng was leaving work with her colleague, Chen Li, who began to broach the subject regarding Huang Shifeng's daughter. Shifeng, have you considered my son? He works at a state-owned enterprise with a decent salary and benefits. No. Thank you, Chen Li. My daughter already has a boyfriend. Huang Shifeng politely declined. Oh, when did this happen? What does your daughter's boyfriend do? Chen Li inquired, somewhat surprised. He hasn't graduated yet, Huang Shifeng said, reluctant to divulge too much. Not graduated? So he hasn't found a job yet. Let me tell you, jobs are hard to come by these days. Look at my son. He works at a state-owned enterprise, and every year, many people vie for a position there. Chen Li boasted. Huang Shifeng thought of Chen Li's son, who always held himself aloof and had a reputation for being fickle in relationships. There was no way she would entrust her daughter to someone like that. Just as Huang Shifeng was about to wait for the bus, a long black Maybach came to a stop before them. Mom, I'm here to take you home, Li Mingyao exclaimed, her head popping out with a radiant smile. Yao, is this your car? Huang Shifeng asked, astonished. Though she was not a car enthusiast, she could discern the difference between an ordinary vehicle and a luxury one. Auntie, please get in. We already bought the groceries for lunch. I'll show you my cooking skills when we get home, Lin Xian said with a smile. Li Mingyao then noticed Chun-Li nearby and happily asked, Auntie Chun, are you going home too? We can drop you off. No, that's all right. My son will be picking me up shortly. You two go ahead, Chun-Li replied awkwardly with a smile. This is my son-in-law, so I'll take my leave, Huang Shifeng said to Chun-Li before settling into the back seat of the Maybach. Chun-Li, feeling dejected, boarded the next bus. Inside the Maybach, Huang Shifeng hesitated for a moment before asking, Lin Xian, is this your car? Yes, Auntie, I just bought it recently to make it easier to take Mingyao out. Lin Xian replied, driving steadily. Owning such an expensive car suggested that Lin Xian's family must be quite affluent. Would the in-laws be difficult to deal with? Would they look down on her family? Mom, doesn't Annie Chen's son never pick her up from work? Li Mingyao asked curiously. Indeed, she just pretends. Her son never comes for her. She's always pestering me to introduce him to you. I've told her I already have a son-in-law. And now that she has seen it with her own eyes, she should be disheartened, Huang Shifeng reflected. Lin Xian chuckled and said, It seems my wife is quite popular. I must keep a close eye on her. Li Mingyao's cheeks flushed as she shot a glare at Lin Xian and whispered, My mom is still here. Huang Shifeng stifled a laugh in the back seat. Chapter 20, Morning Sickness. Upon returning home, Lin Xian headed to the kitchen to prepare dinner. Huang Shifeng, despite her numerous attempts to help, was repeatedly declined, leaving her to watch television with her daughter in the living room. Before long, Lin Xian had prepared an array of dishes: steamed turbot, mushroom and scallop soup, stir-fried beef with scallions, garlic steamed ribs, and sautéed broccoli. Knowing that Li Mingyao loved fish, he made sure to include a fish dish at every meal, each time presenting it with a different flair, which brought a beaming smile to Li Mingyao's face. Dinner is served, Lin Xian announced. Lin Xian, did you prepare all this? Huang Shifeng laughed. Not too much, just 4 dishes and a soup. Auntie, please try my cooking. With that, Lin Xian first served Li Mingyao a generous portion of fish before offering Huang Shifeng a sizable piece of beef. Watching her future son-in-law take such care of Mingyao, Huang Shifeng felt increasingly assured about Lin Xian. This is even better than many renowned restaurants in Jingshui City. Lin Xian, where did you learn to cook? It's absolutely delicious, Huang Shifeng exclaimed, astonished. I used to just cook for fun when I had nothing to do at home. If it's delicious, eat more, Lin Xian replied with a smile. After a while, as they finished eating, Lin Xian spoke up. Annie, I've purchased a new apartment at Times Garden. Once it's renovated, we can all move in together. Huang Shifeng's heart skipped a beat, incredulous. Lin Xian, are you serious? Lin Xian nodded earnestly. Huang Shifeng fell silent for a moment, contemplating that the properties at Times Garden were not inexpensive. Even if Lin Xian had money, he shouldn't spend it frivolously. She then inquired, how much will it cost? Although the apartment is a bit old, it is still livable. Auntie, please don't worry. The old apartment can remain as it is, Lin Xian replied with determination. Times Garden is very close to your workplace, so you won't have to climb 8 flights of stairs anymore. He then glanced at Li Mingyao. Moreover, Mingyao and I will frequently visit. Our baby will also be able to play in the community at Times Garden. After some thought, Huang Shifeng ultimately agreed to move to Times Garden after some time. Following lunch, when Lin Xian attempted to clear the dishes, Huang Shifeng snatched them away from him. With nothing else to do, Lin Xian and Li Mingyao returned to their bedroom early. Lin Xian wrapped one arm around Li Mingyao while gently toying with her hair with the other. Darling, what kind of decoration style do you want for our new home? Li Mingyao raised her beautiful brows and replied. In search of a new aesthetic, they contemplated the new Chinese style, as the residents at Golden Bay had already embraced a modern minimalist design. With that thought, they perused images on their phones, showing them to Lin Xian. All right. This afternoon we shall explore the renovation companies and furniture stores in Jingshui City, Lin Xian agreed. Li Mingyao's eyes sparkled with delight, her joy reminiscent of a child's. And soon she was nestled in Lin Xian's arms, drifting into a peaceful slumber. By 2 in the afternoon, Lin Xian awoke to find Li Mingyao still soundly asleep in his embrace. Reluctant to disturb the sleeping beauty, he tiptoed out of the room. After a brief tidy-up, he encountered Huang Shifeng leaving her room, preparing for work. Annie, allow me to drive you to work. I need to check out some renovation companies anyway. Lin Xian offered with a smile. Oh, that would be too much trouble, she replied. Not at all. I have nothing but time, he insisted. Subsequently, Lin Xian drove Huang Shifeng to the Peace Mall before heading to a few well-known renovation firms in Jingshui City. Time passed, and Li Mingyao's small hand began to search around the bed, as if in search of something. Where's my husband? She mused. After a fruitless search, she realized Lin Xian was no longer in the room. Rubbing her eyes gently, she struggled to rise from bed and ventured out in search of him. Having scoured the house with no success, she pondered for a moment before retrieving her phone. Husband, where are you? She texted, punctuating it with an angry bear emoji. 5 minutes later, Lin Xian's message appeared. Wife, have you awoken? Li Mingyao, seizing the opportunity, initiated a video call. Having refrained from doing so earlier for fear Lin Xian was driving. Soon, his handsome visage graced her screen. Why didn't you wake me? We agreed to go together. Although her tone was calm, the furrow of her brow betrayed her displeasure. You looked so peaceful in your slumber that I couldn't bring myself to wake you. I visited several places and will return with the plans and visuals. You should rest at home, Lin Xian replied with a gentle smile, eager to appease her. Just be sure to come back soon, she replied. Lin Xian, considering her feelings, refrained from indulging in any further pouting. Having glanced at the time, he realized he had slept nearly until 5 o'clock himself, quite the feat, and thought to himself that even if he called her, she might not awaken. All right, my dear wife, I will pick up Auntie and return shortly, he assured her. She responded, her cheeks flushed, relishing the endearment of wife without the added formality of madam. After an afternoon of labor, Lin Xian would surely be hungry upon his return. Let me prepare dinner today. I want you to savor my culinary skills, Li Mingyao declared as she rummaged through the refrigerator for the ingredients purchased earlier. Initially, she felt no discomfort. But midway through her preparations, an overwhelming wave of nausea washed over her. Covering her mouth, she hastily dashed to the restroom, succumbing to a fit of violent vomiting. After what felt like an eternity, Li Mingyao emerged from the bathroom, her complexion pale. She sipped some warm water from a small cup and sank into the sofa, slowly regaining her composure. She hadn't anticipated that her first bout of morning sickness would be like this. Moments later, the door swung open, and Lin Xian, accompanied by Huang Shifeng, returned. I'm home, he exclaimed, his voice brimming with joy. Li Mingyao sprang to her feet, hurriedly advancing to him and leaping into his embrace, her voice hoarse as she welcomed him home. Lin Xian immediately sensed something amiss. Her voice bore the traces of tears, and upon closer inspection, her eyes were red-rimmed with faint remnants of tears, her lips notably dry. What's wrong, dear? He inquired with concern. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have left you alone at home. It won't happen again, Lin Xian promised, gently placing her on the sofa. I just wanted to make dinner for you both. But halfway through, I felt so nauseous that I had to run to the bathroom, she explained softly, nuzzling into Lin Xian's embrace. Huang Shifeng, recognizing her presence was now unwarranted, interjected, Lin Xian, I'll take care of dinner. You look after Mingyao. Lin Xian nodded in acknowledgement. All right, Auntie. Turning back to Li Mingyao, he tenderly wiped away her tears with a tissue, his heart aching at the thought of her distress in the bathroom. The first 3 months are often fraught with morning sickness, and despite his efforts to ensure she ate small, frequent meals and kept her out of the kitchen to mitigate her discomfort, it had still occurred. From now on, you needn't step into the kitchen. Let your husband handle the chores, all right? Li Mingyao nestled against him, the earlier discomfort fading away, replaced by a blissful smile. After dinner, Lin Xian and Li Mingyao strolled along the banks of the Jingshui River, the lifeblood of Jingshui City. Each evening, the locals flocked to the riverside for a leisurely promenade. Given the distance from her home, they had arrived by Lin Xian's Maybach. Upon reaching the riverside, he parked the car and took Li Mingyao's hand, leading her along the water's edge. The riverbank buzzed with life, throngs of people moving about with smiles upon their faces. The water shimmering under the glow of the lights, dancing in harmony with the neon reflections, exuding a vibrant vitality. Life here is truly delightful, Lin Xian mused, taking in the nightscape. Indeed, I adore this quaint fourth-tier city. It lacks the clamor and busyness of first-tier cities, offering only a leisurely pace and a serene atmosphere. Li Mingyao smiled sweetly at him. Once the house at Times Garden is renovated, we can return at any time, Lin Xian assured, squeezing her hand gently. Yes, I often played here as a child. I remember a kind old man who sold candied hawthorn. He would frequently hand me a skewer of candied fruit, she reminisced, her mind drifting back to her childhood as Lin Xian listened quietly. As they meandered along the riverbank, they soon passed an ice cream shop, a popular establishment in Jingshui City known for its delectable flavors, drawing long lines each evening. Wife, would you like some ice cream? Lin Xian asked, noticing Li Mengyao's stomach rumble at the sight of the treats. Her face flushed with embarrassment, she replied, yes, please. Given her earlier bout of morning sickness, she hadn't had much of an appetite for dinner and now found herself quite hungry. Lin Xian guided her to the ice cream shop, but the line was lengthy, so he led her to an empty seat. You stay here, I'll queue up. What flavor would you like? He inquired. Li Mingyao playfully tugged at his hand, a grin lighting up her face. I want strawberry. Thank you for your hard work, hubby. Lin Xian kissed the back of her hand, delighting in the moment. All right. Li Mingyao quickly withdrew her hand, her cheeks warming at his public display of affection. With a chuckle, Lin Xian joined the queue. As he waited, she took out her phone to scroll through videos. Yusin, My dear Yao Yao, where are you? I'm coming to play. Li Ming Yao, I'm in Jingshui City. Do you want to come? Yusin, why did you suddenly come home? Li Ming Yao, I brought my husband home. Yusin, you're already calling him husband? You aren't even married yet. Li Ming Yao, it's nearly done. Lu Yusin, so, does that mean Annie has already agreed? She didn't break his legs? Li Ming Yao, don't say that. My mom has agreed. Lu Yusin, truly, a girl is of little use. You just give yourself away so readily. Fine. I'll amuse myself without your dog food. Li Ming Yao responded with a small bear emoji nodding. Just as she finished her conversation with Lu Yusin, a young man sat across from her. He was quite handsome, dressed neatly, sporting a trendy Korean-style fluffy hairstyle, and smiled as he approached Li Ming Yao. Hello, beautiful. May I have your contact information? Li Ming Yao glanced at him and politely replied, I'm sorry, but I have a husband. Seeing that Li Ming Yao appeared to be a student and there was no husband in sight, the young man speculated that it was likely a fabrication. We seem to have a connection. It's just exchanging contact details. Noticing his persistent demeanor, Li Ming Yao's gaze turned icy as she stated, Please do not disturb me further. I have already said so. Didn't she mention having a husband? I am here. At that moment, Lin Xin arrived. His sharp gaze fixed on the man who was flirting with his wife. Li Ming Yao quickly took Lin Xian's hand, retreating behind him. The young man, recognizing the taller and more attractive figure before him, realized he was outmatched and left in defeat. Dear, next time someone flirts with you, just call me. And I'll come immediately, Lin Xian said with a smile, handing Li Ming Yao a large strawberry sundae. Why did you only buy one, and I can't finish this? Li Ming Yao replied, nodding with a sweet smile. Take your time enjoying it. Lin Xian gently patted Li Ming Yao's head, then took her hand as they continued their stroll by the river. Li Ming Yao gazed at the oversized strawberry sundae, contemplating, before taking out her phone to snap a picture and send it to her close friend Lu Yusin. Lu Yusin? Li Ming Yao, it's delicious. Lu Yusin, Yao Yao, be reasonable. Previously, when Lu Yusin was dating a boyfriend in college, she flaunted her affection in front of Li Ming Yao, constantly urging her to find someone as well. Now that they had broken up, it was Li Ming Yao's turn to show off her love to Lu Yusin. Li Ming Yao tidied her hair, a faint smile gracing her lips. Seeing his wife chuckling at her phone, Lin Xian curiously asked, What is so amusing? Li Ming Yao snapped back to reality, her expression innocent as she replied, Oh, it's nothing. I can't finish this. She glanced at the half-eaten sundae, now in a disheveled state. Then let me have it. I'll take care of it, Lin Xian said with a gentle smile. Were you planning to eat mine from the start? Realizing Lin Xian's scheme, Li Ming Yao felt a bit shy and shot him a glare, but still handed over the sundae. Lin Xian took it and began eating heartily, and before long, it vanished into his stomach. They continued their walk by the river, and soon Li Ming Yao felt a bit fatigued. Husband, I'm feeling a little sleepy. Let us go back, she said, tugging on Lin Xian's hand. All right, let us retrace our steps. Just as they prepared to turn back, an elderly man was smiling broadly at his candied hawthorn stand amidst the bustling street, eagerly awaiting customers. That's the grandfather who used to give me candied hawthorns when I was little, Li Ming Yao exclaimed excitedly. Then let's buy a skewer. I see he only has one left. Let South help him close up early. Lin Xian gazed at Li Ming Yao tenderly. Yes. Lin Xian led Li Ming Yao forward. Grandfather, how much for these candied hawthorns? Lin Xian asked, sensing Li Ming Yao's joy. 3 yuan per skewer. I'll take one. Grandfather, do you still remember me? Li Ming Yao beamed with delight. The candied hawthorn vendor looked up and, feeling a sense of familiarity, suddenly recalled. You are that little girl who used to drool while watching me sell candied hawthorns. Yes, that's me, Li Ming Yao exclaimed, her eyes crinkling with happiness. Haha, how could I forget? So many children would surround me, and you were the one standing a little distance away, gazing longingly. The vendor chuckled with a warm smile, his eyes crinkling at the corners. Li Ming Yao felt a bit embarrassed and replied, I was just being greedy. The vendor responded, That's why I always saved a piece of candied hawthorn just for you, haha. Here, the last skewer of strawberry candied hawthorn is for you. Typically, candied hawthorns are made from hawthorn berries, which pregnant women should avoid due to potential adverse effects. However, if made from fruits like the strawberry in front of them, it's safe for pregnant women to enjoy. Li Ming Yao quickly waved her hands. No, we'll buy it. Lin Xian pulled out his phone to scan the payment. Yes, grandfather will buy it. Thank you for taking care of her when she was little. The candied hawthorn vendor smiled contentedly at the sight of their tightly interlaced hands. I just thought you were such a cute girl back then with your pigtails. You reminded me of my granddaughter, haha. Here is your candied hawthorn. He handed the last skewer to Li Ming Yao. Thank you, grandfather. Li Ming Yao beamed like a child, her smile wide and genuine. As they departed, Lin Xian secretly left 100 yuan for the vendor as a token of gratitude for his kindness towards Li Ming Yao. Continuing their journey back, Li Ming Yao, while enjoying her candied hawthorn, held Lin Xian's hand and swung it playfully, as if transported back to her childhood. Dear, is it delicious? Lin Xian smiled. Yes, it tastes just like when I was little. Nothing has changed. Li Mingyao nodded happily, lifting her gaze to Lin Xian. Do you want some? Lin Xian looked at the candied hawthorn she offered, smiling lightly. I'm quite full, you enjoy it. Oh, Li Mingyao continued to savor her treat, the sweet and sour flavors bursting with delight. There's only one piece left. Are you sure you don't want any? She looked at Lin Xian, her elegant eyes fluttering. No, I don't want any, Lin Xian replied firmly, his gaze lingering on her enticing cherry lips. Li Mingyao sensed his teasing intent, but, in her innocence, could not fathom it. If you don't want it, then you don't have to. She then popped the last piece of candied hawthorn into her mouth, savoring it for a moment. Just as she was about to chew, Lin Xian cheerfully said, Wife, I suddenly feel like having candied hawthorn. There's none left, Li Mingyao replied, shaking her head at the stick in her hand. But there's still one left. Where? One is in my mouth. Realization dawned on Li Mingyao, and she hurriedly reached up to cover her mouth. You can't, MMPH. But she was too late. As Lin Xian swiftly wrapped his arms around her, lifting her chin and kissing her alluring lips, Li Mingyao, startled, pushed him away and glanced around to ensure no one was watching. Thankfully, the coast was clear. She then glared at Lin Xian, her annoyance palpable. Why did you snatch my candied hawthorn? Lin Xian exclaimed, his shamelessness evident. I adore the sweet taste of candied hawthorn. Li Mingyao, unable to contain her frustration, raised her hand to pinch Lin Xian's waist. That hurts, stop pinching. I already have several bruises there. In an instant, Lin Xian, who had been grinning just a moment ago, contorted his face in pain. Humph. Li Mingyao pouted, her small face slightly turning away, refusing to let Lin Xian see her expression. All right, my dear wife, I acknowledge my mistake. Let us head home quickly, Lin Xian coaxed. You always say that you know your mistakes, yet it remains the same next time. Li Mingyao reproached him, still refusing to face him. For a fleeting moment, Lin Xian wondered if she might genuinely be angry, and he felt the sweetness of the candied hawthorn in his mouth dissipate. After a while, Li Mingyao turned to glance at the bewildered Lin Xian, bursting into laughter. Are you scared? She teased, gently patting his arm with her small hand. Very scared, my wife. Lin Xian chuckled in response. Next time, please refrain from being so spontaneous in public. We can save that for when we get home, Li Mingyao said, her bright, doe-like eyes fixed on him as she spoke softly. Of course, Lin Xian replied readily, without a hint of hesitation. Eventually, they arrived at the parking area. After escorting Li Mingyao to the passenger seat, Lin Xian returned to the driver's seat, starting the car as they headed home. Inside the vehicle, Li Mingyao gazed at her small belly and asked Lin Xian, Dear, do you think we are having a boy or a girl? Is it possible we could have one of each? As he drove steadily, Lin Xian laughed and replied, How could we be so fortunate as to have twins at once? Li Mingyao raised her beautifully arched brow, smiling happily. It's already been nearly 3 months. I hope the baby grows quickly. She gently caressed her soft belly. Dear, I want to feel it too. Lin Xian glanced over, expressing his envy. Let us talk about it when we get home. Focus on driving, don't look around. Li Mingyao blushed slightly. Before long, they reached their home. After parking, Lin Xian took Li Mingyao's hand as they prepared to enter. However, Li Mingyao noticed someone standing at her doorstep, holding a bouquet of flowers. Upon closer inspection, she recognized it was Li Jia. Li Jia, the class monitor from Li Mingyao's high school, had persistently pursued her despite her clear rejections. However, he believed that since she was currently single, he still had a chance, and thus continued to cling to her. Eventually, Li Mingyao chose to ignore him altogether. Seeing Li Mingyao with another man stepping out of a luxury Maybach, Li Jia clenched his fists but managed to maintain a smile. Mingyao, I heard you were back. Why didn't you let me know? These flowers are for you, he said, completely disregarding Lin Xian. Li Mingyao frowned upon seeing Li Jia. Li Jia, why are you at my house? I've told you before that we are not compatible. Please give the flowers to someone else. Thank you. With that, she attempted to take Lin Xian's hand and head inside. Unexpectedly, Li Jia blocked their path again, pleading anxiously. Mingyao, can't you give me one chance? I've been hired by a well-known company in Jingshui City, and my parents both work. We could have a wonderful life together. Li Mingyao's eyes turned icy as she interrupted angrily. I'll say it again. There is no possibility for us, and I am already married. Move aside. This was the first time Lin Xian had seen Li Mingyao so furious. Watching Li Jia's persistent demeanor, he clenched his fists tightly. However, Li Jia continued to argue. But ouch! Lin Xian swiftly grabbed Li Jia's arm and forcefully twisted it, pinning him down. After receiving the initial reward from the system to enhance his physique, Lin Xian's strength had far exceeded that of an average person. I've made myself very clear. If you dare to harass my wife again, I won't be so courteous next time. Now get lost. With that, Lin Xian delivered a powerful kick to Li Jie, sending him sprawling to the ground. Li Jie scrambled to his feet, his face contorted in rage, gritting his teeth as he glared at Lin Xian and Li Mengyao as they walked away. He was not one to easily concede. Having pursued her for so many years, he had become infatuated. He left, limping and defeated. Once Lin Xian and Li Mengyao returned home, they quickly washed up and lay down in bed, as it was getting late. Li Mengyao quietly scrolled through her phone while Lin Xian gazed at his wife. Lost in thought, noticing something was off, Li Mengyao put down her phone, turned to embrace Lin Xian, and lifted her head. "Dear, what are you thinking about? You've been staring at me." Although they weren't married yet, it felt natural for Li Mengyao to call him husband. It was merely a matter of time. Snapped back to reality, Lin Xian wrapped his arms around her tightly and replied gently, "I was pondering how my wife has become so popular. Today alone, there was that young man at the ice cream shop, and now this person downstairs. 3 individuals in a single day trying to steal my wife away. Just thinking about it makes me furious." Li Mengyao felt a mix of exasperation and warmth as she smiled. "Is that really why you're upset? I can't control who approaches me. They insist on coming close. There's nothing I can do." Lin Xian chuckled, lowering his head to rest his forehead against hers, flashing his signature smile. "Then I'll have to keep a closer watch." As expected, a flurry of kisses followed, first on her forehead, then her nose, and finally landing on her lips. Lin Xian and Li Mengyao continued to stay in Jingshui City for a few more days. After arranging the renovations and furniture for the Times Garden, they prepared to return to Jinghai City today. As they reached the ground floor, Huang Shifeng observed Lin Xian attentively caring for her daughter, and a satisfied smile spread across her face as she handed Li Mengyao the household registration book. "Yao Yao, take good care of this. Remember to come back often." Li Mengyao stared blankly at the household registration book, understanding her mother's implication, and felt a wave of emotion wash over her, her eyes growing misty. Noticing this, Lin Xian took Li Mengyao's small hand, speaking with determination, "Auntie, please don't worry. We will visit often." Li Mengyao's face rippled with warmth. "Yes, Mom, we'll definitely come back often." Huang Shifeng's eyes also glistened with tears as she gently said, "I understand. Be careful on the road." After ensuring Li Mengyao was settled in the back seat, Lin Xian entered the driver's seat, starting the Maybach as they slowly departed. Huang Shifeng could no longer hold back her tears, realizing her daughter, who had been her only companion for over a decade, was now getting married. In the Maybach, Li Mengyao was also in tears, her eyes red. Lin Xian drove quietly, understanding the bittersweet emotions of the mother and daughter, allowing them their moment of solace. Before long, for hours had passed. The sleek black Maybach returned to the parking lot of Jinwan Mansion. After parking smoothly, Lin Xian exited the car and approached the back seat. Not long after getting in, Li Mengyao, still crying, fell asleep, appearing like a sweet young girl in her peaceful slumber. Lin Xian gently lifted her, making his way slowly to the elevator. Soon, the beautiful girl in his arms awoke, their eyes meeting in a dazed gaze. "Awake?" Lin Xian's eyes sparkled with affection. "Quickly let me down." Li Mengyao's cheeks flushed bright red. "We're still outside. It would be so embarrassing if someone saw us." "It's all right. There's no one here." With that, Lin Xian stepped into the elevator and pressed the button for the 16th floor. The elevator ascended slowly, but suddenly halted on the first floor, the doors sliding open to reveal an elderly lady and a gentleman. The lady regarded the two with a smile that was hard to conceal. At this moment, Li Mengyao was so embarrassed that she buried her head into Lin Xian's chest, using her small hands to sweep her hair aside to shield her flushed face. Finally, they reached the 16th floor. Today, the elevator felt particularly sluggish. Once out, Li Mengyao quickly extricated herself, while Lin Xian gently lowered her down. In a playful display of irritation, she lightly tapped Lin Xian, who still wore a smile, being careful not to hit too hard, fearing the pain for herself. The two finally returned to their home in Jinwan Mansion. As soon as they arrived, Lin Xian began tidying up, and Li Mengyao joined in, taking on tasks within her capability. Initially, Lin Xian disagreed, wanting her to rest, but Li Mengyao insisted on helping, otherwise she would deny him a kiss that evening. This was a formidable tactic for Lin Xian, leaving him no choice but to assign her the lighter chores. With their combined efforts, the house was soon spotless. In the days following their return, Li Mengyao had been diligently preparing for her graduation defense. Both were fourth-year students, needing to pass their university mentor's defense to officially graduate. In contrast, Lin Xian seemed carefree, indulging in various distractions. That evening, Lin Xian lounged in the living room, captivated by a movie on his 200-inch screen. Li Mengyao emerged from her room, embracing Lin Xian and resting her chin on his shoulder, curiosity getting the better of her. "Darling, aren't you supposed to prepare for your graduation defense?" Lin Xian gazed at his adorable wife and couldn't resist leaning in to plant a kiss on her soft cheek. Your husband is quite talented. Having performed exceptionally well before, I am exempt from the defense and will graduate directly. Li Mingyao puffed out her cheeks in mock complaint. How can that be? Lin Xian chuckled. Isn't your husband remarkable? Didn't you know? Li Mingyao playfully wrapped her small hand around Lin Xian's neck and gave him a gentle bite on the cheek. I know, you're the best, darling. With that, she swiftly distanced herself, her little feet pattering back to her room. Lin Xian touched the faint bite mark on his cheek, a smile gracing his lips. Chapter 24. You've been smiling nonstop. Soon, the day of the graduation defense arrived, bathed in brilliant sunshine and fresh air. Li Mingyao's defense was scheduled for the afternoon, and to ensure she was in good spirits, she took a nap after lunch. Following a brief rest, she arose early to meticulously prepare herself. Dressed in a pristine white shirt, slightly open at the collar to reveal her graceful neck and delicate collarbone. She paired it with a flowing black skirt that danced with her every step, reminiscent of a butterfly in flight. Her lustrous black hair cascaded like a waterfall over her shoulders, exuding a subtle fragrance. Approaching Lin Xian, she twirled lightly and, with a radiant smile, asked, Darling, do I look good? Unable to resist, Lin Xian stepped forward to embrace Li Mingyao. Inhaling the enchanting scent she radiated. You look stunning. My wife looks beautiful in anything. Li Mingyao feigned annoyance. You're such a smooth talker. All right, let us get going. Lin Xian flashed his signature smile. Can I sit in on your graduation defense? Li Mingyao shook her head vigorously, her voice firm. No, I'll be too nervous. Stop joking, we're running late. Together, Lin Xian and Li Mingyao exited their apartment and made their way to the parking lot of Jinwan Mansion, where Lin Xian chose to drive his little black car, the name he affectionately gave to his Maybach. Before long, they arrived at the university's parking lot. Since Li Mingyao was majoring in Chinese language and literature, Lin Xian took her hand and led her to the building of the College of Arts, finding the designated classroom. Peering inside, he noticed 5 mentors seated in the front row, while the back was filled with anxious students. Go on, don't be nervous. I'll wait for you at the door, Lin Xian said gently. Although Li Mingyao had worked diligently throughout her 4 years in university, rendering her well prepared for the defense, the prospect of facing 5 mentors was still daunting. With a blush, Li Mingyao glanced at Lin Xian. A kiss will help me not be nervous. Lin Xian was momentarily taken aback by her forwardness. He embraced her and gently kissed her forehead. Go ahead. Li Mingyao smiled brightly and happily entered the classroom. Little did she know that Lin Xian was not one to simply abide by the rules. He hadn't yet witnessed her in action during a presentation. Returning to the parking lot, Lin Xian retrieved a black hat from the Maybach. After donning it, he stealthily re-entered the classroom through the back door. Settling into the last row, hard to spot unless one looked closely, he observed Li Mingyao as she closed her eyes, calming herself. Seizing the moment, Lin Xian snapped photos with his phone. He couldn't let this opportunity slip away, having only met her in the latter part of their university journey. After what felt like an eternity, Li Mingyao finally took the stage. Unlike her usual demeanor, she exuded confidence, articulating her points with clarity and poise. Her exquisite face glowing with assurance. Her profound understanding of Chinese language and culture, coupled with her exceptional communication skills, garnered high praise from the mentors present. Lin Xian quickly captured the moment on his phone. No wonder she asked the campus Belle. Not only is she beautiful, but she excels academically too. Indeed. But I heard the campus Belle might have a boyfriend now. Who on earth could have stolen our campus Belle? Seems like he is from our school. Lin Xian overheard the conversation among a group of boys, his smile widening. Hey, classmate, what are you laughing about? One of them inquired curiously. Am I laughing? Lin Xian replied. You've been smiling the whole time. Another boy remarked. I just thought of something amusing, Lin Xian said with a smirk. What is so funny? Share it with us, they pressed. At that moment, Li Mingyao had completed her defense and returned to her seat to gather her belongings. Noticing his wife was about to exit, Lin Xian quickly made his escape. Classmates, I have something to attend to, so I'll take my leave. Good luck. With that, he stealthily slipped out of the classroom through the back door. Isn't he from our department? How odd. The boys continued their discussion. Stepping outside the classroom, Lin Xian casually checked his phone, waiting at the door for Li Mingyao. His handsome figure stood tall like a pine tree, his charming features adorned with a smile, drawing the attention of nearby girls. At last, one girl couldn't resist approaching him. Hello, classmate, could I get your contact information? The girl appeared sweet, petite, and her charming smile was instantly likable. Sorry, I already have someone. Lin Xian began to refuse. Suddenly, a figure dashed to his side. Li Mingyao linked her arm with his, her gaze slightly frosty. Sorry, classmate, he already has a girlfriend. Seeing the school bell beside him, the girl faded into the background. retreating in disappointment. Dear wife, how did your graduation defense go? Lin Xian inquired with a smile. Not well. The moment I stepped out, I saw you with another girl. Li Mingyao pouted, her expression marred by discontent. That's utterly unfounded, my beloved wife. I had only just arrived at the classroom door. Lin Xian quickly protested his innocence. How could I trust you? Li Mingyao retorted, her lips forming a cute pout, her seriousness palpable. I possess a means to prove my innocence, Lin Xian declared earnestly. What means? Li Mingyao, having witnessed that girl approach Lin Xian first, decided to tease him further. Lin Xian produced his phone, revealing a candid photograph he had taken of Li Mingyao in the classroom. The image captured her exquisite beauty, exuding an aura of elegance. Ah, you were spying on me, Li Mingyao exclaimed, suddenly noticing Lin Xian sporting a trendy black hat, which, to her surprise, made him appear rather handsome. Yet, her irritation remained as she playfully jabbed at his waist. Lin Xian instinctively embraced Li Mingyao, unbothered by her playful assault, confident in his own resilience. I merely wish to see how you looked during class, to experience the feeling of being in class with you. After graduation, such opportunities will be scarce. Following the graduation defense comes the graduation ceremony, where it is customary not to return to classes. Very well, send me the photo, Li Mingyao replied. Her cheeks flushed as she whispered and lifted her gaze. All right. Lin Xian sent the image to Li Mingyao and casually shared it in a family group chat. Zhang Shulan, my daughter-in-law is truly beautiful. Lin Zhenghua, no wonder my son has such taste. It's just like mine in my youth. Lin Cece, is this my sister-in-law? Zhang Shulan, Cece, are you playing on your phone in school? That's a no-no. Lin Cece, sorry, wrong message. I'm not Cece. Lin Xian, expression of speechlessness. At that moment, several boys who had just emerged from the classroom next to Lin Xian caught sight of the campus beauty being embraced by a handsome boy. Their expressions filled with jealousy. It seems the rumors about the campus beauty having a boyfriend are indeed true. Wait a minute. Isn't that the boy who was just laughing beside us? How infuriating. No wonder he was smiling so much. Chapter 25. He is not my boyfriend. He is my husband. You just said you wanted to experience the feeling of attending class with me, didn't you? Li Mingyao mused, tilting her head playfully, a sweet smile gracing her lips. Indeed. Lin Xian affirmed. Then let's have dinner at the school cafeteria. We have yet to dine together at school, Li Mingyao suggested, raising her eyebrows in a charming fashion. That's not advisable. The food outside is less hygienic, Lin Xian replied with a shake of his head. Oh come on, just this once. Besides, the cafeteria should be cleaner than the outside, Li Mingyao continued to coax. Seeing Lin Xian still hesitating, Li Mingyao took his hand and led him towards the cafeteria. Let's go. I'm already famished. If you don't hurry, I'll go alone. Reluctantly, Lin Xian agreed. Soon, they arrived at the esteemed Meiyuan cafeteria, renowned for its quality. By now, it was dinner time, and students from Jinghai University were steadily streaming in. Annie, I'll have a serving of tomato scrambled eggs, a portion of braised fish, a stir-fried broccoli with shrimp, and 2 fried chicken legs, please. Auntie, do be steady. This is our last meal at the cafeteria during our university years. Li Mingyao chirped cheerfully, her joy reminiscent of a child. All right, dear, I'll give you a bit more, the auntie responded, serving a generous portion to Li Mingyao. Lin Xian casually ordered a few dishes as well, and they settled in a corner of the cafeteria to enjoy their meal. This is delicious. I used to come here often, Li Mingyao remarked, serving half of the braised fish and a fried chicken leg onto Lin Xian's plate. No wonder I hardly ever saw you in university, Lin Xian mused. His dormitory and classes were on the south side of the campus. While Li Mingyao was situated on the north side, Meiyuan was located in the northern part of the university. Given the vastness of Jinghai University, Lin Xian, being somewhat of a sloth, rarely ventured to the north unless compelled. But I have seen you, Li Mingyao whispered. What did you say, my dear? Lin Xian inquired, unable to catch her words amidst the bustling cafeteria. Nothing, just eat, she replied, placing a shrimp into Lin Xian's mouth, which he devoured in one bite. In return, Lin Xian offered her a piece of braised meat, which she nibbled on, only managing to eat half before Lin Xian finished the rest. As they fed each other, they unwittingly became the center of attention for their fellow students. Look, isn't that the campus beauty from our university? Is that boy her boyfriend? How infuriating. My goddess has a boyfriend now. Not to mention, that guy is rather handsome. Handsome? He doesn't deserve her. Hurry. Take a picture and post it on the campus information site. Let that guy become the enemy of all the boys at Jinghai University. Click the images of the couple feeding each other were promptly uploaded to the campus information site. Shocking. The campus beauty of Jinghai University is dining with her boyfriend at the cafeteria. Who is that dog of a man beside our beauty? The campus beauty has a boyfriend. My heart is shattered. Just a boyfriend. I still have a chance, doghead. Isn't that our computer science department's Lin Xian? Shall we charge the department tomorrow? As Lin Xian enjoyed his dinner, he felt an unsettling chill from the numerous envious gazes directed at him. At that moment, his phone buzzed. 622 Glutton Group. Zhou Quan. Bro, you've been exposed. Zhongzixing. Remember to wear a mask at school from now on. Just a friendly reminder. Chen Jingming. Haha, Xian Go. You're in trouble. Lin Xian, what on earth is happening? Zhou Quan. Photos. Indeed, it was the very image of Lin Xian and Li Mengyao, caught in their affectionate moment. What a blunder. I must keep a low profile at school from now on. Li Mengyao, noticing Lin Xian's preoccupation with his phone, playfully scolded. Lin Xian, what are you looking at? You're ignoring me. I have become the public enemy of all the boys at Jinghai University. Lin Xian chuckled helplessly. What? Why? Li Mengyao blinked in confusion. Look, it's all because my wife is too beautiful, Lin Xian said, revealing the campus information site on his phone to her. Li Mengyao covered her mouth, bursting into laughter. Well, I'm afraid I can't help you. You're on your own now. Before long, Lin Xian and Li Mengyao finished their dinner and strolled hand in hand around the campus. Lin Xian's demeanor remained tense, fearing an ambush from behind. He had unwavering faith in Li Mengyao's allure, but feared that a few might become irrationally infatuated. Darling, do you want me to help you? Li Mengyao teased. Noticing Lin Xian's anxious expression, how would you assist? Lin Xian asked, his eyes filled with anticipation. Call me sister, and I shall help you, Li Mengyao giggled, tucking her hair behind her ear. Though they were born in the same year, Li Mengyao was a few months older than Lin Xian, a distinction significant enough for her to demand the title of sister. I want tea. Lin Xian's face flushed. Calling his wife sister felt utterly embarrassing. I am older than you. What is the harm in calling me sister? Just utter it once. Li Mengyao pouted, playing coy. If you say it, I shall grant you a reward, she added, her eyes glimmering with anticipation as she gazed at Lin Xian. Really? He inquired. Indeed. Not only will it help you resolve your troubles at school, but you shall also receive a reward. 2 birds with 1 stone. Li Mengyao stepped closer, embracing Lin Xian and smiling gently as she tilted her head upward. If you don't call me, I want to let go. Lin Xian turned his flushed face away, murmuring softly, sister. Hee, my little brother is so obedient, Li Mengyao replied, her eyes crinkling with joy. She wrapped her arms around Lin Xian's neck, planted a quick kiss on his lips, and then swiftly withdrew. Usually, it was Lin Xian who made her blush, but today, she felt triumphant in claiming a victory of her own. What a delight. Is this the reward? Lin Xian touched his lips thoughtfully. Yes, don't you like it? Li Mengyao's elegant eyes blinked playfully. I do, but it was too brief, Lin Xian replied tenderly. We're still at school. The two continued to meander through the campus, Lin Xian increasingly aware of the glares directed at him from the boys across the way, seemingly more intense than before. Wife, didn't you say you would help me earlier? Lin Xian asked. I have indeed helped. Take a look at the school information network, Li Mengyao smiled, her lips pursed. Lin Xian pulled out his phone and opened the school information network, immediately spotting a pinned comment from Li Mengyao. He is not just my boyfriend. He is my husband. Chapter 26. In a past life, I saved the galaxy. What? Already a husband? Oh, the naivety of youth. I've lost my chance. How tragic. Brothers, it's time to unite and charge at this guy. Lin Xian glanced at the campus information network, feeling a chill in his heart. Wife you. At that moment, Li Mengyao, seizing the opportunity while Lin Xian was distracted by his phone, playfully dashed ahead, glancing back at him every 10 steps. Wife, are you trying to escape? Lin Xian began to sprint in pursuit of Li Mengyao. Don't come over. Ha. Realizing her secret was out, Li Mengyao started to jog ahead. One ran, while the other chased. The tranquil campus echoed with their joyous laughter. Given Li Mengyao's pregnancy, she couldn't run very fast, allowing Lin Xian to catch up easily. He enveloped her in his arms, speaking softly, don't run around. Be careful. Li Mengyao adjusted her disheveled hair, revealing a charming smile. Under the moonlit campus, the flowers and trees appeared particularly serene and mysterious. During this graduation season, Lin Xian and Li Mengyao strolled hand in hand, every step bathed in sweetness beneath the glow of the moon. After the graduation defense concluded, thanks to Lin Xian's attentive guidance over the past few days, Li Mengyao had become proficient in driving around the city. Moreover, with the Xiaomi SU7's automatic parking feature, she needn't worry about parking. Today, Li Mengyao's university dormitory was hosting a farewell dinner, the last meal before graduation. As it was an all-girls gathering, Lin Xian felt it inappropriate to tag along. So Li Mengyao drove herself. During her driving lessons, Lin Xian discovered that she learned swiftly and drove steadily. And given the Xiaomi SU7's smart driving and emergency avoidance features, he had no qualms about her driving alone. Husband, I'm heading out, Li Mengyao announced, clad in a simple white dress that accentuated her graceful demeanor. She gleefully ran up to Lin Xian and bestowed a gentle kiss on his lips. Just as she was about to leave, Lin Xian pulled her back into his embrace and kissed her softly on her lightly painted cherry lips. Time seemed to blur. Come back early, Lin Xian said with a cheeky grin. Li Mingyao touched her flushed cheeks and slightly reddened lips, leaving with a playful remark, naughty husband. Li Mingyao arrived at the parking lot, approached her Xiaomi SU7, settled into the driver's seat, and expertly started the car. She even took out a small mirror to touch up her lipstick, which Lin Xian had seemingly devoured. Soon, she reached the dormitory building of Jinghai University and greeted her long-missed 3 roommates. Wow, Yao Yao, you've learned to drive in just a few months. And it's quite a fancy car, Shin Man exclaimed. Yeah, do tell us. We saw your grand confession yesterday, Yang Lin chimed in. Only Lu Yusin remained silent, aware of the entire situation but joining in the teasing. Indeed, our Yao Yao has forgotten her sisters with a husband now. Li Mingyao's face flushed from the teasing, and she quickly changed the subject. Stop it. Let us decide where to eat. I'm starving. Hey, the last restaurant we went to was pretty good, but there seems to be a new food place nearby. Oh no, I have a fear of making choices. I think that one is better. No, I believe the other one is superior. Thus, the 4 friends debated in the car for over 10 minutes until they finally settled on a place through voting. Meanwhile, Lin Xian found himself at home with nothing to do and recalled that he hadn't yet opened the luxurious store provided by the system. He decided to head to Jinwan Plaza to post a recruitment notice, starting with the position of store manager. The manager would be responsible for all affairs of the restaurant, including operations, hiring chefs and servers, and overseeing decoration. This way, Lin Xian could be a hands-off proprietor, enjoying the comforts of being a boss. Without delay, he drove his Maybach to Jinwan Plaza, printed a recruitment notice, and affixed it to the entrance of the luxurious store. However, he soon felt that this method of hiring was too conventional, so he also posted a job listing on a recruitment app, offering a monthly salary of 20,000, with comprehensive insurance. This should attract quite a few candidates. Once everything was sorted, Lin Xian drove back home. Meanwhile, Li Mingyao and her 3 good friends were enjoying their meal. She recounted the events of the past few months, omitting the detail of her pregnancy. Wow, your boyfriend is amazing, Yang Lin exclaimed. Right? Good-looking, cooks every day, and very devoted, Chen Man agreed. Only Lu Yusin remained quiet, knowing the reality of the situation, though she acknowledged that Lin Xian was indeed wonderful. Hey, Yao Yao, how come you're calling him husband when you're not even married? Did he propose? Lu Yusin couldn't help but ask. Not yet. I just got used to calling him that. Li Mingyao's cheeks flushed instantly. Our dear Yao Yao is quite the romantic. Chen Man laughed. I remember in freshman year, you had a crush on him. Now your dream has come true. By the way, Yao Yao, good men are hard to come by. You need to keep a close watch, Yang Lin warned. Li Mingyao nodded shyly. How could she not keep a close watch? A child was on the way. My Yao Yao was becoming someone else's. Lu Yusin thought helplessly. All right, we finally graduated. Here's to our bright futures. Cheers. The 4 girls clinked their drinks together. After a satisfying meal, Li Mingyao escorted her friends back to their dormitory, then hit the gas as she sped toward Jinwan Plaza and entered a jewelry store. Lin Xian was indeed too attractive to others. Just yesterday, he faced an encounter at the classroom door. She needed something to prove his commitment. Thus, Li Mingyao contemplated a men's ring. Welcome, beautiful. How may I assist you? A tall, moderately attractive sales assistant approached her. This was indeed the same jewelry store where Lin Xian had purchased the diamond ring, with the same sales assistant from before. Hello, may I inquire if you have any recommendations for men's rings? Li Mingyao asked softly. Certainly, please follow me, the shop assistant responded, guiding Li Mingyao to a nearby display case. The men's rings were elegantly arranged within, gleaming with a resplendent brilliance, each piece exuding a distinctive charm. Soon, Li Mingyao's eyes fell upon a particular ring, its design both minimalist and exquisitely refined, showcasing a unique aesthetic that conveyed understated luxury and grace. Excuse me, could you please retrieve this one for me? Li Mingyao said, lifting her delicate finger to point at it. Of course, madam, the assistant replied, promptly presenting the ring to her. Your taste is impeccable. This piece is the latest design, perfectly aligning with contemporary aesthetics favored by the youth, the assistant remarked. Li Mingyao admired the ring from various angles, playing with it in her small hands, clearly enchanted by its beauty. How much is this? She inquired. Altogether, it is 18,888, the assistant replied. Upon hearing the price, Li Mingyao hesitated momentarily, her resolve wavering, but ultimately decided to proceed with the purchase. Thank you very much. We look forward to your next visit, the assistant smiled as she packaged the item, secretly pondering which fortunate gentleman was blessed enough to receive such a beautiful gift from her. Surely, he must have saved the galaxy in a past life. Chapter 27. I fear you have intentionally withheld a portion. Li Mingyao drove back to Jinhai Mansion. Upon arriving at her doorstep, She extended her petite hand to unlock the door with her fingerprint. Inside the living room, Lin Xian was engrossed in a movie and, upon seeing his wife return, he was about to speak. "Darling, you're back." However, Li Mingyao swiftly dashed past him, making her way to their bedroom. Lin Xian was left in bemusement, wondering what secrets his wife was concealing. After stowing away the newly purchased ring, Li Mingyao exhaled deeply, patted her cheeks, and finally emerged from the room. "Darling, I'm home," she announced, though still slightly flustered from her earlier haste. "Is something the matter?" Lin Xian asked, pulling her into his embrace. "Nothing at all," Li Mingyao replied, her pupils momentarily dilating with an evident nervousness. "Are you absolutely certain?" Lin Xian inquired, flashing his signature smile. "That is a secret for ladies." "You mustn't pry," Li Mingyao responded with a graceful flutter of her eyelashes. "Very well, then." Lin Xian, seeing his wife's reluctance to divulge, had no choice but to settle into the living room to watch the movie together. After the film concluded, it was well past 11 at night, and they retired to their bedroom for the night. The following morning, the shrill ringing of the phone jolted Lin Xian from slumber. To avoid disturbing his wife, he stepped out of the room to answer it. "Hey, Xiangu, are you awake?" Zhou Quan's cheerful voice chimed through the line. "Quan Air, why are you calling so early?" Lin Xian responded, puzzled. Typically, they communicated via text unless there was an urgent matter at hand. However, Zhou Quan's laughter hinted that it was likely nothing pressing. "Are you preparing to open a restaurant at Jinhai Square?" Zhou Quan continued to inquire. "Yes." "How did you find out?" Lin Xian asked, becoming somewhat more alert. "I saw it on a recruitment site. By the way, do you have a candidate for the manager position yet?" "Why do you ask?" "Xiangu, I'd like to apply." Lin Xian was taken aback. "Wasn't Zhou Quan pursuing a civil service career? Weren't you aiming for civil service? What made you want to delve into business instead?" "Well, I didn't pass the exam. I've realized that the competition is fierce among civil servants. You wouldn't believe it. I scored 80, yet I didn't even make it to the interview stage. The top scorer had 89. Xiangu, can you imagine how intense these candidates are?" Zhou Quan lamented. "Are you sure you're up for this?" Lin Xian questioned skeptically. "Absolutely. My family has been in the restaurant business for years." "Xiangu, why don't you interview me?" Zhou Quan replied confidently. "All right. I haven't seen you in a while. Let us meet at that cafe near the school," Lin Xian decided, intrigued by his friend's confidence. "Great. I'll order some good coffee and wait for you," Zhou Quan exclaimed excitedly. After hanging up, Lin Xian finished his morning routine and returned to the bedroom, where he found Li Mingyao still peacefully asleep. He approached and gently kissed her smooth forehead. "I'm heading out for a bit," he whispered. "Okay," Li Mingyao murmured sleepily, her eyelashes fluttering. Lin Xian then left the house, driving his Maybach toward the school. Soon, he arrived at the cafe near the campus, parking his car before stepping inside to find Zhou Quan waving enthusiastically. "Xiangu, over here." Lin Xian took a seat across from Zhou Quan. "Xiangu, please interview me," Zhou Quan said, suddenly adopting a serious demeanor. "Zhou Quan, I'm delighted you've come to apply for the manager position. I will begin by asking you a few questions," Lin Xian replied, matching Zhou Quan's seriousness. After discussing some basic restaurant management knowledge, Lin Xian was taken aback by Zhou Quan's knowledge. "Wow, you actually know quite a bit," Lin Xian exclaimed, surprised since he himself was not well versed in these matters and intended to hire a manager to oversee operations while he took a hands-off approach. "Don't forget, my family has always been in the restaurant business. I've been helping out at our family restaurant since I was a child. Don't underestimate my culinary skills. I can whip up a delicious dish of 9-turn intestines for you to try," Zhou Quan boasted. "Perhaps not. I fear you might leave some parts out on purpose," Lin Xian chuckled. "All right, you're hired." Lin Xian smiled. "Thank you, Xiangu. When do I start?" Zhou Quan asked, beaming with joy. "Once the renovations are complete, I'll provide you with some funds for the decor. As for your salary, we'll split the profits 70 to 30, my favor. If we incur losses, I'll still pay you a monthly salary of 20,000. "Really? Xiangu, you're too good to me." Zhou Quan nearly leaped with joy. "Just don't celebrate too early. If the restaurant is profitable, we all earn money. But if we suffer significant losses, I won't hesitate to let you go and sell the restaurant," Lin Xian warned, remaining pragmatic about the venture. "Don't worry, I'll ensure the restaurant thrives," Zhou Quan assured him as they continued their conversation, eventually devolving into playful banter. "Xiangu, why have I been so unlucky lately? I've hit 6 consecutive guaranteed failures in the game," Zhou Quan lamented. Lin Xian nearly choked on his coffee upon hearing this, stifling a laugh. "Cough, cough. Quan Air, I think it might be time for you to switch games," Lin Xian suggested. "Now you're telling me to change games too?" Jing Ming said the same. Zhou Quan protested. "Not at all. Just give it another go. Xiangu, I'll head back now to finalize the restaurant plan by tomorrow." "Sounds good." Zhou Quan then departed for his school dormitory, while Lin Xian checked the time and decided to linger a bit longer, sipping his coffee while scrolling through his phone. "All right. The little sleepyhead should be up by now," It's time to head back. Just as Lin Xian stepped out of the cafe, a familiar figure appeared before him. It was his ex-girlfriend, Yi Zixuan. Yi Zixuan, a classmate from his year, had pursued Lin Xian fervently since their freshman year due to his good looks. However, after a brief 6-month relationship, Lin Xian had chosen to part ways, unable to tolerate her vanity. At that moment, Yi Zixuan stood before him, strikingly beautiful in a white blouse paired with a black skirt, exuding an air of allure. Lin Xian was taken aback. He hadn't anticipated encountering her here. Yi Zixuan also spotted Lin Xian, and a flicker of arrogance crossed her gaze. Lin Xian felt no lingering attachment to Yi Zixuan and merely glanced at her before attempting to depart. What a coincidence! Lin Xian, Yi Zixuan initiated the conversation. Indeed. Quite the coincidence, Lin Xian replied with a calm demeanor. How have you been lately? Yi Zixuan attempted to engage in small talk. My well-being has little to do with you, Yi, Lin Xian responded coldly. Are you really going to treat your first love so indifferently? Graduation is just around the corner. Have you found a good job? By the way, my current boyfriend is a leader at a tech company with an excellent salary and benefits. Since we know each other, I can help you if you're interested. Yi Zixuan began to boast about her boyfriend, seeking to belittle Lin Xian, unable to tolerate his aloofness despite his apparent lack of wealth. Congratulations, Lin Xian replied curtly, turning away to leave. Chapter 28, I believe in you. Lin Xian paid little heed to Yi Zixuan, making his way to the parked Maybach and starting the engine to depart. As he drove past a cafe, Yi Zixuan had just finished purchasing her coffee and stepped outside, only to witness a sleek black Maybach glide by. The sight of Lin Xian behind the wheel left her utterly astonished. Since when could Lin Xian afford such an extravagant vehicle? During their freshman year, she had never perceived him to be from a wealthy family. Upon further reflection, she dismissed the notion, assuming it was likely a rented car. Her contempt for him resurfacing. What was he trying to portray? On his way home, Lin Xian also procured the ingredients for dinner. Soon, he arrived at Jinwan Mansion. And as he opened the door, a figure leapt into his embrace. Welcome home, darling, Li Mengyao greeted him with a glimmer of joy. I'm back. Did you eat the breakfast I left for you? Lin Xian affectionately ruffled her hair. I did. Darling, I've noticed your culinary skills have improved immensely. You even managed to replicate my mother's flavors. Li Mengyao continued to cling to Lin Xian. Of course. Now, why don't you go watch a show in the living room while I prepare dinner? With that, Lin Xian dived into the kitchen to busy himself, while Li Mengyao obediently returned to the living room to watch her drama. Before long, Lin Xian emerged from the kitchen with 3 dishes and a soup, their aromatic fragrances wafting through the air. Dinner is served, dear, he called. Coming. Li Mengyao joined him at the dining table, sitting close as they enjoyed their meal together. Did you know that my roommate, Zhou Quan, is applying for the restaurant manager position? Lin Xian said while serving her food. Oh, is he the charming boy we saw at the hospital last time? Li Mengyao recalled. Yes, his family has always been in the restaurant business, so he is quite familiar with it. I'm considering bringing him on board. Lin Xian discussed his plans with his wife. You decide. I have no objections. Li Mengyao felt warmth in her heart, realizing how much Lin Xian valued her opinion. After they finished their meal, the couple relaxed on the sofa, watching dramas until they felt sleepy and retreated to their room for rest. Lying beside Li Mengyao, Lin Xian pondered over whether to confide in her. Darling, after I met Zhou Quan, I ran into someone else, he revealed. Li Mengyao lifted her head, her enchanting eyes fixed on Lin Xian. Who else did you meet? My ex-girlfriend, Lin Xian admitted, not wishing to keep it from her. And then, Li Mengyao's heart skipped a beat, her mood darkening instantly. She was aware that Lin Xian had a girlfriend during their freshman year, and now she worried whether he might rekindle feelings for her and abandon Li Mengyao. The emotional fluctuations of pregnancy were intense, and as her mind wandered, tears began to well up in her eyes. Lin Xian quickly sensed that something was amiss with his wife. He gently pulled her closer, lifting her chin to meet his gaze. Their eyes locked, revealing that Li Mengyao's were slightly reddened. I'm sorry, darling. I hardly spoke to her. I was quite cold. Back in freshman year, I was young and naive. And she was persistent, which led me to date her briefly for less than 6 months. I soon realized she was quite superficial, so I ended things immediately. Nothing else ever happened, Lin Xian sincerely explained. Li Mengyao turned her head away, aware she had overthought the situation. Deep down, she knew Lin Xian was not that kind of person, yet an indescribable discomfort lingered in her heart. Did nothing really happen? Absolutely nothing, Lin Xian answered without hesitation. Did you kiss her? Li Mengyao turned to him again, softly inquiring. No, my first kiss was with you. Lin Xian continued to hold her closely, speaking tenderly. Upon hearing this, Li Mengyao ceased her petty grievances, returning his embrace and burying her forehead into his sturdy chest. Thank you for being honest with me. In fact, I liked you back in freshman year, so I knew you had an ex. What? When did that happen? How come I didn't know? Lin Xian was taken aback, realizing his wife had harbored feelings for him for nearly 4 years. I used to steal glances at you from a distance, so of course. My silly husband had no idea, Li Mingyao murmured from within his embrace. In truth, Li Mingyao's affection for Lin Xian stemmed not only from his handsome appearance and exceptional abilities, but also from a little-known secret. Lin Xian had once saved her. During her freshman year, she had taken up a part-time tutoring job, and one evening, as her session ran late, she opted for a shortcut to reach the school before curfew. Unfortunately, she caught the attention of 2 local thugs. Just as despair began to set in, Lin Xian happened to pass by and intervened, defending her against the 2 assailants. She vividly remembered the sight of Lin Xian grappling with them. After dealing with the troublemakers, he led her out of the alley and hurried away, not recognizing her due to her mask and the darkness of the night. Darling, I swear, if I ever treat you and our little ones poorly, may the heavens punish me. Lin Xian raised 3 fingers to pledge. Suddenly, Li Mingyao lifted her head and sealed his lips with hers. After what felt like an eternity, they finally parted. No, you mustn't swear. I believe in you. How could he not love such a wife? Lin Xian silently embraced Li Mingyao, and together they drifted into a sweet slumber. In the afternoon, upon waking, Li Mingyao began studying the teaching materials in preparation for her future career as a teacher. Lin Xian quietly watched her, lost in thought. Ding dong. Lin Xian opened his phone to find a message from Zhou Quan. Bro, check out my freshly minted proposal. Wow, Quan, you're quite efficient. Lin Xian read through it thoroughly, acknowledging Zhou Quan's capabilities. Hey, bro, isn't it time to prepare the renovation funds? Haha. I'll be at the dorm waiting for you. Alright. Lin Xian quickly changed clothes and approached Li Mingyao, planting a kiss on her cheek. Darling, I'm stepping out for a bit to check on the restaurant's renovation design with Zhou Quan. Go ahead. Li Mingyao blushed slightly. Having just been lounging in bed moments ago, was it truly possible for boys to change clothes that quickly? Before long, Lin Xian parked the Maybach beneath the dormitory at Jinghai University. Bro, I'm here. Zhou Quan sprinted over, flinging open the door and plopping into the passenger seat. Oh, the luxury of this car seat is divine. Zhou Quan exclaimed, reveling in the comfort. Don't. Lin Xian exclaimed, handing a redemption voucher to Zhou Quan. Zhou Quan took a look and found it to be a restaurant renovation voucher. What is this? Is it real or fake? He questioned skeptically. Of course it's real. Let's head to the restaurant renovation company in Jinghai City right now, Lin Xian replied. Is that really feasible? I've never seen anyone redeem renovation services with just a piece of paper, Zhou Quan remarked. You'll find out once we get there, Lin Xian insisted, starting the car and driving off. He had complete faith in the system. Surely it wouldn't provide him with a fraudulent voucher. Ding dong. A warm reminder chimed, announcing that this type of restaurant renovation voucher could be utilized at the most prestigious renovation companies. The familiar voice of the system echoed once more. Chapter 29. You truly are infuriating. Before long, Lin Xian arrived at the Jinghai City Restaurant Branding Design Company in his Maybach. After parking, he and Zhou Quan stepped through the company's grand entrance. True to its reputation as the finest restaurant design company in Jinghai City, the reception area was spacious and bright, adorned with elegant and luxurious decor that exuded a lavish ambience. Welcome. May I assist you with your design and renovation needs? A tall, graceful young woman in professional attire approached them. Yes, we would like to inquire about restaurant renovations, Lin Xian answered politely. The young woman smiled and nodded, certainly. Please follow me. I will introduce you to some of our design cases and styles. With that, she led Lin Xian and Zhou Quan to the display area. The exhibition showcased exquisite design blueprints and renderings, as Lin Xian and Zhou Quan attentively observed while the young saleswoman diligently explained. Do you have any specific requirements for your restaurant's design? She inquired. We hope the renovation reflects a fashionable and comfortable atmosphere, while also possessing a unique character. Lin Xian stated. How large is your restaurant, and where is it located? The young woman asked, taking notes. Our restaurant spans 150 square meters and is situated in Jinwan Plaza, Lin Xian replied. The young saleswoman appeared slightly taken aback, her note-taking momentarily pausing. Jinwan Plaza? That's a highly coveted location, and a 150 square meter space is quite substantial. You both seem rather young to be embarking on such an entrepreneurial venture. It's quite admirable. She quickly regained her composure and continued. Following this, she recommended several suitable design styles for Lin Xian's restaurant, elaborating on the characteristics and advantages of each. What do you think, Zhou Quan? Which style seems most fitting? Lin Xian asked, uncertain about the options. This style looks quite appealing. We can delve into the specific design details further, Zhou Quan replied. After discussing various details, they arrived at the most nerve-wracking part, the payment stage. Please come this way to complete your payment. The young saleswoman maintained her cheerful demeanor. Go ahead, present her with the voucher, Lin Xian urged with a smile. Are you serious, Brother Xian? Will this really work? Zhou Quan expressed skepticism, concerned that Lin Xian might be leading him astray due to financial constraints. When have I ever deceived you? Just go, Lin Xian chuckled. You've deceived me plenty, Zhou Quan thought to himself, reluctantly stepping forward. Excuse me, can I use this? Zhou Quan asked nervously, handing over the restaurant renovation voucher. This is the luxurious renovation voucher issued by the headquarters this year. The young saleswoman stood in shock. There are only 5 of these in the entire country. I can't believe we've encountered one here. The headquarters has stated that any voucher presented will be treated with the utmost specifications. Zhou Quan, witnessing the saleswoman's astonishment, felt his face flush with embarrassment. Brother Xian, I told you it wouldn't work. Look at how mortified I am. At this moment, Lin Xian approached with a smile. Hello. May I ask if we can proceed with the redemption? The young saleswoman quickly collected herself and apologized. I sincerely apologize, esteemed guests, for the oversight. Xiaoli, please bring these 2 a cup of coffee and some pastries, the highest quality available. I'm truly sorry. Follow me this way. She escorted Lin Xian and Zhou Quan to a lavish reception area, adorned with opulent carpets, dazzling crystal chandeliers, luxurious leather sofas, and a massive LCD television, all creating a sumptuous atmosphere. Before long, 2 cups of fragrant Guizhou coffee and French pastries were presented to Lin Xian and Zhou Quan. Zhou Quan was left speechless by the striking contrast of the situation. Esteemed guests, this voucher has been successfully redeemed. We will ensure the highest quality renovation at the fastest speed. Is there any other service you require? This time, it was not the young saleswoman but the branch manager who approached them. He was a middle-aged man, well-proportioned, with the marks of time on his face. Yet his eyes bore sharpness. Nothing else for now. If we need anything, we'll reach out. Thank you, Lin Xian replied with a smile. All right. Here is my business card. We welcome your return, the middle-aged man said, handing Lin Xian a card. Visibly amazed that someone who appeared to be a university student possessed such a voucher, speculating he must be from a notable family. After a while, satiated, the 2 exited the design company and returned to the Maybach, preparing to head back. Brother Xian, how did you manage that? Zhou Quan couldn't help but ask. Quaner, it's best not to pry into adult matters. Just focus on being a good store manager, Lin Xian responded. Fine, if you won't tell me, Zhou Quan retorted. By the way, here, you can contact him if you have any questions about the renovation. Lin Xian handed Zhou Quan the branch manager's business card. Great. Where to next? Brother Xian, shall we grab a meal outside? Zhou Quan asked excitedly. Let us buy fish, Lin Xian replied firmly. Huh, buy fish to cook for my wife? Zhou Quan exclaimed. You truly are infuriating. Noticing the time was late, Lin Xian decided to invite Zhou Quan to join him for dinner at home. Would you like to come over for dinner? Absolutely. You're the best, Brother Xian, Zhou Quan exclaimed. Lin Xian opened his phone to inform Li Mengyao that Zhou Quan would be joining them for dinner, then drove to the market to purchase a fillet of sole and a loach, planning to prepare loach patties and garlic vermicelli sole for the evening meal. The 2 soon returned to Jinwan Mansion, and while Zhou Quan thought the day had already been sufficiently shocking, he was taken aback to discover Lin Xian resided in the opulent Jinwan Mansion, gradually growing accustomed to the lavish lifestyle. As Lin Xian and Zhou Quan arrived at the front door and unlocked it, they were greeted by Li Mengyao, who smiled and said, Welcome home. I'm back, Lin Xian replied. At this moment, Li Mengyao had changed into a simple yet elegant blue loungewear, emanating an aura of grace. Hello, sister-in-law. I'm Zhou Quan. Lin Xian's roommate. Zhou Quan greeted her with a smile. Hello, please come in, Li Mengyao said, pouring Zhou Quan a drink. Zhou Quan surveyed Lin Xian's home, luxurious community, spacious apartment, and lavish decor. He couldn't help but feel a mix of admiration and envy, yet he knew Lin Xian was his boss. Quaner, come help in the kitchen, Lin Xian called. Zhou Quan had barely settled down before he was summoned to assist. Though he inwardly grumbled, he begrudgingly complied. Can wealth truly grant one the freedom to do as they please? Zhou Quan pondered. Lin Xian, I apologize, but it is indeed feasible. Chapter 30. My wife is simply captivating. Zhou Quan assisted Lin Xian in the kitchen, washing vegetables while Lin Xian busied himself with cooking. Who would have thought that Brother Xian could truly cook? Zhou Quan watched in astonishment. Soon, a delightful array of 4 dishes and a soup was prepared. Fish cakes, garlic vermicelli with sole, sweet and sour spare ribs, and celery tofu soup. Wife, dinner is served, Lin Xian announced. Coming. Li Mengyao cheerfully approached and sat beside Lin Xian, with Zhou Quan on the other side, placing Lin Xian in between. Today's menu features some new dishes. Li Mengyao smiled brightly. Come, let us have a taste. Lin Xian picked up a piece of fish cake and placed it into Li Mengyao's bowl. It's delicious, Li Mengyao exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with joy. You should try some too. She reciprocated by placing a piece into Lin Xian's bowl. Zhou Quan felt somewhat superfluous at that moment. He regretted coming over. feeling full even before the meal commenced. However, the aroma of Lin Xian's cooking was indeed enticing, so he decided to sample a piece of fish himself. Instantly, he was taken aback, as if his soul had left his body. The fish was tender and juicy, melting in his mouth, each bite bursting with exquisite flavor, truly the best fish he had ever tasted. Who needs a chef? Brother Xian is a master chef. Brother Xian, this is absolutely delectable. I think there's no need to hire a chef. You should be the head chef? Zhou Quan exclaimed, coming back to his senses. Not a chance. I want to stay home and accompany my wife and child. Otherwise, what use do we have for you as the manager? Lin Xian continued to serve Li Mingyao. Zhou Quan was once again inundated with their affection. Suddenly, a thought crossed his mind, and he grinned mischievously. Sister-in-law, would you like to hear about Brother Xian's embarrassing moments in the dormitory? What embarrassing moments? Li Mingyao raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Don't be fooled by Brother Xian's seemingly fearless demeanor. He is actually terrified of spiders. Even the tiniest one sends him into a panic. Once, a minuscule spider, smaller than a thumb, crawled onto him, and he jumped up in fright, flailing about and begging me to help him get it off. And there's more. Once, I inadvertently caused Brother Xian to lose in a game, and he conspired with his roommates to almost pull my pants down. Zhou Quan's antics were akin to shooting himself in the foot. Oh, and previously, Lin Xian had a habit of sneaking glances at beautiful women on the street. Lin Xian swiftly covered Zhou Quan's mouth. Don't speak nonsense, dear wife. That's not true. Initially, Li Mingyao had been laughing, but her expression grew slightly colder. Darling, is that true? Of course it's false. Zhou Quan interjected jokingly. Right? Lin Xian released Zhou Quan, firmly placing a hand on his shoulder. Zhou Quan frowned, slowly responding. Yes, sister-in-law, I was just joking, With someone as beautiful as you, Brother Xian would never look at other women. Lin Xian popped a piece of spare rib into Zhou Quan's mouth, his gaze sharp. Shut your mouth and eat properly. Before long, the trio finished their dinner. After instructing Zhou Quan to wash the dishes, Lin Xian drove him back to the school dormitory in his Maybach. Upon returning to Jinwan Mansion, Lin Xian found that Li Mingyao had already retreated to their bedroom for some rest, prompting him to hastily take a shower. After bathing, he approached the door, only to find it locked. Wife, why have you locked the door? Let me in. Lin Xian called from outside. No entry for you, you peeping Tom. Came Li Mingyao's voice from inside. At that moment, Lin Xian cursed Zhou Quan, vowing to deduct his wages in the future. Wife, that's unjust. It was Zhou Quan and the others who tricked me. He protested. As he spoke, he heard the soft sound of footsteps and the unlocking of the door. Wife, you've opened the door. Lin Xian quickly entered, only to find Li Mingyao had swiftly returned to bed, facing away from him. He climbed onto the bed, lying beside her. Suddenly, Li Mingyao turned to face him, their eyes locking, her beautiful gaze fixed on Lin Xian. How did they trick you? They suddenly exclaimed. Look, there seems to be something over there. I turned to look and realized I had fallen for their ruse. Lin Xian explained patiently. Why would they tease you like that? Li Mingyao's lips curled into a playful smile. Because I was as stiff as a log back then, I had a nickname, Lin Wood. Lin Xian chuckled. Is that so? I never thought you were like a log. You always seemed to kiss me at every opportunity, Li Mingyao giggled. In truth, she had never been genuinely angry. She simply wished to tease Lin Xian. Had she truly been upset, she wouldn't have opened the door. Isn't it just because my wife is too enchanting, making me lose control? Lin Xian gently embraced Li Mingyao, savoring her faint fragrance. Smooth talker. Well, I'm off to sleep now. Li Mingyao nestled closer to Lin Xian, draping herself over him. Good night, my love. Lin Xian planted a kiss on her forehead, and together they drifted into slumber. A week later, Jinghai University held its graduation ceremony. The sun shone brightly, the breeze gentle and warm, as Lin Xian and Li Mingyao entered the campus with hearts brimming with excitement and anticipation. The campus was adorned with verdant trees and fragrant blossoms, steeped in a rich academic atmosphere. Hand in hand, they strolled through the tree-lined paths, arriving at the gown-fitting room for graduates. Inside, neatly arranged were pristine black gowns, and Li Mingyao helped Lin Xian don a long black robe. Lin Xian placed a square cap on Li Mingyao's head, fastening her bow tie. They exchanged smiles, their eyes reflecting dreams of the future. Dressed in his graduation gown, Lin Xian exuded elegance and charm, his handsome figure standing out in the sunlight. Li Mingyao, equally stunning in her gown, radiated grace and beauty, her lovely silhouette a breathtaking sight on campus. They made their way to the Century Square at the heart of the campus, a spacious and grand area surrounded by majestic buildings and beautiful flower beds. In the center stood a tall statue and a solemn motto, symbolizing the legacy of knowledge and wisdom. In the center of the square, Lin Xian tightly embraced Li Mingyao, their foreheads touching, feeling her warmth and gentle breath. At that moment, Zhou Quan reluctantly approached them. Stand still, just like that, don't move. Zhou Quan retrieved his camera, adjusted the angle, and pressed the shutter, capturing this beautiful moment. Even if it wasn't particularly special for him. Qian, let us take a few more. Lin Qian urged. I know. If I collapse from exhaustion, it'll be because you two fed me. Then, Lin Qian gently kissed Li Mengyao's flawless forehead, and she blissfully closed her eyes. Once more, the hard-working Zhou Quan resumed his role, raising the camera, adjusting the angle, and capturing yet another beautiful moment. Chapter 31. Will you marry me? After the photo shoot, Lin Qian and Li Mengyao returned to their respective colleges for group pictures. As the sun set, casting a warm glow, Lin Qian and Li Mengyao walked hand in hand through the campus. Their steps were light and leisurely, as if imprinting the familiar landscape deeply into their hearts. The school's architecture, bathed in the golden light of the setting sun, glowed radiantly. As the sun gradually descended behind the mountains, the golden hues intensified, symbolizing the conclusion of their university journey. In the evening, Lin Qian and Li Mengyao returned to Jinwan Mansion. Lin Qian opened the door, holding Li Mengyao's hand as they walked step by step toward the living room. Why aren't the lights on? The dim lighting caused Li Mengyao to vaguely sense that the living room felt different from usual. Lin Qian did not respond, but continued to lead her to the center of the room. With a snap of his fingers, the lights suddenly illuminated the space. Li Mengyao was astonished to discover that the living room was adorned with colorful balloons and flowers arranged in the shape of a heart. With romantic candlelight flickering in the air, blinking in surprise, her mouth slightly agape, she was at a loss for words. Lin Qian cautiously retrieved an exquisite little box from his pocket, gently opening the lid to reveal a dazzling 2-carat diamond ring lying inside. This ring, valued at 500,000, reflected a mesmerizing brilliance from every angle, as if narrating tales of endless luxury and rarity. Subsequently, Lin Qian knelt on one knee, gazing deeply into Li Mengyao's eyes, and said, Mengyao, I am truly fortunate to have met you during the final stages of our university journey. From the very moment we became acquainted, I knew you would be my lifelong companion. My dear, will you marry me? Let us join hands for the rest of our lives and create our own happiness. Overcome with emotion, Li Mengyao's tears flowed freely. She gently accepted the ring, took a deep breath to steady her racing heart, and nodded with a smile. Her voice firm yet tender, I do. These 3 words resonated like heavenly music in the air, and a blissful smile spread across Lin Qian's face as he realized he was finally marrying the woman of his dreams. Rising to his feet, he enveloped Li Mengyao in a tight embrace, and she wrapped her small hands around his waist, reveling in this moment of happiness. My love, allow me to place this on your finger, Lin Qian said tenderly, gazing at his blushing bride. They both released their hold, and Li Mengyao extended her fair left hand. Lin Qian gently took the radiant diamond ring and slipped it onto her finger. It's beautiful, Li Mengyao exclaimed, repeatedly waving her left hand to admire the ring from various angles. Suddenly, she paused, recalling that she had a ring to give Lin Qian as well. Hold on, darling, she said, quickly dashing back to her room to rummage through her drawer for a men's ring. Upon glancing back at her own diamond ring, she felt that her purchase paled in comparison. After a brief moment, Li Mengyao shyly emerged from the room, her expression conflicted, hands tightly clasped behind her back. Honey, could you extend your hand? Lin Qian observed his slightly nervous wife and smiled as he extended his left hand. Li Mengyao gently placed the men's ring onto Lin Qian's finger, saying, I also prepared a ring for you, though it's quite modest. Please don't think less of it. I promise to work hard to buy you a better one in the future. With that, she lowered her head, her small hands once again tightly intertwined. Lin Qian gazed at the exquisite and unique ring in his hand and broke into a bright smile. My love, I truly cherish it. He pulled Li Mengyao into another warm embrace, their faces close together as he tenderly kissed her soft cheek, then her nose, and finally, her alluring lips. All right, let me tidy up a bit while you rest, my dear, Lin Qian said with a smile. Don't. I haven't had enough of this yet. Let's leave the tidying for tomorrow, Li Mengyao playfully pouted. All right, Lin Qian replied, his eyes filled with affection. The two nestled together on the sofa, watching a show on the large screen. Lin Qian and Li Mengyao shared their graduation and proposal photos on social media, showcasing their hands intertwined, both adorned with dazzling rings. On Lin Qian's post, the comments flowed in, Zhang Shulan, son, well done. Lin Jinghua, just a thumbs up. Lin Cici, bro, is this it? Zhang Shulan, Cici, aren't you supposed to be studying for finals? Lin Cici retracted a comment. Zhou Quan, congratulations, wishing you endless happiness. Zhong Zixing, congratulations, Xian Ji's speed is impressive. Chen Jingming, I call dibs on being the best man. On Li Mengyao's side, the comments were relatively few, as she only had a handful of true friends from university. Lu Yusin, Yao Yao, my dear Yao Yao. Chen Man Man, Congratulations. Yusin, wake up. Yao Yao is no longer yours. Yang Lin, wow, congratulations. This speed is astonishing. Are you on a rocket? Lin Xian was engrossed in reading the comments when he heard the system's clear voice once again. Ding dong. Congratulations on successfully proposing. Host. Reward. 100 shares of Jinghai City Jinwan Technology Company, Limited, effective tomorrow. Please check your account. Ding dong. Congratulations on triggering the lottery mechanism. You have one chance to draw. Current prize pool includes 1. A cash triple damage card. 2. An exclusive fish cuisine recipe book. 3. Thank you for your patronage. Will the host draw? Having previously received a free store renovation voucher, he decided to go for the draw this time, confident that with enough attempts, he would surely win something worthwhile. Let us draw. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for winning an exclusive fish cuisine recipe book. Now placed on the desk in Jinwan Mansion, please check. Our lottery pool diminishes with each item drawn. If only thank you for your patronage remains. The system will refresh the prize pool. The system was indeed powerful. Chapter 32. The new chairman before bed. Li Mingyao lay in Lin Xian's embrace, endlessly admiring the diamond ring on her finger, unable to tire of its beauty. Honey, how much did you spend on this ring? Li Mingyao, aware of its considerable value, could not help but inquire. 500,000. Lin Xian replied honestly. Li Mingyao's eyes widened in disbelief. She had not anticipated such an extravagant price. Why would you spend so much? It makes my ring seem so cheap. Her forehead rested against Lin Xian's chest. It's all right. I love everything you give me. If it makes you feel unbalanced, just shower me with kisses, Lin Xian replied playfully. He understood that Li Mingyao's ring likely did not surpass his in value. Yet he could tell it was still far from cheap, certainly worth several thousand. Given Li Mingyao's background, it was evident that she had saved diligently during university to afford it, which touched Lin Xian deeply. Ouch, what is this? A sudden pain shot through his waist as Lin Xian quickly grabbed her restless little hand. All you think about is kissing. Don't you ever get tired of it? Li Mingyao lifted her head, feigning annoyance. Never. I could kiss you forever. With that, Lin Xian nuzzled against her cheek. I'm going to sleep. Li Mingyao struggled a bit. Once she declared her fatigue, Lin Xian had no choice but to let her go. However, at that moment, Li Mingyao seized the opportunity, leaning in to kiss Lin Xian swiftly before pulling away and turning to sleep. Classic move, tease and run. What could he do but indulge her? Lin Xian soon followed her into slumber. On the morning of July, as the sun began to rise, the first golden rays of sunlight cascaded upon the earth like delicate veils. Lin Xian rose early, busily preparing breakfast while perusing the exclusive cookbook of fish recipes provided by the system yesterday. This compendium contained an array of culinary techniques and secret seasonings, which, according to the book, could elevate the tenderness of fish to an unparalleled level. He resolved to experiment with it at noon. Suddenly, his phone rang, and upon answering, he heard the jubilant voice of Zhang Shulan on the line. Son, well done, she exclaimed. Mom, you didn't express this much happiness when I topped my exams. Lin Xian retorted, somewhat speechless. How can that compare? Soon we shall have a beautiful daughter-in-law and a chubby little grandson. By the way, Mom, you should quickly pick an auspicious date for us to register our marriage. Lin Xian suddenly remembered. Right. In my excitement, I almost forgot about that. Just wait, son. With that, Zhang Shulan hung up, her mind racing to consult the 2024 calendar. Is she really hanging up on me? Am I no longer her dear son? Lin Xian mused as he returned to his breakfast preparations. Not long after, Zhang Shulan called again. Son, the 7th of this month is excellent. July 7th. How auspicious. It's particularly suitable for a wedding. Her tone was filled with anticipation and excitement. She continued to elaborate. The 7th day of the lunar calendar is when the cowherd and the weaver girl reunite on the Magpie Bridge, symbolizing lovers finally coming together. Moreover, the number 7 suggests reunion and completeness. Choosing this day for your wedding will surely bring you both happiness and good fortune. All right, Mom. I will discuss it with Mingyao shortly, Lin Xian replied. What about my daughter-in-law? She's still asleep. Very well, take good care of her, and if anything arises, call me. Sure thing. After hanging up, Lin Xian also felt that July 7th was indeed a splendid choice. Soon, his lovingly prepared breakfast was ready. Just as Lin Xian was about to wake up the little sleepyhead, his phone rang once more, initially assuming it was his mother with another reminder. He was surprised to find it was an unfamiliar number. Hello, may I ask who this is? Hello, Mr. Lin. I am Yi Tianqing, the chairman of Jinwan Technology Company. Limited greetings, Chairman Yi, Lin Xian replied, taken aback by the efficiency of the system. I sincerely apologize for disturbing you so early, Mr. Lin. Would you be available to come to the company today? I would like to discuss the specifics of the company handover with you, Yi Tianqing said, his tone exceedingly courteous. To be able to acquire all the shares of Jinwan Technology at a high price must indicate a person of considerable stature. Certainly, I will head over shortly. Lin Xian hung up, quickly consumed a bit of breakfast, and placed Ming Yao's portion in a warming cabinet. He then entered the bedroom and gently roused Li Ming Yao. Wife, I need to step out for a bit. Please remember to eat breakfast, he said, planting a kiss on her fair cheek. Be careful on the road, dear. Li Ming Yao murmured, rubbing her eyes sleepily. Before long, Lin Xian arrived at Jinwan Technology Company, Limited. The company appeared modest in size, yet the building was architecturally innovative. With a clean and elegant exterior, lush greenery in the courtyard, and a distinctive logo that showcased the company's brand image. After parking, Lin Xian spotted a tall figure dressed in a finely tailored, high-quality suit, exuding an extraordinary presence. In contrast, Lin Xian was clad in casual attire. This individual was none other than Yi Tianqing, the chairman of Jinwan Technology Company, Limited. To Lin Xian's surprise, Chairman Yi had been waiting for him downstairs. My apologies for keeping you waiting, Chairman Yi, Lin Xian said with a smile as he approached. And you are? I am Lin Xian, the one we spoke to on the phone. Yi Tianqing appeared somewhat incredulous that this casually dressed young man could afford to acquire Jinwan Technology Company, Limited. My sincerest apologies, Mr. Lin. You are indeed a remarkable young man. I did not expect the new chairman to be so youthful, Yi Tianqing said, extending his hand for a handshake. This young man must undoubtedly possess a formidable family background. Yi Tianqing dared not exhibit any semblance of negligence. Mr. Lin, please follow me. I will show you around the company. Yi Tianqing personally led Lin Xian on a tour of various departments. They first arrived at the R&D department, where a group of elite tech talents were engrossed in researching cutting-edge technologies, hardly lifting their heads. My tech R&D team is the most outstanding and exceptional in the entire company. Suddenly, Lin Xian noticed a familiar figure. Was that his roommate Zhong Zixin? He was deeply focused on his work and seemed oblivious to Lin Xian's presence. It turned out that when he mentioned working at a company, he was referring to Jinwan Technology Company, Limited. Lin Xian couldn't help but smile. They then proceeded to the marketing department, observing the employees working diligently and efficiently. Yi Tianqing continued, our marketing team is exceptionally professional and effective, capable of swiftly capturing market dynamics and making precise decisions. Afterwards, they visited the finance department, administrative department, and other essential operational units. At each location, Yi Tianqing provided detailed explanations of the department's primary responsibilities and operational conditions, allowing Lin Xian to gain a clearer understanding of the company's overall structure. Ultimately, they arrived at the chairman's office, where Yi Tianqing handed Lin Xian a document. Mr. Lin, I am delighted that you are acquiring this company. Please sign here, and you will officially be the new chairman of Jinwan Technology Company, Limited. Thus, Lin Xian successfully completed the handover procedures for the company. Chapter 33. Should we sell the company again? Lin Xian gazed at the spacious and brightly lit office, adorned with a series of luxurious furnishings that showcased the company's high-end image. Who would have thought he would become the new chairman of Jinwan Technology overnight? Seated in the expansive black leather chair, he spun around, lost in thought. Suddenly, a gentle knock interrupted his reverie. Chairman Lin, may I come in? Please do. The sound of light footsteps approached, and a young woman resembling a secretary walked in with a smile. Dressed in professional attire, she possessed a graceful demeanor and light steps, her face adorned with a gentle smile. Hello, Chairman Lin, I am your secretary, Zhou Siyue. Zhou Siyue was taken aback upon entering, surprised at how young and handsome the new chairman was. She had graduated from Jinghai University as well, a year earlier than Lin Xian, making her technically his senior. Hello, Secretary Zhou. As I am new here, I will certainly need your guidance moving forward, Lin Xian said with a smile. Oh, it's nothing. Please feel free to instruct me whenever you need assistance, Chairman Lin. Zhou Siyue was taken aback by Lin Xian's humility. That being said, could you please provide me with the list of all company personnel? I would like to familiarize myself with it briefly. Certainly, Chairman Lin, please hold on a moment. With that, Zhou Siyue prepared tea for Lin Xian before returning to her desk to organize the materials. As Lin Xian savored his tea, he contemplated how to manage the company, feeling a headache coming on as he also considered his commitments to his wife. Before long, Zhou Siyue placed the personnel list before Lin Xian. Chairman Lin, here is the complete list of all current personnel at the company for your review. Thank you. You may go back to your duties. I can manage from here, Lin Xian replied, glancing at the list in his hands. Understood. Zhou Siyue exited the room quietly, gently closing the door behind her. Lin Xian first glanced at Zhou Siyue's personnel file and discovered that she was also a graduate of Jinghai University, having completed her studies just a year prior to him. This meant he would have to address her as senior after work. He then continued his perusal, noting that Jinwan Technology Company, Limited had a general manager responsible for the daily operations and management of the company, coordinating the work of various departments. Additionally, There were several department managers tasked with the daily management of their respective departments and the execution of assignments from higher-ups. As the chairman of the company, Lin Xian bore significant leadership and decision-making responsibilities. This undoubtedly added considerable pressure. How could he possibly spend quality time with his wife and children while enjoying the role of a devoted father? Perhaps he should consider selling the company? Just as Lin Xian was furrowing his brow in contemplation, a gentle knock at the door was accompanied by a hint of breathlessness. "Come in," he called. A mature and composed middle-aged man hurriedly stepped forward. It was Lu Wendy, the general manager of Jinwan Technology Company, Limited. "I apologize, Chairman Lin. I was meeting with an important client and couldn't make it in time for your arrival." Lu Wendy was equally astonished. For the chairman before him bore no resemblance to a corporate leader. He looked more like a fresh university graduate. Were it not for Yi Tianqing's message confirming the change in chairmanship, he might have suspected it was a prank. "Not a problem. Secretary Zhou, could you please prepare a cup of tea for Manager Lu?" Afterward, Zhou Siyue placed a cup of tea before Lu Wendy. "Manager Lu, I have just taken over the company, and there are many matters I need to consult you about." Lin Xian took a sip of tea. Lu Wendy promptly followed suit, saying, "Of course, I will follow Chairman Lin's arrangements." Lin Xian then inquired about various aspects of the company, including its main business direction, personnel structure, salary standards, and future plans. Lu Wendy responded with clarity and even offered his own insights, demonstrating his thorough understanding of the company's affairs. Lin Xian felt quite satisfied with Lu Wendy's performance as the general manager and decided to observe for a while longer. "All right, I will visit the various departments shortly. Manager Lu, you may return to your duties." Lin Xian nodded in approval. "Chairman Lin, I will accompany you and provide a detailed introduction," Lu Wendy offered. "No need. I simply wish to see the company's true state," Lin Xian replied, rising to extend his hand for a handshake. "Manager Lu, let us strive together to strengthen and expand this company." "Certainly, Chairman Lin. I will do my utmost," Lu Wendy replied with unwavering determination. Subsequently, Lu Wendy returned to his office to resume work, while Lin Xian continued to peruse the personnel list, finding it overwhelming. He opted to focus solely on the information pertaining to mid-level leaders and above, disregarding the rest. Lin Xian exited the chairman's office. The executive offices were located on the 6th floor, so he took the elevator down to the 2nd floor, where the finance department was situated. After a brief tour of the finance office, he observed the diligent efforts of the staff, although a few individuals were distracted by their phones. Lin Xian found this acceptable. A moment of relaxation amidst hard work was permissible as long as one's responsibilities were fulfilled. The finance department staff noticed the presence of a handsome young man wandering through their office and assumed he was a new intern. "Excuse me, could you deliver this document to Manager Lu when you have a moment? The finance manager asked me to do it, but I'm swamped." "Thank you." A slightly older woman handed a document to Lin Xian, clearly mistaking him for an intern. "Of course," Lin Xian replied with a faint smile. At this moment, only General Manager Lu Wendy and Secretary Zhou Siyue were aware of Lin Xian's true identity, so he agreed to assist with this small task. He then took the elevator to the 3rd floor, where the administrative department was located. The personnel there were likewise engaged in diligent work, exuding a harmonious and orderly atmosphere. The entire department radiating positive energy. Lin Xian nodded in satisfaction before smiling as he left. Continuing to the 4th floor, where the marketing department thrived in an equally vibrant and passionate environment. Finally, Lin Xian arrived at the 5th floor, home to the research and development department. As the elevator doors opened, he encountered a familiar figure, Yi Zixuan. Chapter 34, What If I Don't? Lin Xian had no desire to engage with Yi Zixuan, but he felt a twinge of surprise upon seeing her. What a twist of fate that she was in this company, now inadvertently placed under his supervision. Would his wife leave him if she found out? No, that simply wouldn't he do. Yi Zixuan, taken aback at the sight of Lin Xian, wondered how he had entered. Did he still have feelings for her? Had someone tipped him off about her presence in the company, prompting him to follow her? Lin Xian walked past Yi Zixuan with an impassive expression. "Hey, Lin Xian, what is your deal?" she called after him. Lin Xian turned, regarding her with an expression of bemusement. "After all these years, you still haven't given up? I've already told you I have a boyfriend. Why are you still following me? Or are you hoping to work in the RD department of Jinwan Technology? Just so you know, my boyfriend is the manager of that department. If you plead with me, I might put in a good word for you later." Yi Zixuan, with an air of arrogance, sought to assert her dominance over him. "You work in the RD department?" Lin Xian maintained his stoic demeanor. "Yes." Yi Zixuan crossed her arms, declaring proudly. "I recall you can't code or program," Lin Xian remarked with a knowing smile, having deduced the situation. Yi Zixuan had studied finance, but due to her boyfriend's position as a leader in the RD department, she had managed to secure a spot there, albeit without any relevant skills. "I may not know how to code, but my boyfriend is a leader. In the RD department, I can do as I please. In other words, whether or not you could join the RD team is up to me. Yi Zixuan boasted with evident pride. Haha. You're still as vain as ever, Lin Xian laughed, displaying his signature smile before turning to leave for the RD office. What are you trying to prove? You're so high and mighty, Yi Zixuan fumed, picking up her phone to call her boyfriend. Darling, a newcomer in the RD department just bullied me. She feigned a quivering voice. How dare anyone bully my girlfriend? A newcomer thinks they can act so brazenly? Don't worry, Xiao Yuan. I'll take care of him when I return. Meanwhile, outside the company, Zheng Haoran was fuming with rage as he sped back. Upon entering the RD office, Lin Xian immediately sensed a stark contrast to the other departments. The team members appeared lethargic, with dark circles under their eyes, utterly exhausted. And the air was thick with tension and stress. Even Zhong Zushing, who had once been vibrant in school, now seemed on the verge of collapse. It was evident that late nights and overtime had taken their toll. Lin Xian felt an inexplicable pang of sympathy. After all, these were his employees. Quietly, he approached Zhong Zushing from behind and gently placed a hand on his shoulder, calling out, Zushing. Ah! Zhong Zushing jolted, startled, nearly jumping out of his skin. Turning around, he was astonished to see his former university roommate, Lin Xian, smiling at him. Xiangu, what are you doing here? I came to see you. Zhong Zushing was puzzled. You came to see me? Did you also join the RD department at Jinwan Technology? Lin Xian smiled quietly without uttering a word. Suddenly, Zhong Zushing stood up and pulled Lin Xian into a nearby lounge, seeking a secluded spot. Brother Xian, you need to get out of here quickly. This is no place for a person to stay, Zhong Zushing whispered. What is going on? Lin Xian inquired. The company as a whole is quite good. Other departments are comfortable, and the work atmosphere is harmonious. It's just this research and development department that's utterly dreadful. The head of this department is simply insane, clueless about technology yet insists we work overtime every day and withholds our overtime pay. Zhong Zushing continued his lament. Is it really that serious? Lin Xian was astonished that Yi Zixuan's boyfriend could be so dismissive of the employee's well-being. It's worse than you can imagine. Trust me. Hurry and leave, Zhong Zushing urged Lin Xian. Why aren't you leaving? Lin Xian asked. I just started not long ago. If I quit right away, it would severely hinder my chances of finding another job. So, I've decided to endure for 3 months and see how it goes. Zhong Zushing glanced at his phone anxiously and continued, that foolish leader will be back any moment now. I need to return to my desk, Brother Xian. You must leave without looking back. With that, Zhong Zushing hurried back to his workstation. Hearing about his good friend's exploitation, Lin Xian sighed. It seemed that immediate reforms in the research and development department were necessary on his very first day. Just as Lin Xian was about to exit the office, he was intercepted by a bespectacled man with a barrel-shaped waist and a receding hairline, none other than the rushed research and development manager, Zheng Haoran. Are you the new hire? Lin Xian raised an eyebrow, feigning indifference. Indeed, I am, Zheng Haoran fumed, his frustration palpable. He had never encountered a newcomer so brazen on their first day. You're the one who bullied our department's Yi Zixuan? Scoundrels like you should go back to where you came from. Lin Xian remained unfazed. Such a grandiose statement. Manager Zheng, what if I refuse to comply? With that, Lin Xian picked up the phone and dialed Lu Wendy. Mr. Lu, could you come to the research and development office, please? Upon hearing Lin Xian mention Mr. Lu, Zheng Haoran scrutinized him again, finding it hard to believe this ordinary-looking youth could possibly know Lu Wendy. Stop pretending. You have no right to speak of Mr. Lu. Get out of here, or I'll call security. Zheng Haoran continued to berate Lin Xian, who merely smiled, completely unperturbed, as if a heavy blow had landed on cotton. Fuming, Zheng Haoran shouted into his phone, Security, come up to the 5th floor of the RD department immediately. There is someone causing a scene and refusing to leave. He glared menacingly at Lin Xian. Go ahead, I'm waiting, Lin Xian replied, finding a seat and reclining comfortably. The employees in the RD department began to murmur amongst themselves. Who is this person, so bold? Looks like a newcomer. I admire his courage. It's the first time I've seen someone stand up to Zheng Haoran like this. Haha. Only Zhong Zushing remained anxious, approaching Lin Xian to whisper, Brother Xian, you should leave now, or the security will really throw you out. Lin Xian glanced at him and smiled. It's fine. Seeing Zhong Zushing whispering to Lin Xian only fueled Zheng Haoran's fury. Zhong Zushing, do you know him? If you don't focus on your work, I'll dock your salary for a month. P.S. my roommate. What is wrong with me talking to him? Zhong Zushing could no longer tolerate such a leader. It seems you share the same type. Then even better, both of you get out. Zheng Haoran, convinced that Lin Xian had no significant identity, shouted. Leave. Who cares about a worthless leader like you? Lin Xian, let us go, Zhong Zushing declared, attempting to pull Lin Xian away. Just then Mr. Lu hurried into the RD office. Mr. Lu, you've arrived just in time. These two. Zheng Haoran began, but Lu Wendy rushed to Lin Xian's side. respectfully addressing him. Mr. Lin, I apologize for being late. What can I do for you? Lin Xian stood up leisurely, handing Lu Wendy a document. This is a report prepared by the finance department for you. I happen to be free, so I thought I'd deliver it. This minor task shouldn't be trouble, Mr. Lin, Lu Wendy replied, hastily accepting the document. Additionally, please inform everyone that there will be a company-wide meeting in the large conference room on the 7th floor in 1 hour. I have important announcements to make. With that, Lin Xian strode confidently out of the RD office. Zhixing, come with me. Lin Xian glanced back at Zhong Zhixing, casting a disdainful look at the stunned Zheng Haoren. Coming, Zhong Zhixing, still in shock, took a moment to respond. The two then ascended in the elevator to the chairman's office on the 6th floor. Zheng Haoren's face turned pale, beads of sweat forming on his forehead, disbelief evident in his eyes. Mr. Lu, is he truly the chairman? Whereas Chairman Yi? Lu Wendy's expression grew grave. He sensed Lin Xian's considerable anger. Maintaining a stoic demeanor, he addressed Zheng Haoren, Manager Zheng. Do not think you can act arrogantly just because Chairman Yi was here. With him gone, you ought to be cautious. Afterward, Lu Wendy exited the RD office, leaving Zheng Haoren in a state of bewilderment. Lin Xian and Zhong Zhixing returned to the chairman's office. Brother Xian, what just happened? Are you really the new chairman? Zhong Zhixing could no longer contain his curiosity. Indeed, I acquired the company yesterday and came to take over today, only to encounter such a situation, Lin Xian replied, pouring a cup of tea for Zhong Zhixing. Their camaraderie was casual, and Lin Xian did not put on airs of authority. Brother Xian, you've hidden your depths well. Zhong Zhixing remarked with a chuckle. Low profile, Lin Xian replied. Rest assured, I will soon rectify this situation with those troublemakers. He took a sip of tea, adopting the demeanor of a seasoned official. What is your plan? Zhong Zhixing asked, his eyes sparkling with admiration, eager to witness Zheng Haoren's comeuppance. Just wait and see. Lin Xian flashed his signature smile. Zhong Zhixing recognized that Zheng Haoren was in for a rough time. Knock, knock, a soft knock resounded. Mr. Lin, may I enter? Please do. Lu Wendy stepped in. Mr. Lin, the conference room is ready. Zhixing, you may head back now. I need to discuss some matters with Mr. Lu. Lin Xian instructed Zhong Zhixing. Once Zhong Zhixing left the chairman's office, Lin Xian poured Lu Wendy a cup of tea. Mr. Lin, please, you needn't do this. Lu Wendy protested, somewhat startled. Mr. Lu, there's no need to be so tense. After all, you are technically my senior. Pouring a cup of tea is only proper. Lin Xian smiled gently. However, I have a question. How did someone like Zheng Haoren, who lacks empathy for his subordinates and possesses no technical expertise, become the manager of the RD department? Lin Xian suddenly queried. That was appointed by the previous chairman. I personally disagreed, but there was little I could do. Lu Wendy explained, nearly choking on his words. And what do you think of Zhong Zhixing? Lin Xian asked with a smile, continuing the conversation. This young man was personally recruited by me during the interview process. He possesses formidable technical skills and demonstrates commendable diligence. With proper guidance, he has the potential to stand on his own in the future. Lu Wendy holds a rather favorable impression of Zhong Zhixing. All right, I understand. It's about time. Let us proceed to the 7th floor for the meeting. Lin Xian nodded in satisfaction. Upon reaching the grand conference room on the 7th floor, Lin Xian and Lu Wendy took their seats at the front podium. Good morning, esteemed colleagues. I appreciate your valuable time. Due to special circumstances, Chairman Yi Tianqing has stepped down, and from today onward, I, Lin Xian, shall assume the role of the new chairman of Jinhai Technology Company, Limited. Please give me a warm welcome. The audience of over 200 employees erupted into applause, celebrating a leader who holds meetings without regard for off-duty hours. However, two individuals remained in a state of shock, the RD manager, Zheng Haoren, and Yi Zixuan. Their expressions were more sorrowful than tears could convey. Good morning, colleagues. It is an immense honor to serve as the chairman of Jinhai Technology Company, Limited. As a newcomer, if I err in any way, please do not hesitate to point it out. I welcome your oversight. I firmly believe that as long as we unite and strive together, our collective income will reach new heights. As a leader, it is essential to paint a grand vision. In addition, I have another announcement to make. Lin Xian cast a smile towards Zheng Haoren and Yi Zixuan. This morning, during my inspection of various departments, I discovered that our RD manager Zheng Haoren has been abusing his position to exploit employees, even bringing in his girlfriend to enjoy the benefits without contributing. Such behavior will not be tolerated, and I will be reassessing their positions. Ridiculous. What evidence do you have? Zheng Haoren, realizing that Lin Xian would not let this slide, confronted him directly. You wish for evidence? I could easily dismiss you without it. However, since you are so eager, I might as well show you. Lin Xian retrieved his phone and spoke a few words to Secretary Zhou. Soon, the sounds of Lin Xian's earlier conversation with Yi Zixuan, along with the confrontation in the RD department, filled the conference room. My boyfriend is the RD manager, if you ask nicely. I might put in a good word for you. I won't, but my boyfriend is the boss, and I can do as I please in the RD department. People like you should just go back to where you came from. Indeed, Lin Xian had recorded everything from the onset. Now, all employees were privy to the truth. While Zheng Haoran and Yi Zixuan wore expressions of profound discomfort. This is how it is. If you have the ability, go ahead and fire me. Zheng Haoran suddenly exploded in embarrassment and anger. Lin Xian merely smiled. You think too highly of yourself. Why would I dismiss you? Your talents can be repurposed, conveniently. We are in need of a security guard and a janitor, and you two fit the bill perfectly. Lin Xian did not look down upon the professions of security and cleaning staff. Rather, he aimed to leverage this opportunity to compel the two to resign voluntarily. If the company were to dismiss them directly, compensation would be necessary. However, should it be a standard personnel optimization, he assured that they would receive their due compensation, though their actions did not warrant it. As for the new RD manager, Lu Zong, do you have any recommendations? Lin Xian turned to Lu Wendy. I believe Zhong Zixing would be an excellent choice. He possesses top-notch skills and exemplifies hard work, Lu Wendy replied. Lin Xian nodded in satisfaction once more. Then it is settled. Effective immediately, Zhong Zixing will assume the position of RD manager. Thank you all for your hard work. The meeting is adjourned. Lin Xian and Lu Wendy were the first to leave, prompting the rest to disperse while engaging in hushed discussions. This new chairman is so young, and quite handsome too. Indeed, he shows remarkable resolve, swiftly eliminating the company's malignant elements. Yes, I've always found Zheng Haoran to be insufferably arrogant. Only Zheng Haoran and Yi Zixuan remained. Stunned and speechless. Chapter 36. Congratulations, you're expecting twins. Lin Xian returned to the chairman's office, preparing to tidy up and head home to cook for his wife. A light knock echoed at the door. Come in. Xian Ge, did you really make me the RD manager? Zhong Zixing entered the office, incredulous. Is there a problem? Lin Xian trusted Zhong Zixing's technical prowess, and given that Jinhai Technology Company Limited primarily relied on technology, he felt assured allowing his good friend to oversee such a critical department. I'm worried I won't perform well, Zhong Zixing confessed, a hint of anxiety clouding his expression. I believe in you, just go for it. I will support you as needed. And enough with the Xian Ge. How many times must I remind you to address me by my title during work hours? Lin Xian jested, mimicking a line from a certain television drama. All right, Lin Jiwu. Zhong Zixing chuckled, lightened by the banter. Well, if there's nothing else, I'll be heading home, Lin Xian said, his thoughts drifting to his wife. Lin Jiwu, aren't you going to have lunch in the cafeteria with us? Zhong Zixing playfully placed his hand on Lin Xian's shoulder, reminiscent of their university days. No, I need to return home to cook for my wife, Lin Xian declined. Seriously, you're flaunting your domesticity again. Let us gather at our dorm sometime. Sure. Zhong Zixing replied, unaware that Zhou Quan was also working for Lin Xian. Lin Xian drove his Maybach out of the company gates, stopping by the market to purchase some ingredients before returning home. I'm back. A petite figure dashed into Lin Xian's embrace. Welcome home. Li Mingyao looked up, her face radiant with a smile. Be careful. Lin Xian gently lifted her chin and planted a soft kiss on her lips. Have you eaten breakfast? I have. What time did you eat? Why are you asking me like my mother? Lin Xian teased, lightly scratching Li Mengyao's small nose. Even husbands need to take good care of their wives. I'm going to start cooking now. Understood. Li Mengyao obediently returned to the sofa to continue watching her show. For lunch, Lin Xian decided to try out the exclusive fish recipe provided by the system. Wow, hubby, your cooking skills have improved again, Li Mengyao exclaimed, astonished. With Lin Xian's 5-star culinary expertise combined with secret spices, the meal was undoubtedly delectable. Then eat more, Lin Xian encouraged as he continued to serve her. If I eat more, I'll get fat, Li Mengyao pouted, pushing some meat back into her bowl. Pregnancy is an excuse to eat more. Besides, you're not gaining any weight, Lin Xian insisted, continuing to serve her. Li Mengyao happily resumed her meal. Wife, let's go get our marriage certificate on July 7th. Li Mengyao's cheeks flushed slightly, surprised at the prospect of getting married so soon after graduation. After finishing their lunch, the couple retreated to their room for an afternoon nap. In the afternoon, as Lin Xian awoke, he suddenly remembered that Li Mengyao was already over 3 months pregnant and needed to go for a checkup. Glancing at the clock, he noted it was past 3. Wife, wake up, Lin Xian gently shook her. What is it? Don't disturb my sleep, Li Mengyao mumbled, rubbing her eyes. Wife, we need to go for your checkup, Lin Xian said softly, cradling her gently. Li Mengyao relaxed back into the bed. There was no helping it. A wife who loved to sleep could only be indulged. After half an hour, Li Mengyao finally said, Hubby, let us head out. She quickly freshened up and flashed Lin Xian a warm smile. Lin Xian took her hand as they walked to the parking lot, getting settled before starting the car and heading towards the People's Hospital of Jinghai City. Upon arriving at the hospital, Lin Xian cautiously assisted Li Mengyao out of the car. Once they entered the hospital lobby, Lin Xian busied himself with the registration and payment, while Li Mengyao sat quietly nearby, awaiting her turn. At this moment, she was already 13 weeks pregnant, and this prenatal examination primarily aimed to assess the health of the embryo, the mother's well-being, and to check for any congenital defects. When it was time for Li Mengyao's examination, Lin Xian nervously stayed by her side. A kind-hearted middle-aged female doctor conducted the examination with great care, and Lin Xian's gaze never left Li Mengyao. "How many weeks have you been pregnant?" the doctor inquired. "Approximately 13 weeks, Li Mengyao whispered. The doctor couldn't help but feel a sense of admiration. Such youth and beauty, yet already expecting a child. This young man was indeed fortunate. Soon, the examination concluded. The fetus appeared to be perfectly healthy, and both little ones were quite well behaved. Too. Li Mengyao's eyes widened in surprise. Indeed, the ultrasound confirms that there are 2 embryos. Congratulations, you are expecting twins. The revelation struck Lin Xian, who had previously taken Li Mengyao for a checkup without an ultrasound, leaving him unaware of their twin status. Please continue to maintain a balanced diet, engage in appropriate exercise, and be sure to rest adequately, the doctor advised with a smile. Thank you, doctor. Lin Xian replied with a smile, taking Li Mengyao's hand as they left. At that moment, the thought of carrying twins filled Li Mengyao with joy, and a blissful smile graced her face. In truth, dragon and phoenix twins are a type of fraternal twins, but due to domestic laws prohibiting non-medical gender identification of fetuses, many couples only discover the genders upon birth. Upon reaching the hospital parking lot, Lin Xian helped Li Mengyao into the car and then drove their Maybach back to Jinhai Mansion. Wait a moment. Dear husband, I need to pick up a package. Li Mengyao suddenly called from the passenger seat. Send me the pickup code. I'll go get it, Lin Xian replied, pulling the car to the side, unbuckling his seatbelt, and preparing to retrieve the package. With an elegant blink of her eyes, Li Mengyao gently wrapped her small hand around Lin Xian's neck and kissed him softly on the lips. You've worked hard, dear husband. Is that all? Li Mengyao's light touch left Lin Xian wanting more. He had barely felt it. What more do you desire? With a playful gesture, Lin Xian cupped her forehead, pulling her close, and sealed her enticing lips with another kiss. After a considerable moment, he finally released Li Mengyao. Quickly go. Li Mengyao's delicate face flushed with a rosy hue as she playfully glared at him. Satisfied, Lin Xian exited the car to retrieve the package. Before long, he returned with 2 parcels in hand. Wife, what did you buy? Humph, I won't tell you. Once they arrived home, Li Mengyao eagerly tore open the boxes. Lin Xian leaned closer to see that they contained 2 sets of matching couple outfits. What do you think? Do they look good? Li Mengyao asked, holding the clothing up to herself with a gentle smile. Honey, try it on. Li Mengyao took the outfit and headed to the bedroom. Lin Xian picked up his own set, glancing at it with confidence, knowing it would fit perfectly. After all, he had an enviable physique. Ding dong. Congratulations, host, for accompanying the baby for another prenatal checkup. Reward, 1 million cash, with a 5x critical hit multiplier, totaling 5 million, which has been transferred to your bank account through legitimate channels. Please check. Ding dong. Congratulations, host, for triggering the lottery mechanism, granting you 1 opportunity to draw. The current prize pool includes 1. A cash 3x critical hit card. 2. Thank you for your patronage. Will the host draw? Yes, draw. Ding dong. Congratulations, host. You have received a cash 3x critical hit card, which has been successfully activated. Please check. Chapter 37. The day we get our marriage certificate. Lin Xian pondered the system's message in his mind. What does the cash 3x critical hit card mean? It means the amount you currently have will be multiplied by 3. Can I save it for later? No, it takes effect immediately upon drawing. Lin Xian had hoped to accumulate more cash before utilizing it, allowing him to exchange for a greater amount. With 50 million still in the account of Jinhai Technology Company, Limited, using the multiplier could yield 1.5 billion. Alas, he opened his phone to find his bank account now held over 20 million, instantly making him a millionaire. Just as Lin Xian reveled in his newfound wealth, Li Mengyao emerged from the bedroom, now dressed. Dear husband, do I look good? Li Mengyao donned a pristine white shirt paired with a modest gray miniskirt, adorned with a charming bear pattern that lent her an air of freshness and playfulness. She gracefully approached Lin Xian, as if a fairy had descended from the heavens, her long legs swaying ever so slightly. Then, like a delicate butterfly, she twirled around, her skirt billowing in the breeze, exuding an enchanting allure. Lin Xian's eyes were fixed upon Li Mengyao, swallowing hard. Sensing the intensity of his gaze, Li Mengyao felt a twinge of nervousness and attempted to escape. But Lin Xian swiftly pulled her into his embrace. My wife, you are simply breathtaking. He planted a kiss on her soft pink lips, smiling. Why aren't you changing? Li Mingyao playfully pressed her small hand against Lin Xian's solid chest, her cheeks slightly flushed. I'll change right now. Lin Xian released her and promptly began to undress. What? Why are you stripping right here? Li Mingyao exclaimed, covering her eyes with her petite hands, feigning anger. How else am I supposed to change? Lin Xian laughed heartily. Then go change in the bedroom. Li Mingyao continued to shield her eyes, though her fingers left a small gap, and her fair cheeks blushed a deep crimson. Honey, it's not like you haven't seen it before. Why be so shy? Lin Xian teased. In response, a sofa cushion was tossed his way, landing harmlessly against him. I'm changed. Boys change outfits swiftly. It's as